Sweet. We're doing this. We're rolling. We got the man, the myth, the legend, of course, Chris Moeller. Pretty sick guest to have in for the news podcast.
Yeah, this is where I get my news. So I'm going to get it first.
Yes, sir.
I don't even have to wait.
There you
3
go.
days, 4
Yeah.
days.
Well, and we're already finding out that maybe I'm not right about all the news. So we got to figure some stuff.
No.
Disclaimer,
Fudger, you're-
BMX news, but not everything's
Fudger,
a
you're
positive.
never wrong.
It's never happened. That's my kid.
Yeah, never wrong.
Shout out to Dale.
Yeah. Shout out to Dale. Shout out to Source. Shout out to S&M and Fit. 2025 deal. Long time coming.
Right? Official sponsor.
Have you guys never worked together with ourbmx yet
Maybe
officially?
at the beginning? I'm not sure.
I think we did something at the
Yeah.
beginning, but we've been
So you
talking
dropped
about
him,
that.
and now you're picking him back
Yeah.
up.
We've been talking about this for a while.
You're doing good.
Well, yeah, not all bad. Not all bad.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I love what you guys do. I always find something to complain about.
Of course,
but
yeah.
that doesn't mean I don't love it.
constructive criticism is the
Right.
best thing. Like it is. Competition is healthy. Criticism is healthy. You can't. Just
And I think, you guys are reaching so many riders, and I just really like what you guys do. So yeah, we're gonna come on board.
Oh yeah, got to
Try
sort
and-
it out a little bit, but
Yeah, we'll get the details straight. But
Yeah, what are the plans when you sponsor a big media outlet?
I mean,
like
there's
this?
the basic, like the Instagram stuff and all that, and we want to kind of do more with the product stuff in the podcast and have a little separate thing. Like you and I talked about it a while back, and then that stuff, and then hopefully some content and stuff like that. Just supporting what they have going on. They do so much that being able to support it's pretty easy. So
Cool. And you'll
Yeah,
be here
I mean,
for every
I-
news podcast?
Yeah, I'm up for anything all the time. But we like helping riders out. We like putting them on the road. We like making these trip videos. The Ponderosa video or the Aussie Rules video.
Yep.
And that's what we love doing.
yeah, employing Stu.
And letting Stu do what Stu does.
Yeah.
which I love.
I
Those
love that you
trip
guys are
those
doing
trip
that with
videos,
Stu
that
now.
vibe. That makes people want to go ride.
Yep. Yep.
But if we can get a little money over here to help you guys do what you're doing and get our message out that way too, that's going to hit a way bigger audience.
I appreciate
And people
it.
that
Yeah.
are buying our videos or downloading our videos, they already know about us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that watch you guys that don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah, and the internet is weird. The algorithm's weird, and it's all at least for this thing, it's all sandwiched in one spot, and I think people do appreciate it. So I appreciate you coming on board and sorting things out. So keeping
forward to it.
us alive, keeping the
We're all
locomotive.
trying to stay. We're all staying alive.
Keeping the lights on.
Yeah, we're like the Bee Gees, man. We're staying alive.
Motel 6, keep the lights on.
Yep.
So as always, the breakdown is here on this sheet, which I am actually not recording. That's the one thing I forgot, but it is, as always, we have there we go. We're back. So we have the plugs, which we've done, and then also I have the for January we have the designated Dales, the NA stuff. I've only had a few of these in my life, and it's
You're drinking one.
I'm drinking one.
There's no
So
alcohol
that's the non-alcoholic.
That's a non-alcoholic.
Oh,
Well, it says
gotcha.
less than 0.5. So
And
I don't
Moeller's
know
going
what
on
that
2
means.
months sober.
Over 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 2 months.
So-
And that's
2
big
month-
for you, right?
2 months on the wagon. Yeah, that's for me, that's a long time. I don't think I've gone 2 hours in the last 35 years. So yeah.
Well,
So
congratulations.
I can have one of those.
You can. Yeah.
Try it out.
Try it out.
Yeah. Won't break my streak.
There
Are you
go.
going no drink in January?
No, not really. But
trying
I
out
think
the-
I think it's. I always aspire to like edit these the same night and the before, and then these are always generally the loosest ones. So the next day or like that night, I'm like So I figured I would see how long I would stay with the NAs, and maybe
This
I could
is a
edit
brand
it
new
quicker.
product though, right? For
Yeah, I
Dales?
believe so. Yeah,
Because when I first talked to you about coming in here, I got on their website and looked because I was going to show up with my own. And then I realized they didn't have them. They didn't make them. But now they do.
Now they do.
It's not
Let's
even on their website.
No, yeah, I think it's pretty new. So and the same with the Easy IPA.
Yeah, I was going to show up with my own
Yeah.
ready to go.
Hell yeah. So as always,
Don't judge me.
Yeah.
I'm the only one
No,
drinking.
you're good. You're good.
Dennis, how many have you had? Those Dennis?
9 today? Just 9 before the podcast.
You haven't had 9.
My first one. My first little
okay.
gold Dales.
Okay.
Well, I had a Modelo earlier.
Oh, there you
Sorry,
go.
Dales.
Yeah.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, can I do the breakdown?
Let's do it.
All right, sorry.
Break it down.
News highlights, industry news, sponsorship, and then other. We got some product stuff in here. Events that happen, events that are coming, videos, and then within that is honorable mentions. And then way over here were Insta clips that nobody filled out.
Oh, shit. I got a few.
So we'll get to that. Let's see if I can. Fred Ranchi is out of office. Tried to confirm that. I'm texting the dudes. No Insta clips.
They're just gonna be my few that
Just
I liked.
realized. Already
Well, I
filming.
liked a lot, but there was only a few I wrote down.
So let's start off with the highlights. The first up is the rather epic Red Bull foray into a street edit featuring Courage, Garrett, Bruno. Who else is in this? Why is my brain turning out?
George from Greece.
Jordan, and just a 8 minutes of like mayhem.
Bangers.
Essentially, yeah.
Banger. It's the sickest dudes going to spots that you never see hit.
Let me turn the volume down. Whoa, very loud. My bad.
Did Brock get any clips in here?
No, Brock is still hurt. I think he's
Supposed
dealing
to
with
be
the knee
coming
thing.
back January.
Yeah.
I figured he might have a few clips stashed away for
Yeah.
this stuff. He's
Some
done pretty
fiddling
good.
clips.
Yeah, he's done
for
very
how
good.
long and how much of a hassle this whole knee thing has been.
So
Yeah, man.
He's
like
done-
two surgeries back to back. Like he's an animal. And
I've been seeing him a little bit when they do their band practice at S&M.
oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah, because they practice at the shop
That's sick.
on Thursday nights, and when I'm in town, I usually have to cut my work night short when they show up because they're pretty loud. But I talk to him when he comes in, and I mean he's hanging in there though.
That's good.
But he did
That's
have a
good.
lot of clips kind of stashed away. I mean, I don't know if anyone's done as good as he's been able to do.
right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know he wasn't riding if he hasn't. We haven't mentioned on the podcast,
Right,
or
yeah.
you know, you hear things.
But cool to see Red Bull do a trip, and then obviously it was in Helsinki and Finland and all that stuff. So a bunch of crazy spots.
And there's the one question of why GoPro footage. we you know, like it's pretty weird for like a Red Bull video, and Maddie's like one of the best filmers.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
He makes the sickest videos, and this is an amazing video, but it's just so random that there's GoPro footage.
Well, it's maybe just something different.
Maybe,
he
yeah.
tried something out for sure.
I
I
thought.
mean, look at I mean, you could film that. You could film him with a Polaroid.
Maybe that's what Maddie was thinking. He's like, let's just get experimental because they're gonna get 8,000 clips a day anyways.
Yeah, I think though, obviously like Grant C was probably the loudest voice that we heard that was kind of like judging the why would somebody do this type thing. But Matty does come from a BMX background. He's filmed like Sebastian Keep's walls and stuff like that, like epic videos over the years. He does know what he's doing. The choice is a little bit weird. It is a little bit, if you're a hardcore BMX fan, like it does stand out. Or a skate
Yeah,
fan,
but Red Bull reaches such bigger
Yeah.
audience of just totally different people that want to see something different.
yeah, I don't think it necessarily looks bad either. For the most part, I think there's a couple moments like this line is.
Well, and it's really weird though. It's like this crazy. They've spent a lot of money going to these nice places in Europe, but it's on the Dig channel too. Like it didn't even go on the Red Bull channel.
Yeah,
Kind of weird as well.
yeah. Maybe just thought it was a better market or something, but
Maybe it'll wind up. Maybe it'll get on the.
yeah,
Like it's an exclusive for like the core BMX side of things, and then
Maybe they'll have something for Red Bull.
they put it
Yeah.
over there.
I have a theory though about why Matty used a GoPro. I feel like when you're going on a trip with like Garrett and especially Courage, who is like they're going to be doing like any follow cam stuff is going to be, insanely difficult, and you're going to be like they're going to work you all day long.
That's true.
Maybe he was just like, dude, if I can just do it with this fucking pebble on a stick instead of having like a full like glide cam setup, I will survive. Because you have 5 athletes waiting to film clips, like it's going to be taxing.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like maybe it was a bit of a survival technique for him.
One filmer.
I think like, cause he just had the GoPro on the stick, for all the follow cam stuff. And so, but I think the mashup of stuff is a little bit weird. And I think it is striking if you,
This video looks unreal though.
It's
Yeah.
unreal.
I haven't
It is
watched
insane.
it.
It's so good.
yeah.
I think I'm watching it. How long is it?
Yeah.
It's like 9 minutes.
I think everything good is like 8 minutes on the dot. Like, cause Gemma's is like 8 minutes. Antonio Smallwood's is 8 minutes. Everything's like 8 minutes. It's for some reason. So, this whole thing, I mean, the last
amazing.
couple of things, I mean, we can, the over tooth to back over bar, we'll probably end with that, but
I mean, with everything going on, with budgets and this whole thing, having Red Bull still,
yeah.
Like
supporting.
they were eating good.
Yeah, but I mean, thank God we got Red Bull. putting stuff like this out.
And it was cool to see Garrett be like, you could tell he went in.
Yeah.
You know, like Garrett's always incredible, but like I felt like the shit from Garrett was insane. So,
Oh, I mean, it's Red Bull.
yeah.
You know, it's not easy to get that hat.
And they want to keep that shit. So
Yeah.
why not do your best shit? You know, he's not like saving stuff for a video part on this trip. You're like, let's get it.
Yeah.
That is insane.
So there's still another clip or two after that, so we'll end it there. Fid's legend video, obviously. Rest in peace to Fids. As we all know, he wouldn't want us to like.
No, he would
You know,
not. And
so-
you know what? I brought this for you guys.
Fuck yes, I did not see. How did you sneak in here with
I'm
that?
good, man.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Dude.
So I found this. These are hard to find. But
Fuck yes.
so I figured maybe you could hang it up in here somehow.
Hell yeah.
I don't have a real creative way to hang it up, but I figured you could figure it out.
I'll
But what
sort
I was
something.
thinking is like people could come in and sign it.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude,
people
that's
that
sick.
Fid's had a pretty big impact on a lot of people, and maybe when they come, I mean, he rode for S&M for 30 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
It was insane. I love this guy. You know, you're never going to find one person that has anything bad to say about Fids.
He's so cool.
I've never seen that board in person. That thing is amazing.
Yeah.
The shield head, like the head.
Oh,
of it.
somebody sent me an Instagram DM today. They got this tattoo.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, that's like
huge.
yeah.
Like 6 inches tall. Where do you want me to
so
put it?
sick.
Yeah,
Leave it over here?
I'll take it over here. Just,
You could just put a nail
Dude,
and then a
thank you
shoelace
so
through the
much.
holes.
yeah.
Super easy to hang.
Thank you so much. That is
Rad.
fucking sick. So,
There's a lot of stuff that Fids did with us over the years, but I mean, this board I think was pretty sick.
yeah.
How long has S&M been around?
38 years.
So, damn.
Yeah, and
Most of S&M's
he
life.
came. I met him in '93. First time I went to Hastings in '93, and then he came out that year and stayed at our house with John Dye. And that would have been like maybe '94, and we put him on the team in '94, and he's been on the whole time.
Fuck yeah. That's
So
so
what is
sick.
that? Is 31, 30 years this year.
I'll play this while it's going. But yeah,
Forever on S&M.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this, like, see all the footage where you see the round, like the lens is round.
Yeah.
That's footage I filmed, because that used to be when I used to film. I used to flip the fisheye around, or that one right there. Like most of that footage, if it's around like that, that was me filming. I thought that was real artsy back in the day.
I love that clip. He just does it. He knows he's not going to make it to the land. He still rips the table.
This whole video, Stu made this, right?
Yeah, Stu made this.
Is this the one you played at NorCup?
Yeah,
This thing's so good.
It is.
This video captures like Fids completely. That's the weekend one of those weekends we were in Vegas. That's when we actually asked him to be on the team.
Is that Planet Plywood?
It was Gary Lorentz Park. It was in a church or something.
Yeah.
Miscellaneous again. Yeah, so this is the video we played at Nora. Obviously,
It's so good.
We were gonna it was gonna be the last video that we put out with all the Nora Cup videos.
I'm so glad you guys gave him that award too. I mean, at the time I thought it was weird because I know how he's such a tough dude.
Yeah.
And I'd been messaging with him a little bit, and I thought, there's no way he's not pulling through this. I thought for sure.
Yeah.
100% he was pulling through this. And when you guys were giving him the award, I was like, what do you think? He's going to die? And he fucking died.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I'm
think-
shocked. Like, it shocks me.
Yeah, his attitude was. I mean, the story with him even finding out he had cancer is what he was working with Jason at the Source Park, redoing the ramp, and he was complaining a little bit that he's like, "Oh, my stomach hurts," and then he like shit black.
I mean,
and then went to the hospital and stayed there for 2 weeks.
He just he
like
just seemed invincible, like
fucking tough as
totally invincible. I can't. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But there's his services this week.
Such a sick dude.
A lot of people making their way all the way over there for the service.
Yeah. It was cool to be able to pay him some respect and some a bit of the respect that he deserved, So
That clip is so amazing.
It's so sick.
In Africa, just doing the nothing but naked.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. December 8th.
Yeah.
So glad you guys gave him that award. I mean, it's incredible. It's got to be one of the best things you've ever done.
we've had some moments, but it was cool. You know, like sneaking Leland over there, essentially, like helping Leland get out, sneaking him into the venue. He's hanging in the back, him and Corrigan.
That's
like,
amazing.
Fids had no idea that he was there. Didn't even know he had a passport. So
were they like best friends?
Yeah. They have each other tattooed on each other's asses.
Hell yeah.
So
I feel like back in the early '90s when I first met Fids, I feel like John Dye, you know, the from London who does Volt. I feel like John Dye and Fids were like super tight. But years later, when he started hanging out with Leland, they really have become like best friends.
Yeah.
So you got the perfect guy.
Hopefully John Dye was there.
He was definitely there.
Yeah. So. So this whole thing is on there. Obviously, shout out to the Fids. You know, I mean, I can't say anything that, you know, appropriate, I guess, but we did our best. So, shout out to the Fids. The full thing is on here. Obviously, it runs for quite a bit longer.
Legend forever.
Yep. And
it happened so fast too. I mean, from the time he found out he had it till the time he was gone was just so fast.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I woke up and saw that. I was like, like you said, he wasn't going to die.
No, he even came over here. He came over for the Caddy Jam.
Yeah,
and a lot of people went there to see him because they knew he wasn't doing real well. But he was feeling so bad when he went to the jam. He just basically hung out in the parking lot in a van or something. Couldn't even really hang out.
Yeah,
and then he flew home and.
That was it.
Not long after.
You mentioned John Dye. So if somebody left a comment when I gave some shout outs to some podcasts last month and they were like, oh, you should mention John Dye's podcast. And it is legitimately good. I've listened
I love him.
I've listened to him multiple times.
Yeah.
So I haven't clicked one in a little while, but like he has this Fids tribute that he did, and then he has another interview with Fids that he did. So
I think Fids' very first episode.
Maybe. Yeah.
I was because I listened to a lot of these.
Typo. Episode 1. Yeah, you are correct.
Yep.
So yeah, there's, if you aren't familiar with Fids, maybe catching up on this, and then Union Tape podcast is definitely skewed a little bit older, but John Dye has like a really good approach to the podcast and does a good job with them. So shout out to them.
Yeah, it's not, even though those are, he has a lot of old school guests.
Yeah.
The way he does them, anyone can follow it.
Yeah. So moving down the list, Fids Nora, and then we have all the other Nora Cup videos finally online. We definitely slacked with them. So shout out to Vish for cutting these together. We all had a little bit of burnout afterwards, but they are all. It's
kind of cool though. You guys
them.
Put them out right before the end of the year.
Yeah.
So
I think it was cool.
In a way.
If we didn't do it before the end of the year, we definitely fucked up. So we tried to
Might as well
sure
not
we do it. Yeah.
Wait till the next one.
Yeah. So but those are all online, and then more video stuff is James Peace. These are
the highlights. This was your pick.
Yeah.
And then obviously Boyd and Antonio Smallwood.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of James. Just his writing style in general is just so raw and loose, and like the shit that is like gap tire feeble randomness.
Yeah.
Like
so
a
sick.
mix of like technical and burly, just like all mixed in one, with just like, what the fuck? So, like I said, 8 minutes long, or no, this one's 10 minutes. So
yeah, he's rough on that bike, man. I was messaging with him today, just hey, how's it going? How's everything holding up? And he's like, I think I could use a new frame. And then I thought, man, didn't we just send you a new frame?
Fuck, dude.
He goes hard. He rides that bike.
Yeah. Just at the Brisbane Jam, man, it was like
so
it was
sick.
insane. So it just the amount of shit that he did all day long and everything. It's like, so.
Did you guys watch Aussie Rules?
I watched most of it. Yeah,
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a real good sense of.
I can't wait to watch that one.
I got to hang out with him a little bit. He's pretty.
Oh, when you were on the Gold Coast, you did?
Yeah, I hung out with him in Japan just a tiny bit, and I that was the first time I ever met him, and I'm like, you're exactly what I expected. It was at the same time as like X Games like 2 years ago.
We got to get him over here.
Yeah.
He's never been.
No, he almost did. Some issues with his passport or I don't know what it, but yeah, we'll make that happen.
Yeah. So
S&M will make that happen.
you should definitely.
Oh, we
Jim
definitely
a
should.
podcast.
Let's do it.
Boyd, no more bets.
2 years in the making with Big Salad.
Yeah, something like that. Definitely heavy. Almost gets ran over by a bus. I think everybody saw that clip.
That clip is insane. Have you seen this video, Moeller?
No, but I love this guy.
You got to watch this part. It's so good. And there's one of the craziest random clips because you don't expect it. Where he really almost gets killed by a bus.
Yeah.
Like almost into Boyd. It's not even a joke like how close it was.
Yeah.
Everything though.
Yeah. The whole thing is
So fucking good. This one's going to be watched over and over and over again forever.
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
That's
That
the
is the
idea,
idea.
yeah. This is
Right?
one of
I mean, the
those.
kind of work everybody puts into these things, the writers, I mean, you want them to be pretty timeless.
where's the bus clip, dude? It's like right
And
there.
he's doing this stuff and he's like laughing.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Boyd is he calls it like fun biking. He only does
Yeah.
stuff to him that's actually fun. You know, he doesn't put like to put stress on his body.
Oh, shit. That
Insane,
back tire,
right?
that back
Yeah.
stress on his body, that bus would be.
That's what I'm saying. That's why that clip is so weird for Boyd because he doesn't even like to go to flat. You know, he's like, I try and take care of my
Really?
ankles and shit. Yeah, you've noticed Boyd doesn't really ever go to flat. Like he's super smart, and that's why he's always just having fun. He's not beat to shit. He just
Wow.
sessions all day and wakes up feeling good again.
How old is he?
He's probably like 29 or something around there.
I was
like
going to say, I
late-
thought he was younger than that.
Maybe.
He might be a
I
little
may have
younger.
said, I would have guessed like 26.
Nah.
Maybe he takes care of himself,
Maybe.
you know?
But yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
the whole video is,
Comes off
is
like-
fucking
Looking 23
what I'm
with
saying.
his body.
He's had like the one bad knee injury and some rolled ankles, but other than that, he's fresh. He's gonna be going for a long time.
So, I assume everybody's doy. So, another 10 minutes, 9:48.
Love that.
And then BSD, Antonio Smallwood. What was that time code? Was that 150?
Dude, this one, I know this guy was good.
Yeah.
But he's put a stamp on who he is with this video.
Yeah.
This could be, like full on video of 2024. Like if they did that,
Yeah.
which Nora Cup is like that, but it's not like time framed out like the new year.
Yeah.
But this one's already got to be probably going to get a Nora Cup nomination. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. Sowerby killed it. Antonio killed it. The whole thing is,
He's just new school, just
yeah.
doing his thing.
Has he been on BSD for a long time?
For a little bit, at least.
For a couple years, yeah. Grant's like, he has these like dudes that just, he can spot that they're killers,
Yes.
Well,
like,
because Grant loves cool bike riding.
yeah. Yeah.
So he has riders that ride in a
this-
cool way.
This guy's, this guy's the future.
Yeah.
If he keeps going in this direction with how good he is, it's
Like Reed
fucked
Stark.
up. Yep.
yeah.
So, I mean, Grant's always been like,
BSD has always had
he
the
has,
dudes.
because Grant does cool stuff on his bike.
Yeah. Grant's incredible at riding.
Yeah, he's
Even
so-
today. Yeah.
He's got, like you said, he's got an eye for it. He gets the guys that we're all into.
And then he uses Sowerby too. This dude who like only
Yeah.
works for BSD, really, right? Like,
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just his videos are so good.
So,
That's a motion picture.
8 minutes.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, motion picture. That is it. And then obviously the is GT Bicycles dead?
I actually read this whole thing. Really good job.
Oh,
on the
thank
whole.
you.
It was a fucking
Thank
good
you.
article to read.
Yeah,
So
I tried to put a little bit of effort into it. It was a
No,
little
it's
bit of
really
a
good.
clusterfuck on the back end with Jeff and stuff like with.
Yeah, did Jeff
So-
lose his job right after he came in here?
Yeah, he was
'Cause
pretty bummed.
He came in here with the shirt on,
Yeah,
with
he
the
was
logo.
really bummed.
And I remember watching that, and Dennis, you were like, oh man, that's a big team. 8 riders.
Yeah.
They were talking about how many riders were on the team, and when I was listening to that, I was like, geez, that is a lot of riders. And then what was the date on that? Like
I mean,
when Jeff was in here was like, what, December
Yeah.
5th or something?
Yeah, it was close.
18th or
yeah,
all cut.
it was within 2 weeks. Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's not just the riders, it's everybody.
It's
I was
everybody.
It's
talking
fun,
to-
it's weird too because I remember asking him like, "What's up with 2025?" and he kind of was like, he didn't really have an answer for me. And I thought in my head like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
as being like team manager with this
I mean,
8-person
my-
squad, like you don't know what you're doing in 2025.
old friend of mine, Steve Spencer's worked for GT for 30 probably 30 years.
He got let go.
He got let go. You know, I was messaging with Clive Gosling today. He got let go.
Yeah, Clive was a lifelong BMXer. He's based in England, right? I met Clive via Zoom.
Yeah, he was one of the Jive 5, the original Jive 5. So he was with Will Smith.
With Will Smith and stuff,
they started the Jive plate thing.
One of these things where it's like, you talk to some, I'm on a Zoom call with, the brand manager of GT or whatever, pretty high up guy at GT. It's one of those funny instances where he's like, yeah, I used to ride and stuff like that, and he was pretty modest. He's like, I grew up with Will and all that, and then he sent me a photo of himself afterwards, and he was just like ripping a table out of a bowl, and I'm like, Clive. Okay, Clive, like like one of those, like, you never know who you're really talking to. Like,
they came over to the States and probably 88.
Oh, okay.
And they were all S&M guys. Clive was an S&M guy, but Clive was the only one from England. All the other guys were from Ireland.
Okay.
But yeah, so he's been around forever, and this whole thing is wild. I mean,
is there anybody that you guys know that's still there? Do you think they're keeping it as
think
small as possible with a couple employees, keeping it alive?
This whole thing got so top heavy with marketing expenses, but with no real sales to back it up, that this pawn company, this is totally my opinion, I think they just kind of pulled the plug on it temporarily to get rid of all these expenses, all these people, all these athletes, all this stuff, and
just so far in the red that they're like, we need to bring it down a little.
Yeah, but they're not done with this brand. This brand is going to just kind of simmer.
Has it done this before? Someone said it's done something like this.
I think this is like the 5th owner. I mean, realistically,
it is all in this article, because I did a little bit of research. Like it is in there in certain ways, like if we don't touch on everything, everybody
watching
should
Dead
read
Sail or whatever it was that the GT video?
Yeah,
it was so sick, and like all the dope pros,
had McGrath in it.
It was so high production level, and then when I was coming up, there was no GT as far as what I knew. I didn't know about GT besides Dead Sailor, like this old school brand, and then all of a sudden it's like
I didn't read this. I'll read it later. I didn't even realize you wrote such a nice thing.
Good.
But I mean,
you wrote this like a day after.
Realistically, in '96, when Rich Long died, GT pretty much died. When Rich crashed his motorcycle and died, GT died. And Gary Turner hung in there till like 99 before he retired. And then the company that sold like 4 times.
Yeah.
And a couple of those companies have gone out of business and filed Chapter 11 after buying GT.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a curse.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, and then, recently, like with Ben over there, Ben was doing a great job, but then they got into Dick's Sporting Goods. And then the next guy decided he was going to take GT to the bike shops again after being in Dick's Sporting Goods. So it's like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
What are we going to be? Are we going to be in Dick's, or are we going to be in the bike shop? Or are we going to go retail direct? Or what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I think they've just dropped everything. They're going to sit on it for a while, and then they're going to bring it back.
Do you think?
Wait until everybody sells this surplus of inventory until the market becomes a seller's market again.
Right. Now they're not paying tons of mountain bikers and BMX riders and all these marketing people. But this company, Pawn, they own tons of brands.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's literally.
But a lot of them are floundering. But the whole, that end of the bike business is all floundering. So,
what end?
Like the big time bike business, the Treks, the Specialized, the Giants.
Look,
they're all hurting.
They own so much shit. They have to put it in fucking alphabetical order. So they own Cannondale. They own fucking.
Well, this is all Pawn
because people not buying
they own
specific bikes. Why would they not just go? It's same person who's buying.
I just think the consumers.
They own Bugatti.
The consumers gone. Oh, do they? Well, Bugatti bikes.
Bugatti bikes.
They've licensed that name. They don't make the cars, or do they?
I don't know.
No.
Pawn has been an official importer of the Bugatti car brand in the net. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
They own fucking Bugatti.
Okay, well, they're not concerned about GT, obviously.
So they're an importer.
Wow. Yeah, who knows? But
it's a huge company.
Yeah.
And to your point, Dennis, I think so many people are buying electric bikes, electric assist bikes, and everyone's having a hard time moving into that real quick. So there's like this whole
There's that, and also
shift.
Like when you're just buying, if you're just a random consumer going to buy whatever, you're like, oh, I want the Giant for $2,000, and you go and offer up, and there's another one that looks just like it for $1,100 because of this
COVID backlash.
Exactly.
Right.
It's
and you got a ton of people out there that are buying the YT.
It's not a seller's market.
You know, the consumer direct YT mountain bike instead of going to the shop and buying the Trek, the Specialized, the Giant. They're all holding on to that bike shop, you know, distribution model. I don't know. We'll see We'll see what happens, but I don't think they're done with GT. I think it's just honestly going to go away for, let's say, a year, and then it's just going to come right back again. Yeah. And the even more ironic thing about this is that brand was started in 1972 by Gary Turner, who's still in the garage making GT bikes right now.
Yeah, he makes a different version of GT, basically.
So GT is still around, but it's actually Gary Turner and Craig Turner. It's
Full
Gary
circle.
and his son making bikes in the garage. They have GT Nation.
Yeah.
They go to all the events. Yeah. They're doing pretty well with it.
What is it? A race company?
It's GT bikes, but it's not the GT bikes that has been bought and sold 5 times. It's actually Gary Turner and his son Craig Turner.
Huh.
Yeah, GT Nation. They're still making frames. I'm friends with Craig. I talk to him all the time. So they're back in the garage. And Gary Turner was in the garage from 1972 to 1976.
I was trying to find the video that I made, but we'll watch
before he met
else's.
Rich Long. Once Rich Long got involved, then it became a big deal. But from 72 to 76, it was just like this.
So that's Craig.
That's Craig.
That was the racer that essentially
his dad was making bikes for him when he was a little kid.
Yep.
And he was
are they making like old school stuff, or do people?
Yeah, old school stuff.
Old school stuff only.
Yeah,
kind of like cruiser style.
Cruisers for sure, that kind of thing. Yeah, and Craig was a police officer for like 20 something years, and then he retired, and now he's fabricating like his dad.
Yeah, crazy. It was a trip going to that shop. Is it just in Anaheim, right?
Well, no, he moved to Arizona.
Oh, did he move to Arizona? Okay.
Yeah, but it was in Anaheim.
Yeah.
But so is GT really gone, or is GT just back to where GT started?
In a garage.
Fair point.
Frames are getting made.
And which GT's the real GT? This one or the big corporate one that's owned by the people that own Bugatti?
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. Either way, I think the sentence that I said, like, you know, because there was some sentiments like, oh, I should have died a while ago. And it's like, and it's, while it's GT, the brand, the big corporate one, still did a lot of like cool stuff. You know, all those riders that they were supporting, all that, all the content that they put out, they were able to help Bethany Hedrick make her first ever video part, and it's like, and just what they did in supporting, you know, Crandall's event, and was supporting us and supporting the Bloom, and all the stuff that they did is like, that's, you know, shouldn't be like completely forgotten, and employing one of my fucking good friends. Yeah,
first free stuff I ever got was from GT.
Yeah, and they sponsored
what GT?
Albert too.
Those guys in the garage.
Yeah, right.
The Rich Long GT. Gary, I don't think Gary Turner. The first time I ever met Gary Turner, he yelled at me, and I was like 12. I was 12 years old. He yelled at me. I didn't care for him, but Rich liked me, so I was good.
But yeah, good point.
Yeah, so it just don't glance over it too much, because it does affect all those riders that are listed in that first paragraph. There's about like 15 to 20 of them and stuff like that, and then it does trickle down to your boy Spencer and my boy Jeff.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
But here's the thing, like when they do come back a year from now or however long it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to go as good as it went in this version, because Steve Spencer, Clive Gosling, Ben Ward, these guys all know the history of GT, and they were able to bring it back. You know, especially Ben with the products.
Yeah.
You know, he brought back like the GT letter tire and all that kind of stuff. When they come back a year from now, they're not going to have those guys. They're going to have some random cycling people. All they're going to have is a logo.
Yeah.
They're going to have letters and wings, and they're not going to have that history, I don't think, unless they dig up the right guys and do it again. But I think this was their last chance at really, you know, keeping the heart and soul of the brand.
So
next time it's just 2 letters.
Mm-hmm. So then from one 2-letter to another, obviously we have free agent essentially saying that in the new year they will be discontinuing the freestyle program, but nothing but best of the future.
But they didn't let everyone go, because I've noticed there were guys, I forgot his name, but there was a guy posting on Instagram today.
So then
for free agent.
That's the thing, is that I made, for once, I actually did my diligence, not for once, but I did reach out to Jared Eberwine, who was the TM, and he's basically saying that's people fulfilling their contracts.
Oh,
so he's including the free agent.
Wow, gotta
Instagram.
love that, man. Guys actually posting in the last week of their contract.
So Daniel is fulfilling his contract. Jared was the one that posts on the Instagram.
Those are pros right there.
That's the free agent Instagram.
That's it. But Daniel has been doing his part too. Like
nice.
so.
But again, this is like, the original free agent was started by Yvonne Shoup and her husband and their son Brent, who's my age, and I used to race with them. They started in a garage in Orange County.
Yeah.
And then when they sold free agent, they got divorced. They sold free agent to KHS or whatever it was. It's never really been free agent.
Yeah, of course.
So this is no big surprise, but when you're traveling the world and getting a monthly salary and bonuses, whatever these guys are getting, I mean, just enjoy it while it lasts, because
it's not meant to last forever.
That's not going to last forever, right?
So
you've got to know on this one anyway.
The one thing that hasn't been said publicly is that free agent is continuing in business.
Really?
But they do not have an athlete program.
And who's the parent? Is it KHS?
KHS also cut whatever mountain bikers they had as well. Right. So they have 0 athletes on any of their bicycle brands anymore.
Because as far as like competitive
it's a cool
events,
team.
They've got a
cool team for what it is.
But where did you ever see a free agent? That's the other mystery is like,
never seen one.
I would joke, I always made the joke that it was a money laundering scheme or something, like what are they doing?
Well, you got to have money to launder it. So I don't think that's
I don't know how that would go. True.
I don't know how. I mean, I haven't seen a KHS in a while either.
Exactly. So
I don't know what's going on here.
So it's like if GT so free agent is continuing on, they're just not sponsoring athletes and giving back into BMX, essentially that circle. And if GT comes back and they decide to do the same thing, like, hey, it's going to be harder to rebuild and do all this, so let's just do big bike stuff or big box stuff, and we don't need a team, we don't need a marketing budget. And you come back and it's like,
good luck though.
Yeah. So I think that's the scary thing, where it's like these big brands, I mean, just like you said, free agent wasn't really, it was an anomaly how it.
But this is like 1991 all over again.
Yeah.
This is not the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
So, and I'm optimistic that it's not going to be the first time this has happened and then it bounces back.
Well, Bonner actually said in his podcast, which is yet to come out, but
hopefully right after this.
Yeah,
one.
hopefully right after, is that he said that when you were starting S&M and he was doing UGP, that's when everybody was bowing out.
They were all. He's exactly right. 86, 87. Everyone was like cutting and running.
Yeah,
like all the big brands. See some of these same ones, like KHS's. KHS used to have a huge BMX program. They cut it all around that time.
Yeah.
And we were just getting into it. It's when it's dead that people get into it.
Exactly.
But I'm optimistic. Like today, I went to San Marcos Park and then I went to Sweetwater before I came here.
Oh, yeah.
In both spots, there's kids. There was a kid at San Marcos today. It was packed, first of all. There's like 100 people.
Always fucking packed.
It's insane.
Yeah.
There was a kid
getting
unloading his bike out of the truck, and it was like an old mongoose with one-piece cranks and a stem with a shaft, like a shafted stem.
Yeah.
And he was coming out to ride. I mean, you go there and you'll be optimistic about the future.
Yeah.
If there was those bike parks in every town, bikes would be the biggest thing.
There was a
100%.
kid going through those jumps on like a full-blown department store bike.
Oh yeah.
And
then you see these people that you met like fucking 20 years ago, like they live in San Marcos. They dusted off their fucking dirt bike classic.
McCarty.
And they're like,
Dustin McCarty.
Every time I go, I see a friend
today.
there that like I haven't seen him forever. Dustin.
Yeah.
I saw Ross, I think at Lanier the other day.
Oh,
So
like
that park has got kids coming out of, with department store bikes coming out. It's also got older guys coming out of the woodwork.
It's the perfect mix
them
because
from
it's like
every
racing, mountain biking, BMX, all of it. It's those things. I wish they were in every city. I hope that becomes a thing. And I know they're building more in San Diego. So those dirt parks are just fucking.
Are they dirt though? I mean,
whatever
what
it is.
Soil
That?
tech?
We call it?
I don't know what that stuff
Soil
is.
tech,
But man, I wouldn't want to crash on it.
No.
Dennis and I had this debate off camera.
It's the OB. it's the OB skate park. They just moved the skin to these dirt parks.
But
Exactly.
I love it, man. I was
you know how many tires have hit that?
today.
No one's laid a shovel to it.
I know.
That's why that shit is epic.
Yeah.
Hundreds of tires every day.
Falling apart. Yeah.
Little holes and fix them up real quick.
So is this it? GT and Free Agent, were those the big ones in December? Because I thought this was going to be like after those two. I thought this was going to be like a wave.
No, I mean, as far as I know, Etnies, But that was like
we don't know if that's true.
So I was the one that said that Etnies is gone, and I mean Etnies is putting out stuff with Dig.
Now the bike
Instagram.
program's cut entirely. Mountain bikes, and I messaged Don Brown about it. I asked him Etnies.
Well, why is Dig doing? They're just running through contracts because they're doing a collab and they're doing videos.
They
right
made
now.
it. They made the stuff.
Yeah.
They got to sell the stuff.
Running through it. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% on Europe. But if Ian Morris got let go, then I think Europe's done with the bike program too. Yeah. And like I said, I talked to Don Brown, and he said for now the bike thing is done.
Yeah.
And that's not just 20-inch bikes. That's mountain bikes.
Yeah,
that's
mountain
everything.
bike too. So, and that's like, I mean, it's oddly it's fucked up, but it's oddly reassuring. You know, where it's like the first thing, because it was like when GT drops BMX, and it's like I wanted to be like, no, not just BMX. They dropped everything. It's not like solely refactored. Yeah, but then we're all fucked. But
then on the flip side, you've got that.
What I said about the bike industry. Just too many bikes right now.
What's that Adidas shoe brand?
510.
510 seems to be doing really good.
Yeah.
So I think if
they're kind of smart. They have a small little team. You know, I mean, not to say smart, but they don't have too much overhead going on. But they have a nice little small team.
They have the stiff sole with the grippy, rubber. Like they're doing everything right for bikes, and those free ride guys are eating it up. And a lot of trail guys are even, Dave King, when he was out in Pagosa, he was ordering those things and having them shipped to Pagosa. And he's a BMX guy. And I would think he would wear Vans like the rest of us, but no, he wears 510s.
Some people want a little boot.
Yeah, they do. They want to stick
I think
a little boot.
I think that's the difference. Like for me, a shoe is like a lifestyle thing, and it's like I see those things as like utilitarian.
They're kind of gross.
Yeah,
I mean, they're gross, but
they're like a safety pad, kind of.
I've never ridden in them, but I think they're good to ride in, and that's what some people care about. They don't want their foot to crush over the pedal.
Yeah.
It's where I thought
high
tops are better than low tops. Right. For riding and stuff like that. If you fall, high tops are better. I've never worn high tops.
Plus, Etnies has been bought by this new company, and from everything that I've heard, this new company wants 32 boots, and that's it. They don't even care about it. They want the snowboard boots.
Yeah.
They don't even care about the Etnies shoes, supposedly.
All right.
So they bought it to get the 32 boots, and then maybe we see Etnies just kind of hit the back burner, or maybe they sell it off. And they're just stripping it down before they sell that brand off and keep their 32 boots.
Yeah. Well, that confirms that, because Etnies not done. Because I saw, there was a couple of comments on last month's video where it was like, I see Etnies still posting stuff, and I was like, if I was wrong, somebody would have yelled at me by now. Like nobody emailed me or called me and was like, why the fuck, Pierre, so it's true. Yeah. Right? I mean, fuck, I've never talked to him, but he could have.
Well, he sold it.
Yeah, he's the one that sold it.
He sold it. So now it's a family. It's a family-run business that bought it. And there's two brothers, and they're skateboarders, snowboarders. They're European.
What's their name?
I can't remember their names. But if you listen to the Don Brown 9 Club
that's not accurate
podcast, he goes over the whole thing.
Oh, did he talk about it?
Yeah, he talks about it at length because he's worked at Etnies for 30 years.
Yeah.
Etnies started in 87 too.
Yeah. No. So, all that stuff true, obviously. I am not wrong. My streak continues. Never been wrong once. That's
good job.
Definitely not true.
The Dig Etnies videos, I don't know if they're on the videos or not, but those are really cool.
They are cool.
Jason
They're cool.
Inns and then Joe Rich. Like, it looks like they're doing maybe more from dudes from Forward. Like, that's pretty sick. So it sucks Etnies is going away, but at least we're getting these videos in the time being.
What, they're bringing them back?
No, they're like these cool little mini documentaries, like 7 or 8 minutes long.
Who's making those?
Dig.
I think Sandy made them.
Oh, all part of this collab?
Yeah, I think Sandy did make it.
Thing? Oh, that's
so cool. Just cool. You'd like them. They're sick. Joe Rich.
I love that era of the team. I mean, their team was so good in that era.
It really goes into like the Forward and like what was going on in their lives during the time, and kind of like how Joe Rich had the injuries and got into photography.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
but who's actually making them?
I think it might be Sandy.
I think it was Sandy. Sandy made the Joe one for sure. So
he'd be the perfect guy to make them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are really sick. I was stoked on these. And I was kind of confused because these came out and the whole Etnies thing, and I was like, are these weird re-ups or something? And I actually just clicked one. I was like, no, these are fucking good.
Nice shirt there.
Well, he's the newest.
Yeah, he's on there.
He's the newest S&M rider, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while, but I don't think we've officially
Oh, man. Inns like invented. There's like, like Edwin invented Steez in his way, but Inns' Steez was like another invention.
We're getting the whole volume. We're going to have Biz. We're gonna have Ends. We're gonna get Castillo back on S&M. We're getting Bennett.
That would be so
We're getting
sick.
Bennett back on S&M.
You know, Steo did a podcast too, right?
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for that one to come out.
We've been slacking.
These are really good.
The most podcasts we've ever had in the bag, and they're not.
See the name of his ranch. It's such a good
Pasture Prime.
Pasture Prime. Because he's got the mini horses out there.
Too good. All right, going down the list. News. So Nyquist got let go. Oh, this isn't on here. Oh, all right. Bestwick seems like he's stepping down as coach of the British cycling team.
It looks like he's stepping up as part of the British marathon
buff
team.
guy
Look
award.
Look at the shape he's in. What's going on with this guy?
He's like one of the freaks of the whole world. He still does 900s and stuff. I
love
dude.
Bestwick.
He's so in shape and so healthy.
He's a funny guy. I think some people almost can't deal with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He's so great.
I love it though. Like he cracks me up, man.
How old is he though?
He's my age. He's 54.
54, and he's still doing 900s. Like probably tonight. Probably did a couple tonight.
Yeah,
he's so fucking talented.
At those Olympic qualifiers, like I was just shooting photos, so at a point I felt like I had enough photos, so I would just be snapping photos of Bestwick yelling during the runs and just all his energy and everything. Like he is such.
He did a great job with the whole Great Britain team.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing is like he brought back golds.
He really helped
like every year, right? Like it was two. I mean, he brought back multiple golds.
Kieran, and then
oh yeah, I mean multiple medals.
Is he still doing those triple events? Is that still his event?
He may be announcing them. Yeah. So, but
he doesn't. I thought he was in charge of them.
No, that's Sean. Sean at Monster. So, but I don't. I mean, maybe he has a bigger role than I know.
The last one I went to, it seemed like he was running the show.
Oh, maybe just by
his energy and his announcing.
Bestwick-isms. Yeah, for sure. So
good job, Bestwick. You did a great job.
Interested to hear what's next, what they do next, and then in the same vein, Declan Brooks stepped down from the British cycling team. Says retirement. I don't know if that means he's completely done with contests and all that stuff, but he if you want to read the whole thing, it's link in there. But I still love for BMX. I'll be around more than ever. So who knows? But shout out to Declan for everything, for the career, whatever, silver medal and all that stuff, or bronze medal. I always get them confused, but and then
crazy.
I feel like sometimes the English freestyle scene doesn't get enough credit,
Oh yeah.
Or especially like street riding. Like back in my day, they started street riding.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All the guys in London, they really were like the first street riders. I don't know if they get enough credit for that.
You didn't count schoolyards as street?
Well, like London, South Bank,
and
just wall rides, fakie wall rides, all that kind of street riding.
Fair enough.
Yeah, talent out of just England's like as big as California. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure if that's a fact or whatever, but like the amount of pros that come out of there compared to California,
it is pretty wild. It is pretty wild.
So much talent there.
X Games Sacramento 2025.
Sacramento, baby.
August 22nd to the 24th. So I feel like this is something that I was slightly wrong about because I was like, I don't think they're doing the big festival thing anymore. But then they announced a 3-year partnership. And it's at like an X Raging Waters or something. Like it says right here, former Raging Water site, like the big water park.
So it's going to be a big event like the original X Games.
Yeah, like whatever it was in Ventura and
Ventura's stuff. Cool, but Ventura people are going to be dull to X Games. They get it all. They live in one of the sickest cities in the whole world.
Yeah.
Not that Sacramento's not one of the sickest cities in the whole world, but they're going to be a lot more stoked on X Games coming. You know what I mean? Like they're more.
Yeah, they don't get that kind of.
Nothing goes to Sacramento anymore or ever. Mm-hmm. Capital California that no one ever goes to. It's really sick.
Isn't too much else in here, but it says includes skateboarding, BMX, and moto. So $1 million in prize money, music appearances. So it sounds like the same format as Ventura. So that's cool to hear because I was under the impression that it was
main thing right there.
So that was a pretty photo.
And he's the winningest X Games gold medalist now, right, of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like surpassed Shaun White.
He did
Shaun
it.
White, yeah.
He did it
with 18 golds or something.
Something like that.
That's unreal.
But he did the podcast with us, and he's like, I was counting my medals after I got them out of my mom's attic or whatever, and he's like, I had like 20. Like, I don't know what ones are not counting. It was so funny. Like, he'd already beaten the fucking thing. And we're like, well, you didn't tell him? He's like, nah.
For anybody that thinks, BMX or freestyle BMX is on a, big downward slide, this is like the one thing that we can claim now.
Yeah, it's ours.
You can claim a lot of shit.
I know, but
that's a big claim.
Yeah.
That's a big
but
one.
think about, Shaun White going on all these talk shows and everything else. Like, we don't see Reynolds getting that kind of press.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
It'd be cool.
It would be cool.
Right? He's not in the commercials like Shaun White is.
If X Games Street or if BMX Street was in the Olympics too, and he racked up some golds there, I feel like it would be something of that nature, But Garrett's also like quiet, cool.
Garrett doesn't give a fuck.
Like he's like, you're like, oh yeah, whatever, all the time.
He only wanted that medal to end that weird pressure going at him. He hated that, like the whole going into X Games, because he was just winning, and then they started like, you got to win another one. He was like,
I always think of Garrett when I think of like Chevy Chase and Caddyshack, where the girl's going through his house and he's got like a $70,000 check sitting on the coffee table and he's just like brushing it away to like put his drink there or something. Like when he won the rail jam that we put on years ago and he got the free trip to Hawaii, he's never even hit me up about it. And I said something to him later too, and he was just like, whatever.
The game of bike money, everybody took their money all stoked, and Garrett just like gave it back to low numbers. Like, like you were like, no, and he's like, no, just use it for the next thing. Like, put it towards all this, and just you just fucking spent so many days to win this thing, and just nope here.
Well,
he's a real G. Like,
he's not sweating the small stuff, man.
Yeah, that's it.
He's doing the big stuff.
Yeah, he's got big vision.
Anyway, he should be like our, whenever we talk about like freestyle, BMX in the mainstream, that's the guy.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't want to do those interviews.
Yeah, right.
Like, he probably doesn't.
Please don't make me do that. He'll do a great job of doing them, but he's like, I don't fucking want to do that.
What, at 8 a.m? Are you fucking kidding me? Paul Tholen off German Olympic team. Always killed it. I mean, just at that recent one, it was cool. Just to see him like approach the course differently than the rest of the quad whips and stuff like that. But it makes sense why he's moving on from that. More fast and loose than anything else.
Volume. Is he on Demolition too? The whole Jason Watts program now is turning into something really sick.
Yeah, hopefully that stuff gets going. Austin Mauser, I'm not sure how to say that, off of Colt. Rickson, first comment, go time. So I didn't plan that at all. Josh De La Rosa, he was off of a claw last month, right? And then you said you apparently knew the answer, that he's on Odyssey.
I think Zach told me.
So super cool to see.
Stoked for that. He's gonna love those new Odyssey parts.
Yeah, and I would be sick to see Josh get that support and be on some trips and stuff like that. And then Joji Mizogaki. That's amazing.
That's a new sponsor. I saw that post, but I didn't know that was I didn't read new sponsor. I just thought it was like, thanks Fed. Who do you used to ride for?
I think he's still on Federal. I don't know. Maybe nobody.
So Odyssey is and a lot of people.
Odyssey?
I think it could be a distributor thing or something, but that's still sick. So
yeah, there's a lot of flow dudes too. Like even Josh, I'm pretty sure is like on that like AM. Like I don't know if it's a full pro deal. Maybe.
Yeah.
Odyssey. Let's get REA on that pro team.
Right. You guys turned REA pro.
Yeah.
And in Australia, did that get posted? Did we talk about it?
I would assume he's like next on the list. I don't want to speak for Zach and those guys, but I know he got put on like I think they put Johnny Reikis on, and then maybe like Paris, and they were like, we got to be done for a little bit. And Santi, like they just added like 3 people to the pro team in 1 year.
Anderson guy.
I think I was the year before, so I got that.
They got to sell some stuff to like catch up with that. Catch up with that.
Yeah, So REA's got to be coming.
And then Milky off of Fit
in December.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
Is that right?
That is correct. Did you not know?
Oh no, I knew. I just.
Thank you for it said, do what's right for. It's taken me way too long to do the right thing for me. Goodbye, Fit. Thank you for the countless memories and experiences. I'll cherish them for the rest of my life. There's a fire beneath me. So that's cool. So does he have something else lined up? Did he quit? Did you let go?
No, he quit.
Okay.
Just straight up quit.
Was it way before December? Is that why you say December?
No, I just feel like he made up his mind like quite a while ago and just took a while to
Post
actually,
it. Yeah, makes sense.
come to grips with it.
Yeah, understandable.
So he doesn't have a new frame sponsor. Just
Not that I haven't heard of anything.
Joey Bags, ex-Fit rider.
Is he back on Fit?
I don't know. You tell me. That's for January. So
what's happened to Joey Bags here? What was he? Was he on Stolen?
He was on Stolen, yeah, for a lot of time.
Come on, Dave Wooten. What are you doing over there? I thought he was on something else. Oh no, he was so he was on Fit. Then he got on Colony.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he was.
I thought he was still on Colony.
Yeah. He was on Colony for a while.
Yeah,
and I didn't even
for a while.
Sorry, Dave, but I didn't even know Stolen was still in business.
I was just gonna say it's crazy when other companies go.
Are you sure that isn't Joey Bags is riding a stolen bike?
That he stole
a bike from somebody?
Maybe. It could be.
Or he's off a stolen bike and he actually bought a bike.
He emerged from that tunnel.
Go back to Stolen's thing real quick.
Joey Bags is on a stolen
Brandon
bike.
Knopp, Xavier. It's a little homie team.
Oh, is it on there?
Yeah, they got some riders.
Xavier, Brandon Knopp, Zach.
Nobody's doing the tail tap like 720, 900. Like
Joey's rad. He's got his own thing going on.
He really does.
Yeah, kick a couple of his. Just click a couple of.
He
his
had a
Instagram
signature
clips.
Fit complete bike.
What happened with him and Fit? Just Colony thought was going to be a better
I don't know
option.
what happened. I think he was tight with Tony Maloof, and when Tony Maloof that wasn't working at Fit anymore.
Oh, okay.
I think that might have been his connect because they were like Chicago dudes. They were buddies from Chicago.
Well, that concludes sponsorship, and we get kind of in the other random bits and bobs. Tim Weeks, pedaling from, I have the info here, riding his BMX from Cairns to Perth in Australia, a journey over 3,800 miles. He's riding parks and trails along the way, and the boy can shred. He's mad as a cut snake and doing the whole thing brakeless while raising money for a mental health charity. So mad as a cut snake is a very Australian thing to say. But
I've never heard that phrase.
Yeah.
Actually.
So
Those trails look sick.
Yeah, he's literally just riding that.
Looks like he's riding Hoder's bike.
So give him a follow.
He's definitely riding Hoder's bike. Look at that seat post.
I know, right?
Where's he going through? Australia?
Yeah, 3,800 miles.
Imagine how hot it is out there.
Oh, right now,
And
for sure.
I think there's some areas that there's
nothing
for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. Like the
dangerous.
entire continent. There's stuff on the.
I don't think there's much in the
There
middle.
isn't. There's stuff right on the coast of Australia, and then there's nothing in the middle.
There's
right?
got to be some little cities here and there. But yeah, when you look on a map, there's nothing. There's no cities. It doesn't seem like he looks like he.
It looks like a fucking weapon.
Yeah. Oh, he's wearing those S&M socks.
Are those S&M socks?
Yeah. He's riding an REA bike. REA colorway. Is this him?
No,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
that's
REA is
not
one
him.
of those.
What do we
sick-
want?
Ari-
What's this?
that was him.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Man.
What
Yeah.
a beast. He's riding.
Yeah. So
He
shout
looks
out
like
to Tim.
is he in the middle of Australia or has he already ridden? It looks like he's ridden through it and back.
I was gonna say he's got the beard of Forrest Gump, like at the end of the running back
Wow.
and forth. So yeah, that is savage. So
That is a hard dude, right?
Yeah.
He had my Vans on. They're going
Did he?
across, and they look like it. They're going
Yeah.
across
Fuck
Australia.
yeah. So I mean, I read a few of these posts
What
that
a
he went
badass.
through. So and then this is
Oh, look, he's got his little map up top. What a savage.
oh yeah.
Oh, I was hoping to
6. What did that say? 6
Fuck,
days,
man. This
Wow.
is someone that'd be
68
so
hours
cool.
on
I
a
wish he
car.
was like vlogging this.
Yeah.
This is something I would
Yeah.
stay up
I was
on.
hoping to see like 70,000 followers or something.
Oh, I
Just
know,
have
of
this thing
course.
going viral.
But
Speaking of that, have you seen Todd Spreet's Instagram following?
It goes crazy.
Yeah.
He'll post
So,
videos that
so
get
ever since
20
he
million
started
views.
this like thing where when he yells.
Is he yelling? I don't ever.
Well,
have
yeah,
the
he
sound
does
on.
something like he goes like woo woo, or he just gets like super hyped up, and then they call him Colonel Sanders or something, and then people start sharing it all over the place. And now he's got like 70,000 followers.
My neighbors have shared this with me, and I'm like, that's my friend. Like,
Yeah.
What do you guys like? I just don't think they think he could ride like he does.
No, he can ride.
All right, so go back, Fudger. Go to just go to one of his randoms. You'll see some of them just get like 20 million views.
Yeah,
Like
they've gone
3.5
viral.
million.
They've gone
Look at that.
viral.
They just keep doing it.
oh,
Yeah, because that's what I'm
he does.
talking
I didn't
about.
even know he does that.
Yeah, he has like a hoot. He has like a thing he does.
And just like with a mountain bike helmet, and you just never think, and you're like, what the hell? This guy can shred. You think he's gonna eat shit when he rolls in if you didn't know who he was.
I mean, that makes sense.
But we all know it's
like
Todd, and he rips.
Yeah, but nobody's really adding Instagram followers. if you look at even pro riders now that are stuck at like, 30,000 followers or something, and now Todd is like
shot up. Yeah.
Todd is just adding them like crazy.
It's gonna be
and
a
now,
Red Bull helmet next year.
and now his daughter too. Have you watched his daughter?
Is she going crazy?
Yeah, they're both like internet sensations at this point.
Todd Spree is on GT, the only rider who took the budget.
That's amazing.
They had to shut everything down to get him.
So do you pay him the most out of any of the fit riders?
I mean, we give him free bikes and whatever he wants. But look at 62,000 followers.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is so sick. So his daughter's getting stuff.
Oh, his daughter's super entertaining.
Too funny.
It's great.
I was trying to find her Instagram. Oh, there it is. Is she doing it too? Oh, 100,
Yeah, well,
140. People haven't jumped over yet.
When my neighbor sent it to me, I had to like look at his views and stuff. I was like, holy shit, like this is just getting shared.
I think people were sharing it with Melissa too. They're saying, hey, have you seen this guy?
Yeah.
This, Colonel Sanders, they were calling him. She was like, yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
like, he's a friend of mine. Like he's a friend
Shout
of
out
ours.
to Todd, such a good dude.
Papa Spree. We talked about this recently, but it's finally available now. The almost 30 Years of Posh Woods by Delecki is available for pre-order in the U.S. So not officially done, but shipping March 25. Link in bio.
Oh, that'll be a classic
So
right there.
yeah,
It's gonna be beautiful.
I'll go ahead and maybe that's on here. Yeah.
All Delecki photos or photos from lots of people?
I would assume featuring photography, Chris Hallman, Dr. D. Carson, Delecki, Tara, McDonald, Jeff Z, Tasha Lindman, Mulligan, Clay Clawberg, Joe Rich, and more.
Wow.
Yeah. Cover art by Taj.
What's it cost?
$67.
That seems like a good deal.
Yeah, I may actually. Well, can I do that without
How many
logging
pages?
in all my
Like
stuff?
285 pages.
That's a lot.
You know it's good if Delecki made it.
I'm going to make this a separate window so I don't forget to do that. So I will switch that link. And then also in book news, we got Chris Fox's Roving Idiot book. I believe it was Roving.
Chris is just up there in Oregon. You can watch his story. He's pickaxing ice out of a bowl today.
He's in Colorado.
He's in Colorado.
He's in
Salida. And he's pickaxing his bowl he rides.
Yep.
Not gonna go on a little road trip and get out of there. He's gonna make that fucking bowl rideable.
It's 2 hours from Pagosa.
Oh, really?
He's right where we are. Yeah, he's just on the other side of the mountains.
Yeah, him and Josh Clemens live out there. Mm-hmm. He's just ripping the fuck
We've got
out of
two
that bowl,
parks in that town. They got the old school bowl. That's the old school bowl right there. It's right by the river.
Oh, maybe it was yesterday.
Yeah, that's all right.
They got
no one else can ride this bowl. It's super slick,
dude.
And then Fox just rips it.
Of course,
Chris is insane.
So his book, not $67, but only 15. So definitely.
Is it
something
actually?
to do it.
Is it literature? Like,
yeah.
I mean, he
writes books, dude. They're crazy. Like,
I mean, I knew he was always like doodling, or I didn't know what he was doing in those little books.
He writes books.
So I have one or two of them up there. So they are good. Yeah. I mean,
so it's fiction.
It's it's deep. It's a lot of, it's almost like, he expands so much that it's cool though.
I've never read one. My girl read one though and said it was really good.
Yeah.
I like anything that might get like BMX riders to read.
Yeah, it is.
More than like an
even
Instagram
my good
post.
friend and a good writer, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. BMX still couldn't read.
You can do it, Dennis.
I'm gonna try.
You can do it.
I thought this was super cool. And
I'll read it one day.
Honor of Pat Casey. His birthday was on the 26th of December. That this dude Reese made this really cool like wheel spoke art thing of the backyard, and then I believe he even gave it to Chase Casey for the house. But that's what the photo is. I shot that photo, so it was cool from like see something like that come from a photo.
Wow. I posted a photo of when Fids passed away. I posted a photo of Fids that I had from Texas Toast, and after I posted, I realized that Pat was standing like right behind me.
Oh shit! Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
Same photo.
Yeah, insane. So shout out to
I
Reese. I think he just
trick. And Pat was like the only one that made it look really good.
Oh yeah,
like not invert. It's like
the unlook back.
No, it's not really even unlook back. It's like a mountain bike trick kind of. It's like their turn down.
So
Pat made it look sick.
Super cool. I think he just did it out of nowhere and
That's
just
awesome.
gifted it to Chase. So that's super cool. So wanted to give him a shout out for that. I thought it was awesome.
Is this somebody in Austin?
I don't know where he's at, but I mean, this is him riding. It looks like this is his like
Why do you
backyard
think it's
setup.
Austin? You think that's 9th Street?
I don't know. It looks, all that carpet. It looks like it's in Florida.
Yeah. So pretty cool.
Look at the bricks along the top of the
It's
berm.
sick.
Yeah, he does
cool.
like a bunch of.
Made his own little skate park out of dirt and carpet.
Yeah.
And what was that? So the thing is made out of metal? What was the?
Yeah, I think it's all crushed spokes and stuff.
Wow.
So
I didn't know if it was leather, like he tooled it into leather or
Yeah,
something. Oh,
what?
but
That's
it,
let me see. I was
crazy.
gonna. Where'd the actual
It's a wheel and then a bunch of other metal
like the
inside of it.
detail right there?
oh, it's an actual wheel. Yeah, it's like
Dude,
three-dimensional.
That's insane.
Yeah, super cool looking.
Talent.
So even like like right there, it says something. There's a market seat, market logo.
Wow.
I was.
It's fucking sick.
Oh shit. I wonder if the Pat's has that in the photo. Oh
so
yeah,
we
he's
got-
wearing that's a market seat,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So pretty cool. Shout out to him, man. That
we
is
got
like
guys
detail
doing
and
like sculptures, writing books.
yeah, very cool. And he rips too. Like we got a little look at that setup in the backyard.
Yeah, I like the bricks.
I mean,
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
So
It even takes his little artistic skill to making that crazy little park.
yeah,
'Cause that
that was sick.
and that was sick.
So
too.
shout out to Reese. That's all I know. Recycle
Yeah.
Dart. It's definitely not
oh,
his
he's
name,
in
but
he's in Egg Harbor.
there you go. Where's that?
Oh, I thought Egg Harbor was New Jersey, but then it said Georgia or something. I don't know, maybe different Egg Harbor. Atlantic City, New Jersey, yeah.
Okay. Little Devil 30th year coming up.
Wow.
Not much to it, but felt like that was worth a shout out to Derek Adams and
Little Scary Derek.
Little Scary Derek.
Little Devil to me is like right there with S&M in a weird way because like they were the coolest things when I started falling in love with freestyle. It was
Yeah.
like S&M and Little Devil. Like
Yeah.
that was the shit.
You loved Marvin Lauderly.
I did like Marvin Lauderly, yeah.
He was the S&M Little Devil.
He wasn't like he wasn't like Josh Stricker or something to me. He was
Everybody
sick.
was Little Devil though.
Yeah,
Remember?
everyone
Yeah.
was
Like
S&M,
especially
too.
S&M. You know?
Yeah, true.
Early days of S&M, it was like UGP.
It was like S&M attitude personified into
well,
like a brand.
Behringer,
Yeah.
and, you know.
Yeah.
And Homan.
It was like the
Yeah.
same thing almost. It felt like to me.
So what's going on with Little Devil?
I think he's just kind of doing what he
Does he
wants.
still do his jam at his house?
Yeah,
You
he
ever
did
been to
that. He did that
that's a-
recently. I have been to it. It was
That's
super
Last
cool.
month we
That's
saw that
super
on the
cool.
news.
Yeah, he did the jam just recently and like had like a Misfit covers band
Yeah.
and Garrett Burns was riding there and stuff. So it was cool. So still doing it.
So is it back? Can we get Little Devil T-shirts?
I think you can. I think you
I
can.
think he sells stuff.
Yeah, he's still
Take a peek real quick.
yeah. Still doing it. Hey, he got a bunch of stuff. Look at that.
Yeah,
This
logo
hit-
infringement. He's got two S&M logos in one. Look at that. Well, no, I guess
That's
he's
the-
got.
That's why I think it's like S&M.
Wow.
He's got get that lawyer.
Yeah.
Have you ever sent out like a cease and desist?
No, it's a waste of time. You pay the lawyer, $5,000, and then these guys stop making a T-shirt. Whoop de doo.
Can't you just like download
if the
form or
logo's
something?
good enough, then I'll just make the logo, and that's how I recoup the money. Like the guy that did he called himself Shovel Dick, and he
Oh,
did
yeah,
the
yeah.
S&M
Yeah.
shield with the shovel in it. And I thought, man, that's a cool logo.
Yeah.
So we just started putting it on hats and shirts and.
Have you ever been to his house, Sean? Shimkits. That's shovel.
Oh, that's Shovel Dick?
yeah.
No, I never put that together. Isn't he here in San Diego?
Yeah, he was. He moved. I think he moved to Puerto Rico for a little while. But
Oh.
if I
I didn't know that was him.
yeah,
I had no idea. who it was.
I'm like 99%
Look
sure.
at this
that's
other
him.
one. It's got the Fit logo in it.
Yeah, it's got the
Oh, and the
coexist.
standard logo. It's got all the logos.
Yeah.
Oh, coexist. He wants all the brands to coexist.
Yeah.
Well, we do.
We do,
We do coexist.
dude. We had. Oh,
It's not always
I should.
harmonious, but we do. Oh no, look, he's got Etnies in there.
Oh, it's got to go.
No more coexisting there. Oh, and he's got the S from S&M. Wow.
What cease and desist have you gotten over the years?
Jack Daniels for a black market mountain bike logo we did. The guy from Santa Cruz Skateboards, the owner, I forgot his name. we've gotten a lot. Oh, I got Bride magazine.
Yeah.
Actually cost us money. Oh, and then not recently, but when Began was on Fit, we got the cease and desist and had to pay actually a lot of money on that one too. The brown logo with it's got all the logos all over it. I don't know. It was
Gucci
BB,
or something?
It was Gucci or something. Yeah, whatever.
How do they see that shit?
I don't know. It was on a seat and it was on a shirt or something, but yeah, whatever. What are you going to do, you know?
Fuck. Yeah, fucking Ride got you, huh?
Like $2,000 or something.
And then you started your own magazine.
It was Losi. It was Losi, you know, and Brad and whatever.
All right, product stuff. I'll keep it pretty quick. This was a cool random, not random, but
no, this is sick.
Yeah,
man.
like I thought it was Photoshop, and then I saw a little behind the scenes of all the butterflies hanging there. That's my favorite one.
That's wild. I mean, look at this.
Cool way to do a collab. Burn Slow crushing it.
Burn Slow's cool because they didn't just like, it's literally like their name, Burn Slow. Like they're just slowly, keep doing cool shit over and over again. It's like they're not going away.
No, but I mean the time he puts into doing something like that. It's like when he was on Canode, he was talking about how when he worked at Cult, it was just every day, like they wanted to win the internet every day.
Yeah.
And this is what he wants to do.
Burn
but can
slow.
you imagine like somebody like myself or Robbie that's trying to like pay the bills like on a daily basis where just like, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to do this collab thing. I'm going to have it done in like a month.
Yeah.
But when it gets done, it's going to be badass. But you got to have patience.
Yeah.
To do this. Like he's like an artist.
He's an artist.
He's like, he doesn't even care if it's making money or not.
And obviously this is fucking cool ass photo.
It's all like, it's so like artistic, all of it.
So
I would love to do the kind of stuff like this. I just want to get it done in a day. This is sick, man. Can we get this done by like 5?
That's like some old Aaron Chase photo. I love it. Santa's always watching.
That's a drunk Aaron Ross. That's rare. I've only seen that.
Yeah.
I've only seen that once in my life. It
was
amazing.
Young Chase, 2011.
That could be old Chase, young Chase. You can't tell the difference.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
I doubt he's down in JD like that nowadays.
Battle Hastings is a little loose, which is good to see.
Yeah,
he's down the right time.
So all that stuff, obviously links in the bio for anything we talk about, as long as it fits. Stephen Murray Vans shoe collab, which I did not see coming at all, which is pretty cool. Only 100 pairs available, so I don't know if they're even still available at all.
I mean, talk about coming back together, because that Vans split with Murray was gnarly.
Was it? I don't even remember.
Well, this was the weekend he got hurt.
Oh, it was.
This is when he went to the airport. So he went to the airport to fly out to go to the contest.
Yeah.
Wherever it was. It was X Games.
Yeah.
Or Gravity Games. Dew Tour, yeah. So he goes to the airport, fly out. When he gets to the airport, he realizes that his ticket had been canceled by Vans. They canceled his ticket and they dropped him. So he drove from the airport back. He drove to S&M, and when he came in to see me and he explained what was going on, he's like, "I want to wear S&M jersey," because he was already riding an S&M bike.
Yeah.
Right, but he was on GT or something, or he just got dropped from GT.
Something?
No, it's GT. He got dropped from GT.
Shit.
Then he went to the airport. Flight was canceled. He was pissed, and I told him to try and relax and like don't wear the S&M jersey because then you won't get another deal, and I can't pay you $6,000 a month or whatever he was making at the time. So I said, just go. Whatever, do your thing. And he did. He ended up going to the contest, and then he found batters in the lobby of the hotel and punched him in the face.
The night before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And then he was just in a wrong headspace for the event, and that's when he got hurt.
Fuck. Did not know those details.
You got to read the book, the Stephen Murray book.
Oh, is it in the book?
I did read that book.
That
book's fucking cool.
I haven't read it, and I might. Some of those facts might be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that.
Something like that. That Stephen
But he
Murray
did
book's
punch
amazing.
someone in the face in the lobby. The flight was canceled. Those things did happen.
Yeah, that fucking book, man.
And he was in a bad headspace
So
when
good.
he went there. And then I guess the jump was a little funky too.
Is this it?
Yeah, it's insane.
But if he's,
I was just talking to Steven. He got that bike. I'm pretty sure he said he ordered it. Remember the bike he was riding? We talked about. He was like riding this like cool mountain bike with like 4 wheels.
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
You can
Yeah,
I think
since he's been hurt. Since
he's been hurt. Yeah, sorry, but it's like he got it.
Yeah, and then he had that. I mean, he posted that.
Or he ordered it.
So the shoes are available before we get too far off track. But then he also had that gnarly health scare thing that was pretty wild.
But to put it back together with Vans and now be repping, I mean. That's really cool.
Really cool.
It is
on both their parts, but especially, like Vans being a big giant corporate entity, Vanity Fair, this whole thing. I hate it when like Nasty, goes out in a bad way with Vans, because to me, Murray, Nasty, these should be Vans guys for life.
They should.
And we're not even talking about like a lot of money, just a collab here and there. Some of these just abrupt shit canning of guys like of Nasty. Just keep them on, give them a signature shoe. Don't pay them.
Yeah,
but send them to an event now and again, and give them a signature shoe.
And
that's what it looks like. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it is cool. I think that's something that is needed. With those 1% of guys.
Yeah.
Not everybody. Obviously, like if they're there for 10 years, like 10 years isn't long enough. It should be 20 years. If they make it that long, it's like, give them shoes for life. Make them happy. You don't have to pay them, let them know it's coming within a couple years, obviously, when you're going to stop paying
rock
them.
stars for life.
Rock stars for
life. Some of these guys are like,
these
are like the Christian Hossois of BMX.
Yeah.
And they treat him right.
I think they wanted to keep Nasty forever in some sense. I don't want to speak for anyone. Yeah. And I think he still wanted to kind of be on like the main pro team.
Also, he wanted.
I don't know. That's speaking.
Yeah.
That I've heard the Van side. I haven't heard Nasty's side. I never actually talked to Nasty personally about that, so I shouldn't even said that on air. But sounds like you heard the Nasty side. So who knows?
No, I didn't. I just read the posts and stuff and just thought like, I hate seeing it go that way.
Burn.
I do too. Yeah, it sucks. So I don't know.
But this is cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah,
I'd get a pair of those. I mean,
Let's do it.
Yeah, but they do that with legends. Like they should, even like 500.
And I mean, Steven's still with us, and
imagine the time too. They're fighting. Like Steven was probably partying so hard, and Batters was in his prime of partying. Like that fucking the blurriness and wildness was just probably.
I guarantee if you were to go back and ask Jerry Batters now about some of the things he did back then, he would do things differently.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Alcohol's fucking crazy.
Well, yeah. Just the whole thing. It was just a wild time.
Mm-hmm. All right. BMX games coming in 2025, which we don't know too much about because it's all on these things, and then people make fun of me for being old. But Street Dog BMX, which is makers of Pump BMX, this is something that's in the works. I wonder if there's audio.
Is this Is this a French game?
No, I think he's English.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like Pump BMX as far as I know.
The levels look sick.
Yeah. So they were supposed to come out pretty soon, but then I think it's they pushed it back to kind of give it a little more work, but looks pretty awesome. Supposed to be, I think, console or something. But I don't know how all this stuff works. Link is in there. Albert put these in here.
That city looks fun.
BMX Streets official. This is the one that like everybody got scanned for forever ago, but it looks like more like, less cartoonish, more realistic. That like a little slider thing was cool.
Wow, like what are you pushing to control that to make him X up land?
I have no idea. So
look at that rail. Go hit that rail. Ooh,
Simone.
Man, look at those. The levels are even sicker than anything.
Yeah. So
that this is real.
There's that, and then the last one, BMX Bastards. I never heard of this one.
Damn.
Is this a big year for
I guess
BMX video games?
I mean, it feels like they should have planned this shit out a little bit, maybe.
These are all different companies.
This one's got park courses.
BMX Bastards.
Damn. This one looks pretty real too.
How is it that these people are dropping their BMX programs? Everyone's talking about how BMX is like in the tank, and then there's all these video games are coming out.
I don't know. Hey. This one looks a little stiff compared to the other ones, but
is that what's happening here though? Are people not riding bikes? They're just playing games, or they're acting like they're riding bikes?
Go to the dirt park. People are riding bikes.
I don't know. It's a crazy.
There's just
Crazy
too many
world.
bikes. All these companies ordered a billion fucking
I always
bikes,
think
and
it's
they're all on offer up.
The biggest. I mean,
That's really what happened.
That is the perspective, right?
There's just too many
you had
bikes.
GT selling 2-for-1 bikes.
They were doing that. It was
Yeah.
awful.
There's
Yeah.
like mountain bikes that are supposed to be like 11 grand, and they're selling them for like $3,000. You know what I mean? Like on another level of
So it's like a
money.
whole correction, and then once it's all corrected, a year, 2 years from now, then things start kind of building again.
Has to.
You're the guy.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm the guy that's downsizing like everybody else. You know, I don't even care if it's small. As long as we're having a good time, like I said, we're putting guys on the road, we're making videos, we're doing what we like to do. I'm fine. The problem is you got a bunch of employees, you've grown,
Yeah.
and now you got to start letting these people go. I hate letting people go. These are
Yeah.
like adults with kids and bills, and now you got to lay them off. Downsizing's the worst.
And it's your fault. You know,
Well,
like
I mean, it's not my fault.
you know what I mean.
I mean,
like,
you just grow,
Yeah.
and then you have to adjust.
It's
to
what
the
happened with
business.
COVID and the industry's fault.
I don't
Does-
mind being small. I hate going from being big to being small.
Yeah, yeah.
But once we're small and everything's like dialed in and we're almost there, then it's good.
Yeah.
Then we can just be small and make money, a little bit of money, do our thing, and have fun.
But you got to let guys go on the way to
It's
that.
going. It's that diet. It's going on the diet. Getting fat's fun. You know, being in shape is fun. But going on a diet, that's no fun.
Yeah, you got to say goodbye to your friends, McDonald's, Wendy's, beer,
beer.
all that good stuff.
Can make this off the record, but is Fit's no longer doing bikes?
No, Fit's doing bikes.
Okay.
We have brand new bikes in the works right
Okay.
now.
All
They'll
right.
be out in January, February.
Okay, so then we can. All right. Well, I'll remove that dumb question because at a point you said you were done with making bikes.
Yeah, I just had so many bikes.
Okay.
And bikes coming, and no, we're making bikes. We're just making less bikes.
Okay.
And we're gonna try and not give them away.
Yeah.
Try and not do 2-for-1.
I always wonder. I mean, I don't know. This is turning into a Moeller podcast, but I always wondered like how you give somebody a bike, and
Right.
because you're psyched on them,
Right.
and then they come back like a year later and they want another one,
Right.
and then you're like, dude, I can't give you a bike right now, and then they go, fuck Moeller.
Right.
Like, fuck it. Why are you like, it's like, it's got to be so hard. I don't know. I feel like I'd be like
but,
scared to give anybody anything
it's-
because
yeah.
then it's like, then
that
they come back.
That scenario is unfortunate, and it
Yeah.
does happen. But more than that, it's like today, for instance, at Sweetwater with Parker Dumas. You guys know Parker.
Yeah.
We gave him a bike, and I just randomly showed up there today, and he was there riding his Fit with his Fit T-shirt on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he didn't know I was coming. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Yeah.
And he's super appreciative of getting a free bike, and he's never going to say that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I said to him next year, I can't give him another bike, he'd be like, well, thanks for
Yeah.
the one you
yeah.
did give me.
Yeah.
So they're not all
Yeah.
crappy.
Yeah, I just
Some
feel like
are.
the fear. Yeah, the fear
Yeah.
of that.
No,
Dude
I
hates
know.
you for life because you didn't give him that second free bike.
It's
You're
maybe
"God
like
damn."
the rule of that is like you got to kind of meet someone a little bit before you start doing that shit.
Bingo. That's like
True.
That's the
Yeah.
number. That is
Because if you meet someone, you know their attitude, then you're gonna be like, okay, this guy is not the
But
right
see,
person
when
to
you're
give a free bike to.
when you're really moving and grooving and going fast and listening to other people, that doesn't always happen. And when that doesn't happen, the chances of it going sideways go up exponentially.
You're not paying attention to everything. You're just
No,
fucking here,
that's
here,
what you
here.
have
Let's
to
go,
do.
go, go.
What you just said is absolutely the case.
Yeah.
Got to get to know everybody.
You gotta get
Yeah.
to know everybody
Yeah.
before you let them rep your company, and you're like, ooh, I found out that guy's a piece of shit, and he's out there making my company, doing that shit with my shirt on.
It happens. I
Yeah.
mean, Mike Vallely did a great interview where he talks about this and how he has his little skate company, a street plant. It's just him and his wife and his daughter, and he doesn't want to sponsor riders at all. And they said, well, why don't you want to sponsor skaters? And he said, well, here's what happens. You let them into the room, and then, everything's going great, and then they shit in the room, and then they say, fuck off, and they leave.
yeah. And you just fucking, yeah.
And he was like, I just don't even want to, I don't want to deal with that. And if you listen to like Jamie Thomas with his new skate shoe brand, same thing. No riders.
It's that same thing though with the people, because there's people like
not
Hucker.
sponsoring
There's
anyone.
people like Hucker who big brands would let go, and he just says thank you and wears the shit
And
forever.
still comes like
Still
to the
does it
events
all.
and
Just
still reps.
He's the perfect person. But then there's people that these big companies pay a lot of money to, and when they let him go, all they do is bash the fucking company, and
yeah,
it's like,
it's the
whoa, they
Well,
paid you
if,
so much fucking money, and now you're just
Let's
like
say
making
Oakley-
them like
let's
not,
say-
that fucks the future over, because you're like, why do I want to sponsor people, because I could get fucked over
leave a
in 10
bad
years.
taste in everyone's mouth about
I hate
everybody that rides BMX bikes. Whereas Hucker, if Oakley ever wanted to do something, he'd be first on the list.
Every
If,
company.
if Red Bull had it in him to bring someone back and do something, he'd be first on the list. You know,
or
Vans,
judge the
S&M,
contest or be a
everybody.
part of it or whatever. Like, yep. Yeah, it's like the dude Omar Hassan. He's the man. You probably met him.
Oh, I've skated with him.
He's not on Rockstar anymore, but he's at the Rockstar events.
Yeah.
Like they still like he's like family. Like they're like we can't
Right.
pay you, and he's probably just like thank you, whatever,
Well,
cool.
same
And
with
they bring him
Vans.
every Vans.
You know, Vans,
he
they
probably still
love
gets
him.
paid by Vans. Like
They
I bet
love
you.
him at
Yeah,
Vans.
he's
Probably
he's
Black
at all the
Label,
Vans
probably
parties.
Black Label skateboards.
Because he's
still.
he's still on Volcom. He still goes on the trips, like those
Yeah.
huckers, you know. The
People
Omars.
want to support you. People want to help you.
Yeah, no,
when you're
Omar's awesome.
Gratitude.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. It is
Gratitude.
I try and
So,
tell.
to answer your question, that it doesn't happen that often.
Okay, good. Yeah, I feel like that is like that would be my fear.
The
as
only
like
thing is when it does happen, that's what you hear about.
yeah,
You
that is
see,
true.
You see
Because
that.
that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about, oh, Parker Dumas didn't get a new fit bike.
Yeah.
Cool though. We brought Parker and Hucker up though to like
Yeah.
you know give those guys there
That
is
is-
that.
yeah.
There's
Well,
a ton
even
of that.
tonight, I told him, I was like, man, how's your bike? He's like, it's great. Does he need anything? He's like, no, I'm fine. Are you sure you don't need anything? He's like, no. And then when I was driving over here, I texted him. I was like, hey, give me your address and your shirt size. I'll send you some new shirts because he's wearing the oldest shirt ever. I was like, just shoot me your address and your size, and I'll send you some new sweatshirts, T-shirts, whatever. I'm having to
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah,
I'm having to push it on him
that's cool.
because he
And
doesn't want to ask for anything.
that's sick. That's cool.
He's
That's
a good dude.
and it moves them up a little bit in your head. You know, like
Totally.
oh yeah. So that's cool. All right. Events that happened. Darty in the ditch. I think Stu sent me this because we were complaining
because
that
we
there
couldn't
was
find a
nothing.
good video, and then Stu sent me this, and it's
Well,
a
there's
fucking
no
amazing video.
There were no other videos of this event,
Dude, and
Believe
this
it or
one's
not,
so
I don't know
good.
why, but nobody else made an edit from this.
This event looks like one of the funnest events of the year, and
We had a good crew out there with Cole and REA, and
Yo.
we had quite a few guys out here.
did you go?
I did not go.
Looks so fun.
Yeah, I know. It looks like it. I wish I'd have gone.
Oh,
Yeah, next year it's probably just gonna be even.
But that's what I like about Stu's videos. I mean, we paid to make this video, but it's not just S&M and Fit guys.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
there's-
what I loved about this.
There's
Like,
tons of guys in here,
and from this sick event, so weird that it's the only
like
highlight
Sunday
video.
riders. I mean, there's guys in here that ride for all kinds of different brands.
That's just the highlight video from the event with your
Right.
guys shining because they just naturally did.
Yeah, but Hawk. I mean, come on.
It's like an enemy of S&M
No.
and Fit. Not everyone. Oh wait, no, Colt and S&M are the same thing.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
we
secretly
figured that
the
out.
conspiracy.
Okay.
But I mean, this is
maintains-
the stuff that makes what we do cool.
Yes,
right
it
here.
is. And thank God you guys made this video because there's just like raw ones or
There's
something.
got to be something out there.
Sunday looks
Maybe.
like.
There's
I
this.
mean, so who puts the event on?
Brett.
Brett.
Silva.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like a full factory kind of thing.
Kind
I
of. and
wonder
burn
why
slow
did they have a full time filmer, right?
Zach
They
is
have
a
Zach
busy
over there?
man.
Yeah, he may not have
He
been able to make
He's
it.
probably in like Bangkok.
Well, I think this was pretty much right after dots and stuff like that. So maybe he was like just wrapped up on other stuff and couldn't go out there.
Oh, this looks like such a good event. I had no idea when he told me there was
I
going to
know.
be a jam in a ditch.
Yeah, you don't
I was
expect
like,
this, huh?
No, I
It's
did
the
not.
third one too. They
It
just,
looks like there's dirt jumps there. There's all kinds of
it's
stuff.
perfect.
Aaron's riding. Yeah, I had no idea.
It would be sick to do like a home ab ditch, but just like make it super extra, you know. But we don't have massive shit like
that's the
that.
thing. This ditch really works
Yeah.
well. But it's all creativity. I would
Yeah.
never think to build a hubba down the whole ledge. You know, it's just you could get crazy at home app too.
That's a big ditch.
That
right
is
there.
a big old ditch.
yeah. It's so sick. It's just one giant bank, and it's like
Look at Nordstrom.
Yeah, he's a freak, dude. He's so insanely good.
He's working on an edit with Stu right now.
Oh,
Nice.
It's almost done. Like really close. A couple fit edits.
Oh,
almost done.
Eli Kravitz.
Yep.
Max Miller too. Almost.
Oh,
That's gonna be insane.
Yeah, and it's years in the
You guys-
wait.
been
Somebody
going.
was telling me about that.
Probably me
It's almost done.
because I knew he's making it, and he only puts out crazy videos. He's actually been working on this one with Stu.
Oh, I think it was Cole. Cole was like Max's part is fucked. It's
gonna
I
be
think it was
like-
when I was talking to Cole.
I mean, everything Max has ever put out is
This Max Jung
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
new fit rider.
yeah, he's sick.
He's from Salida, Colorado. That originally same town that Fox and
Does he live in Austin
it's in
now?
Ponderosa,
Yeah,
right?
he moved to he moved to Austin.
Back on the wagon.
Oh, Fudger, you made it. You didn't even make it to January sober.
I had two.
You-
There's no more. I have a valid excuse.
No, this event looks great.
fucking confetti shot up when he landed on the ground.
It's like Brett's birthday party too. It's so cool. It's his birthday party plus his jam.
So is this annual?
It's the third year. Yeah.
Wow. I never even heard about it.
This is definitely like it's growing. It's one of those that has like just keeps getting cooler and cooler.
Oh yeah.
They'll throw popcorn at him.
It's like the new Texas toast.
Has the potential.
Damn, Brett is sick.
He's got a cool shirt on. Same one as me.
Oh
We're
shit.
twinning.
Oh, the frame into the crowd?
Oh yeah.
Who threw that?
I don't know.
That was
Don't show that.
respect.
Good job, Stu.
Yeah,
Good boys.
I wanted to see
and
that,
Darty,
so.
of course, but they made a good highlight video.
Shout out to Brett for throwing that together. This is
And on the other side of the world.
yeah, and on the other side of
From
things,
ditch to
avocado green ramps in Abu Dhabi.
crazy.
Hannah Roberts took the win, world champion. We'll watch the winning runs. That's what they kick it off with. But Hannah killed it. And then
It's so weird that why the fuck does Shimano sponsor this?
I don't know.
I mean, I
I think it's a
there's
UCI thing because I think it's like a
First thing I saw was like Shimano all over the ramps. They don't do.
I
anything
think
for
it's the
BMX.
biggest bicycle entity in the world. Shimano.
look at the placings. So Hannah and then
Oh
top
my
5
gosh.
were China,
Oh,
which is pretty
my
wild.
Gosh.
So
Is that Darden's team?
And then there,
no, it's Durs. Yeah, Durs now.
Darden
yeah.
invented the team. Durs
Yeah.
took it over.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's what happened. Durs is now getting the medals.
I think if you look it up, I think this event was a lot more than BMX. I think it was a
Where's
lot
the
of
next
cycling and
American?
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
is
Paris is
Hannah?
at home riding with me. She ain't going to that shit.
She didn't go?
Nope.
No, I guess not. Oh.
Well, we
You
were.
don't have to. It's not like part of like qualifying or nothing.
We were pretty. I think we probably. That's probably a decisive win right there, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty big deal for sure. And then on the men's side, Logan's run was obviously kind of loose.
Dude, a quad
Oppo.
opposite whip.
Yeah.
And are these the ramps that were like slightly mellow or something?
I think
people were
so.
talking about the quarters being kind of mellow.
I think
And then you get patch trim.
they mellowed out a lot of the quarters, yeah. But I think the riders wanted that.
Is this bike? Is that course bike only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a skate course.
No. I don't think there's any skateboarding at this at all.
Really?
It's all cycling.
Oh, it's UCI.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So pretty wild. But those are the 2 winning runs. They have some other highlights from the top
Who's Jay
3.
Jones? Oh, that was he didn't actually get third. He was just sitting in third.
Oh yeah, he's sitting in third. So what's his name? Jones. Fuck. He kills it. He's a Great Britain dude, UK dude.
Well, good for them for
Yeah.
getting Shimano
So-
behind.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it's sick.
they don't do
Jude
any,
Jones.
They don't do anything in
BMX
in
at
freestyle. Well, they do in BMX.
Do they?
In
racing?
race.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you got all those cranks. They do the cranks. They do the brakes. They do all kinds
The
of
mountain biking, they do all the shit.
Yeah.
The derailers and all the tons of
Bearings.
Yeah, they get
muffler
real
pads.
technical in that.
So this was officially Durs's last event. So retired.
He went to the one in.
He went to Saudi Arabia. I think he made it to semifinals on his Instagram. But this is he is officially retired. So he did his like farewell tour this year, and then obviously we did that podcast with him that's on the channel
How old
where he
is
kind of
he?
discusses. I mean, I think he's my age, 43 or something.
Oh,
no, maybe
man.
maybe 42, 41. Yeah,
Really?
pretty old. Yeah. So
So the next year he'll probably have like a comeback.
nah,
Deal
he's
with GT.
39. Yeah, right. 39. I was off. So, but yeah,
Hell of a career, man.
Pretty wild ass career, and he was
That's
over it.
unbelievable.
So, cool to hear his perspective on that podcast. It was like 4 hours in China. So, that if you haven't heard that, please give it a listen. It is entertaining. He says pretty much every curse word possible.
Really?
And
Spanish and English.
Kind of, yeah. He is, he literally
funny
is like,
guy.
she didn't even suck my, like he goes
Gotta
in.
listen to
So
that
pretty wild. So, and then Matthias also world champion 10 times, which is insane. And then
Matthias, man.
competition game completed, time to let the new generation shine. Shine, not sign. But so he retired as well at the event. So pretty dang wild. Because Matthias is like, obviously he retired winning, which is like such a, most people don't bow out when they win.
I never buy these retirements.
Right? I think Matthias has actually said it before though, right? Hasn't he? Dennis?
I don't know.
I feel like he.
I think he
like,
said it was my last
Feast.
Montpellier.
Yeah.
Maybe,
okay.
or like that one, and now this is his last.
So maybe it was
World
his.
Cup.
Maybe it was his
So
farewell tour
it'll be
too.
his last, whatever the next one is. He wins.
When Motley Crue is no longer on tour and Mike Tyson is no longer fighting, I'll believe it.
Yeah. Right.
People who retire don't make a post about it.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Right.
"Scoop."
Yeah. So as far as events, because it was December, that was pretty much it. So. And then events coming up this year, they're in order for dates. So January 11th, the Sprack Roast Jam. I think it's like roasted brand clothing, which I'll get to, but it's in Louisville, Kentucky at the Sprack Park. Link to this flyer will be in there. But Roasted is a clothing company out of Louisville, obviously. So shout out to that was Began that sent that over. January 11th, and then January 17th out here.
Laguna.
Laguna Beach.
That guy hit me up today about this.
Dominic, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Birth of Freestyle book release party, global edition. So pretty cool, all-time gathering. Bob Osborne. And, it's at the Rivian headquarters in Laguna Beach, which is pretty crazy. So
that's like electric truck.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty crazy. Looks wild.
Huh.
So
I saw Rivian doing something with like Chase and
Jaden
and Aaron Ross. Yeah. Austin too.
So jumping over their new like little rally car type thing. So pretty cool. These I have a couple of these lingering somewhere. So I don't know too much about it. What is, I don't. You've read them. Like how much more is there to say? The origin of BMX freestyle. I feel like he's already done this.
Wasn't the first one like a Haro thing?
I guess.
Didn't Haro put out the first? Isn't this like the
but
second?
It wasn't limited to Haro. I think in a lot of
no,
ways,
but I think Bob helped make it or something, or they promoted it.
The Birth of Freestyle.
Yeah.
Birth of Freestyle.
Right.
Freestyle too.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Another one.
560 pages. So,
Wow.
But pretty cool. Something I should definitely read if I'm going to continue to talk about this crap for years to come. So,
right.
But that's on January 17th in Laguna Beach. I do think you need to reserve a ticket. So that's something that I may need to do. But go ahead and check out that. And then Roast a Mesa Jam happening again. And I don't know where
it's a cool little community jam. All the locals come out.
Let me
the old bowl up in the Vulcan Bowl, Costa Mesa. Everyone shreds it.
Shout out Murphy, James Murphy.
I went there one time and it was like it looked really fun, but I realized only one person can drop in at a time, and I went and rode spots around. It was really fun day.
Well, you went 2 years ago, right?
I think so. Yeah. Said what's up real quick, and I was like, "Fuck, doesn't look like I'm gonna get to ride very much."
So
looks sick. It's just I don't like to just like have to squeak in like that, Like
it is difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
So longest tire slide, wildest pocket air, over under best trick, Tabelord's best table, men's and women's most roast award, and then Juan said that they have more money than they've ever had too. So that's super cool. So more and better. I think they're skipping the cowbell thing after Larry showed up last year. Just let everybody forget how high you went. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything.
Oh, did he just dominate that?
I mean, he did the Larry thing. Mm-hmm. So,
but and all these like grassroots events, are so good.
That's pretty much it. So we have the video from last year. You can check it out on the channel if you are in the area. It's in Costa Mesa on January 18th.
Youngstown, Ohio jams in January.
Yeah, and then this thing. Rise and Grind.
Youngstown, Ohio has been going forever because that's where Section 8's from too, right?
But Ohio in January 25th in Ohio?
Arctic Blast. Brr. That's what they're calling it. Arctic Blast.
It is
aptly named.
Arctic
So,
there.
this shop. It's a shop and a park out in Youngstown. So
that's where you want to be, though. In January in Ohio, you want to be
in
indoor.
there. Yep.
Yeah.
And these guys are going to be like chomping at the bit. No one's ridden in like a month or more.
It's
When
gonna
they
be
go
good.
in there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get in there and it's just hot and everyone's ripping. I lived in Ohio for almost a year, and going to the indoor park was the best.
And then obviously
It's kind of cool. I
triple
bet.
challenge
Like
stuff.
when everything outside, you just can't do anything anyway. So you just want to stay in there as long as you can.
Yeah, and you get inside and you're in a t-shirt.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, triple challenges, which we don't have anything new about, but are the 24th in Anaheim and then the 31st in Glendale.
And those are open qualifier, right?
Those are the ones like, yeah, just sign up. I think it's like $50 and send it.
Get on.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is a little bit of vetting process. You can't just be like, over the years, I think they've wised up to like.
You've been on that top. You've been up on that thing.
This fucking thing is frightening. Yeah. Yeah.
Terrifying. I just went up there and looked down it, and I was terrified.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So you think like over the years someone's paid $50 and still just like, what are they gonna tell?
I mean,
them?
there was that kid that just scorpioned, you know, like
Yeah,
it's
so-
like there's a
sometimes
lot of
the guy,
kids,
like, don't go down
you know,
the
there's
rolling,
like
dude.
there's a lot of kids that have been like, dude, I can do I can do a 360 triple whip over my box jump, and they're like, I'm gonna go to the triple challenge, and then they get there and
Whole
they've
new
never
ball game.
rolled in on something like that, and they don't have the muscle to fight the ground when they go down that roll in,
Yeah,
and they
those are big
collapse,
jumps.
and then they
Oh yeah, they
fucking-
just G out at the bottom of the roll-in.
yeah, because they try and pump it. You think you can pump, and they're like, no. I've heard them say it 1,000 times when like people are stressed out. They're like, don't pump, just fight it, fight the ground.
because they get stuck.
Yeah,
down.
they get stuck down,
Oh.
and it's like,
Doink.
yeah. So it's like I've never gone down the roll.
How do
no
they
point.
know? Like, we're not gonna take your $50, dude. Sorry.
I think they check Instagrams and stuff now, but like I think
The last one I
it's
went
like-
to, I sat there with Nutter, and Nutter helped build the
Oh, yeah,
course,
yeah.
right, with Jimmy and those guys.
Yeah.
And I sat there with Nutter, and Nutter's a great trail rider. Like East Side's so gnarly.
Yeah.
No, he's sick.
And I said, "Have you hit this?" He goes, "Hell no."
Yeah, they don't.
He builds him and doesn't even do it.
Tyler's the only one that actually like rides them afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, no, fuck no.
So-
I don't think you could get Nutter. Maybe if you could like pedal straight at it, but I
Yeah.
think the roll in is like Nutter's like I'm out. Like I'm not gonna.
I think it's rickety too, man. It
Yeah.
feels rickety to me.
It is a while.
If the wind were to come up,
Yeah,
It's just scaffolding.
right.
Some plywood.
it's like a trailer thing. It like folds out and everything. Yeah,
Thought it
it's
was just
pretty wild.
scaffolding.
Yeah.
I've actually never been to one.
You should come. I'll get you motocross tickets afterwards.
That'd be cool.
Swamp Fest, March 14th and 15th in Waldo Motorsports, Florida.
I will go to this.
Yeah, he says it again.
That'll be a good
As long
one.
as I don't break my kneecap the day before.
Right.
We're doing it.
Bring your safety equipment though.
Some glasses.
I
got
was
glasses.
I was hanging out with Chase last year, and right when all that chaos started, he reached into his pocket and he put in earplugs, and then he put on safety goggles
Yeah.
because it gets that crazy. You
Get
know,
one of
he's
those like
prepared
real
for it.
moto helmets, like the visor down. Just
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
I didn't have
Evil.
anything. I was, you know,
and when your homie does that, you're like, oh shit, I better get out of
Right.
here. He's putting his earplugs in and his safety.
Last year was the first time I brought safety glasses. So, and I felt a lot safer.
No fireworks
Yeah.
this year
Yeah.
though. It's safe.
oh really?
That's what he said.
That's the rumor I
That's
heard.
the rumors.
But it's
So everything's
that
safe
is-
then.
It gets loose there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they're going to enforce it. I think hopefully Trey just can sort it out. You know, I just don't want that's like a shitty reason to not be able to do it anymore.
You should be like, if you
But-
fucking blow fireworks off, you're getting out of here. You're kicked out.
Yeah.
Does it say that on the flyer? No fireworks?
No, he hasn't said it yet. I don't know. I mean, fuck, dude. I wasn't wrong about Etnies, but I couldn't be wrong about that. I don't know. That's what I heard. So
It doesn't. I've been to a couple of those. I've been to 3 of those, and I don't feel like there's many rules.
yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
crazy. I guess there's no fireworks allowed in that area except for on July 4th and New Year's, and then so that's the reason. Not anybody's safety. It's just the fact that
the law.
It was going off last year.
neighborhood or whatever the people
far as what I
nearby
saw
are
on the
fucking
internet.
complaining. It has had nothing to do with
The
anybody's
mud
safety.
and the fireworks and the rain. That shit looked like
I think
war.
and
like a war zone.
It
It
totally
looked crazy
Yeah.
that last day. Just
Totally. It's
I was sitting there
it's
watching on the internet,
a
like-
Vietnam movie, a Vietnam War movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the mud.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
shoes get stuck in the mud.
with
now
a
you're
naked fat
barefoot.
dude or something.
Yeah, you're barefoot, and there's like bottle rockets flying by your head and mortars blowing up. It's hectic.
I'm excited.
I think
good.
See, right? It's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I feel like I
times.
gravitate towards it. You know?
yeah,
But, I mean,
that
I
looks fun.
sometimes I see Trey and I'm man, like he looks a little
Stressed.
It's stressful.
He doesn't sleep and stuff
the
too.
rain
Like the
is
amount of
brutal.
effort he has to put into that.
Yeah, the rain
Rain.
fucks shit up, and the rain produces more chaos too.
Yeah.
Because when they get bored, they're like, it's almost like one of those like gladiator things where like you're not
came here to have
entertaining
fun,
us,
like-
so then they like throw more fucking tigers in the
Right.
pen, you know.
Yeah.
And the,
But
and
but I think they're getting smart about it too. All this stuff built out of concrete.
yeah.
You know, now they're going to have something to ride regardless.
Yeah.
Because this year they're.
I think I heard there's a vision too to have like a slab
Covering.
and have a covering eventually. So
Right.
it's like, and what year is this going on? Like 5 or?
I think it's like the 5th. There was the one in the guy's
5th or
backyard.
6? Yeah,
I
that
think
that might have been
Maybe
that was a while
there's
ago.
Like
Yeah.
5 or 6 of them.
There's been a couple in certain years.
Oh yeah, the one there were 2 or right in the same year.
This 7 years ago. So what is that?
18. That's the first one I
Yeah,
ever
that's
went
it. This
to.
is the first one, 2017.
And that was
They
in
didn't
the
take
guy-
any years off.
But that was in a
Did they?
guy's backyard,
COVID
right?
one. Yeah.
That wasn't actually at like a motor. All the rest of
Yeah.
them have been at like a big motocross.
Yeah,
Or
this is the
monster
one
truck
where the same
facility.
thing. It like it was in somebody's backyard. I'm
Yeah.
blanking on it, but
Oh, it was in band. It was part of the band crew.
no, it was the dad. I'm blanking on it. I know his name. It's just I'm sorry for not remembering at the moment. But he bought this land out there, and it was in the middle of nowhere, Orlando. And then afterwards, it was same thing. So
That's
it came out.
that's
It was like, you
17?
cannot do this.
That's the first
So,
year.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah. So
Dude,
it's come a long way, man.
It's a big event
it's
now.
sick.
That's-
Pretty cool.
That,
It's not gonna rain this year, I
That
know it.
Grayson Fletcher this year on the skateboard was unreal.
oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, that guy's just unreal.
Yeah, he's incredible. It was insane to watch him. Like,
But he was the perfect skateboarder to be there.
yeah,
I don't know. Like, not many skateboarders would have been able to do that.
no, then push through and like, god damn it.
Like
He
this-
literally would like pull something and then
Yeah.
he would just catch an edge of a board and then just fucking
Yeah.
like fly through the air and just
You
like
see
I
that
would be.
Thrasher cover. He's barefoot like, on the North Shore, just
Yeah.
completely barefoot.
He's a man. He's doing so good. He just disappeared for years too.
Yeah.
And now he's sober and
Yeah.
his energy's crazy. He's the perfect guy for that because other people would be like kind of shy. He's like, let's fucking tow me in. Like he just loves it.
Yeah.
Wet plywood.
Just
Yeah.
same clothes he probably came with.
Nails.
Probably came with one pair of
screw heads
clothes.
sticking out everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
it's
on a
fucked.
skateboard.
It's fucked.
Yeah, that's cool. They're like, I feel like this year will be full on skate BMX
And it-
mix because it's
Yeah.
kind of growing
Yeah.
to now where it's like, dude, this is cool.
And
Let's all go.
last year was fun to ride. Like since I was lucky.
year
I went there the
looked
day
really fun.
before, so I actually got to ride.
The trails
and,
look so
and
good.
it was awesome. It was like everything was like built really well, and it was awesome to
They
ride.
left
And
the
then
jumps too, so the jumps are
yeah,
there.
and the jumps were fun
Sick.
too. Like
Those jumps are good.
yeah, it was cool. So it's not all fireworks and explosions,
No.
you know. Like you can get there early, you can ride,
Fingers crossed,
stuff
no
like
rain,
that.
'cause
So
the rain
yeah,
just
the rain
fucks
fucks
everything
everything
up.
No way it's raining again.
No, so
Yeah.
No way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope not.
from Swamp
'cause I don't
Fest to
wanna
Pond
deal with
Fest.
that mud.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's not till July.
I mean, we're
just
just
saying
running through it.
random ones, some random
July
ones on
4th
Yeah.
through 6th.
And that will not be the logo. I'm not condoning drinking that poison.
Twisted.
That stuff's
Get a
awful.
Dale
Hey,
sponsorship.
Dale.
No, we
dude.
already have Fat Tire.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it.
Another Colorado
No, I'm just joking.
company. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what 1,200 beers that we drank this year.
Oh shit. Yeah. All right.
Who knows, man? My sober streak might go this long, but I mean, I've probably had 30 of those twisted teas in a day.
No way.
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
And then some.
Because they
Like,
only
that
make
was-
the big ones. Do they?
Yeah,
Or did
yeah.
they
Oh,
make
there's
the
a
little
photo,
ones?
there's
I've
a
only-
Oh,
photo.
look, there's Pat. There's
Yeah.
Pat.
Fuck.
Wow.
Oh, look at Fids.
Yeah. it
Wait,
looks
where is this? Oh, at
Toast.
toast. I remember he teared up.
There's
He was so
Heath.
psyched.
Pinner. Heath Pinner in the
the
background.
Texas
there, too.
toast, man. Those are so good.
They
too.
were-
Those
those
good
were
ones.
great.
Those were great.
Is that Doyle?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep, that's Doyle for sure.
Like,
I think that's Zach Early to the right of Fitz
oh yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Just I can just make
Who's
that
that?
shape out. Nyquist.
Nyquist.
Is it? Or is that
Yep,
Chase?
That's Nyquist.
Yeah. The
100%.
arms are a little
Chase-ish.
maybe. Yeah, that's an awesome who's who.
Yeah.
Look at Fids though. I mean,
Yeah, Fids.
he just dominate these events where they have a quarter pipe. So that Texas Toast quarter pipe event was the one that he would just really shine at. Not just at this one, but like at other years too.
Yeah.
That's one of those events. The first time I ever saw Jason Watts too.
Oh, really?
Watts rode for Haro.
Oh, okay.
And he rode that quarter pipe air and trunks.
Yeah, yeah.
But Fids would, go like 6 feet, 7 feet on these 8 foot wide quarters. It's such an amazing story. I mean, there's a guy that was a skateboarder.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a bike rider.
Yeah.
He was a skateboarder.
Oh, he wasn't? I thought he rode and did it all.
He might have ridden as a kid or something, but then he was a sponsored skateboarder.
And got back into BMX or
then got back into BMX. Yeah, he said he was skateboarding and then everyone quit skateboarding. So then guys were riding. So he started riding.
talented dude.
Yeah, he could do this is like one of those guys that could do anything, anything.
So
That's
sick.
funny that's you because I remember seeing that guy walking around all the time. I didn't even really know it was like at that point, my ignorance.
Too funny.
Seeing you all over. I didn't know that was you.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
I don't feel like I met you till after that, like officially.
A lot of times I'm creeping around. You don't know I'm there.
Worlds.
No, I knew you. I knew you were there. I just didn't know who you were.
Same date, July 5th in Germany, Cologne, Germany. Looks like a cool ass event. That's coming. So
How
if you're
long
near
has that
there,
been going on?
fuck. I think they quit it for a few years. And then you had Street
That was
Station Jam.
I just threw that one. I
Which
just
is
saw it on their
okay.
Instagram. They're putting,
What?
like,
What's? I didn't have the Instagram, but
I don't know. I just know they're doing it. And that's a sick one.
June 7th. So that's in Lyon, France, and that looks like it was like a huge street jam and all that stuff.
Figured
so it
we
looks
just throw
sick.
some
So-
random ones in. We
Yeah.
know because it's the end of the year and some things people can look forward to.
Oh yeah. So that's it for events. We got videos. Ponderosa. This is a little bit of an older video, right?
Well, that event, the actual road trip and the event was in June.
Okay.
But it just took a long time to put it together. Stu's
Yeah.
been busy doing so much stuff. But the event is at the end of this video. And then the first part is the road trip the S&M
Yeah,
that
to
guys
get
went
there.
on to get there.
Okay.
Stu and you guys did such a good job with this.
Yeah.
It's
This
like
has just got that vibe, that props vibe.
it's fucking S&M is props now in this with your guys' videos.
Yeah, but I'm telling
So
you, this is
good.
what I think this makes people want to ride.
It makes you want to ride. It makes you want to go to these events.
And I thought, like, my girls are only 10 years old, and we watched this, and that kept their attention the whole time, and it's long. I mean, it's like an hour.
That's sick.
And normally,
Yeah,
they
you
get-
don't want it to end. Just like
Normally
dirt
they get-
rules, and
yeah.
I'm sure the Aussie one's going to be just as good.
Normally they get bored, like in a few minutes, and they actually sat and watched this whole thing.
Because Stu kills it, man. There's like dialogue the whole way through with good riding. When there's just good riding, it's for like people like me. It's like fuck yeah, that's sick. But for someone not as into BMX,
Yeah.
you don't want to just watch trick. Like that's for a certain audience.
Yeah.
This makes you want to ride.
This jump right here, like Woodward, he comes to all of our events. That jump right there, it's a lot.
Shark fin.
It's trickier than it looks, in video. That's one of the reasons why I went on my current sober spree. I was hitting that jump at this event probably like, I don't know, 20 beers and an hour of sleep the night before, just tons of bourbon, just ham boned. I actually fell asleep watching dudes ride. I just passed out. And then I came to, and guys were riding. I was just like having so much trouble through there. And then a month later, we went out and had a jam for my birthday, and I hadn't started drinking yet one day, and I hit that jump, and I was like,
Oh.
this is easy. And I hit the whole thing, and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
Like, I'm drunk.
Bunch of beers.
drinking
Yeah.
Yeah.
doesn't make people better at riding.
It really doesn't. And I hit it and, sober, and I was like, oh, man, I should do this more often. Look at. So are you guys familiar with
Keith,
Shane Hallahan?
I've
That's the youngest
one, yeah.
brother.
Footage of him, yeah.
You see Nate and Luke a lot, but you don't see Shane as often. He's only like 15 or
Yeah,
16. He's a ripper.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a fun event, man. You guys got to get out there.
I really want to.
I do.
It is a little bit of a trek. It's in a weird place. People think, "Oh, do I fly into Denver?" No,
That's what I
Denver's
thought.
like 300 miles away. You're better if you wanted to fly into a big airport, you'd fly into Albuquerque.
Okay.
So it's way down at the bottom.
Can anybody come to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's like camping.
Camping.
Just stay on the land.
You stay there.
There's
You
a river you can jump
got
in.
a river you can shower in, clean off in. We've got porta potties. I built a little cabin out there, so a lot of the team riders will stay in the cabin. Dallas always comes out. I mean, look at Dallas.
He's sick.
He's so good.
Is he from Palm Springs or something?
He's from like Hesperia area, like high desert.
There he is.
Hucker just shows up all the time. Like, it's super fun. Even Tom Dugan was out there this year.
How's Tom doing? I saw his little year-end post.
He's doing good. He's like cleaning pools.
Okay.
You know, lives in Vegas. He's kind of helping raise the son.
Yeah.
And cleaning pools. And, you know, I talked to him recently. I was like, man, we're going to, it's set up for the best documentary, you know, from like, from blasting pools to cleaning them and back again. I told that
you're making a video with Tom right
now.
now?
I proposed this idea to him.
Yeah.
You know, from blasting pools, which was his thing.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Now he's cleaning
There
them.
you are.
Look, that's Shane. That's Shane Hallahan. Right?
That's you.
That's me.
That's
right
you.
there. Yeah, that's me. Like 20 beers in at least.
Yeah, man. This part of the video is so good.
And then Freddie too.
Oh, that's,
Shout out to
Oh,
Freddie.
that slam looked bad.
It was rough.
Is he on the beers too?
No, he's sober.
He's sober?
He's like, geez, he might be like 10 years in,
Nice.
in AA. Like actually in AA. He was at that in my house this morning actually. But look at me. Look how
you almost
drunk
did
I
this.
am.
Dude,
Yeah.
you just it's like tired and drunk right there.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But then Freddie got through this thing, and I was like, okay.
With the squirrel catcher burnt, a little roller thing, though. It is
Yeah.
sketch.
Yep. See, look at how sideways
Wow,
and
yeah.
just like
You just
this
say,
is a
"Fuck
drunk
it."
person.
Dude, you
yeah,
could have got real hurt
could have.
being that drunk. You didn't.
I didn't.
But, yeah, it's
Knock
not.
on
It's
wood.
just way better to be sober if you're
Yeah.
hitting shit. That's too big to be fucking around on. If you just
It was just a great time just seeing
Yeah.
Oh, he's fucking bleeding from the mouth. Fuck yeah, Freddie.
damn, dude.
Yeah, this is a fun event.
Mad Dog was going for it.
It's perfect for the Hallahans too, because they love fishing and you know they love all the outdoor stuff. And
They
that's
just came and stayed for a couple weeks. You said
they were there for like they were there for 3 weeks.
sick.
So that was it for me, man. I just got over that jump and was done.
Have you made it all the way through now? The last
Yeah, I threw the bars on that jump in October.
damn.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you did see
Oh,
that?
yeah, I did see that.
I crashed first, and then I got up and did it. But it was like, man, stay off the 30 twisted tees, and you'll be a lot better off.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just get into like
Shout
it's
out to
basically
Yellow.
like a routine, like a lifestyle. You know, you're
Yeah.
just hanging out. You're hanging out with the dudes. You're drinking all day, but you still want to ride. And you
forget
think it
that
sounds
you're drunk.
you think it sounds like a good idea. If you can get through it without killing yourself.
Shout out to
But-
that video and
Yeah,
S&M
54
and
minutes,
Stu being
so-
together.
That is awesome. I do.
It's fucking great.
I do want to make it in July, so maybe we can make a family trip out of it too. So that'd be sick. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, everyone's more than welcome.
All right, going down the video list, as always, links in the description for all this stuff. Trespassing 2, 115, just a awesome like adventure bike riding video, just with crazy transition spots all over around. I mean, to me, it looks like it's all over the world, but I have no idea. But
Is that Spain or somewhere? Where is this?
I don't know. I feel like I seen like Mark Webb ride that. I feel like it was like a UK spot, and then he rides like a crazy half pipe thing, and that thing that was on the thumbnail. It just like all
Seems
this
like
cool
a lot of
shit.
Barcelona's always been the spot. But I mean, it seems like a lot of English guys are going, like to the south of France and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
you're
Different
look at
places
this thing on the
built.
waterfront.
yeah.
It's like
Oh, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
unreal.
so. Just a video kind of filled with that sort of stuff, which I always enjoy.
So trespassing too? Is that that's a download online? You have to pay for it?
No, it's just YouTube's.
Wow. How are
YouTube.
guys making? Like, how can they afford to make that video?
I think
probably just friends
just
who all just
enjoys
get
it.
together and go out and
Yeah.
shred, on the weekends.
And they
or-
just put it out for free?
yeah,
Yeah, I think
I mean,
so.
it's probably. I would assume that's not for a company or nothing. It looked just like get in the van and go hit these spots.
That's cool for riders to be able to watch videos like that just for
just
free.
yeah, on a regular basis, too,
right.
you
Even
know?
$1.95 on a download or something.
would be awesome, but Fernando Laxlow. I always don't know if I say his name correctly, but as a wild one, the whole video is, I think that was the banger. I didn't mean to put the banger, but we get what we get. But the whole video is filmed really well, and Fernando always kills it. So definitely worth the watch. It's a 3-minute long. So link in the bio for that. Ricks and Bikes, Jack Henneke. California to Jersey transplant.
So what? Ricks and Bikes. This is a frame company.
This is Brennan and Curran. Yeah, Merritt.
So Merritt's kind of like a animal scavenger.
I believe so.
Merritt,
Yeah.
Rickson.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So they are obviously new. I don't know if they're doing. We talked about it a bunch in the Kruk podcast that's coming up, but we don't know if they are doing like bikes necessarily. But it's all frames, and
Is it American made?
I don't believe so. No.
But is this what Ricky Montana's doing, or Chris, or like Kink? Chris from
I don't know if they're distributing it or not. Yeah, you would know.
Riesenberger's doing it.
Okay. Yeah, they're the distributor, right? Because they have their own distribution
like,
company.
Ricky
now.
Montana and Riesenberger maybe are like distributing it.
Yeah, I think so. So that
Who is this dude?
Jack Henneke.
I
he was like
this is
I
good.
excuse me if I'm wrong, but he was like a Riverside kid, and he's been out in Jersey for a little while.
So this is like very street.
Yeah,
oriented.
Merritt was like pretty street style, but they the one thing that on the Kruk podcast that caught me off guard is they have a couple of like bike life type dudes too.
Oh, like wheelie guys.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
And Merritt's still going.
Remember on the Kruk thing?
Still going strong,
Merritt's still
right?
going, yeah. So it's funny because when we did one of your podcasts, you're like, who's the next generation? Like who are the guys coming up? And I'm like
a new brand.
It's cool to see a new brand pop up with some, fresh blood, fresh motivation, and all that stuff.
Do we know?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Kruk knew either.
I bet there's a meaning behind it.
There's got to be some sort of. It's like kind of like bridge logo. So I think Rickson.
Well, this is when it happens. It's like you were talking about, before. Like this is when it happens. So like with Bonner.
Yeah.
This is when it happens. When everything goes down, this is when stuff starts up.
Yeah. And I think
it's like a crazy time to start, but it's the time.
But it's the best time.
It feels like it, but in retrospect, it may not be. So
especially if you're just starting. Well, I mean, this is different because they aren't. This is Merritt, and this is like
so it's not a fresh start.
Going through Animal,
then
Merritt, now this. With Merritt, so he's like a veteran. At this point, but with really really young guys, they don't even care about making money. They just want to start a brand. Get their friends together, get in the van, go on trips, sell enough T-shirts to go on another trip.
Yeah.
That's how you start.
Yeah.
If you go in and start trying to make it a business from the get-go, it's going to be tough.
Build it
But
organic.
if you're just young and living it.
Let it take its course.
Yeah.
Market.
But it is
and
cool.
then you get scared and bail.
It's like you're going to see, you see GT out and then you see this in.
Yeah.
That's like
I just do think
cycle.
How many bikes was GT strictly BMX, but like I heard a number from one of the riders that was like 16,000 of his bikes got sold, his signature bike.
Yeah,
and it's
Bestwick?
like no, I mean like last year from GT.
Oh,
and so
recently,
and I was like, oh, that's a pretty crazy number, or they made 16,000 of them. Maybe I'm misspeaking, but it's like, do those bikes?
That's a lot of bikes.
Get sold, and that's just one model,
Right.
And it's like, dude, is fit gonna eat up some of those sales? Like, how does that stuff trickle out? Like you would think when GT and free agent to a lesser degree, it creates like a vacuum for other brands to do better.
Yeah, I think so. I think like brands like Fit, the future is looking pretty bright because what people want to see is a brand that they can get support from too. Mm-hmm. They don't want to just buy a bike from a company they can't, get a replacement part from.
Yeah.
They like a Haro or a Fit because they have someone to call.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a problem. It's not like buying a bike from some company that's
especially without IBDs being readily available too.
So you want to buy from a reputable brand. So I think Haro, Fit, brands like that have been around for a long time, Cult, Kink, they'll do they'll do good in the future. So you start getting these free agents and GTs and all this stuff out of the mix.
Yeah, no.
And just have,
Yeah, it
like,
really
the
sucks
core.
for that small group of riders and people for the company, but as like for the industry as a whole,
Yeah,
it is kind of nice just to narrow it down to the fucking.
doing? You know, like where does Sandoval go? You know, this is a guy.
I think Hyper does pretty good because I think like the people who own them really care.
Yeah,
right?
Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have so many guys already.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're saying, yeah, no, it does fucking suck.
But like, where does Daniel go?
It does suck. Yeah.
Haro?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
One thing we forgot to mention was
I know
that
it sucks. But as for like you said, like if GT really did
Because
sell
where did-
16,000 of those bikes, if that's a true number,
But they
like,
probably didn't make any money. That's the problem.
but that's good for
part
the
of the
rest of the
issue,
BMX
yeah.
industry though. If there's
Yeah.
really 16,000 bikes
But they
going out
sold
there,
2 for 1.
but still those are going. That's the
know.
whole problem that I was saying in the beginning.
You're right. They're just flooding the market.
That fucks over the whole thing
Yeah.
for the S&Ms and the Kinks and the Haros
They're
and all these
flooding the
people
market, and
to
they're
do
not even
good.
making any money.
Yeah,
They're
they're
just
just
hurting everyone
they're getting
else's.
rid of their shit to fuck everyone over. That's what Bonner talked about because he was like, even if you were smart during this craziness,
Right.
And you have the right number of bikes and everything, you're still fucked.
Yeah.
Because on OfferUp it's filled and on everyone's 50% off and you get a free bike.
Right. But
And we'll give you a hand job. Take our bikes, please.
You need the cash flow.
Yeah.
You got to move the bike.
They got to get it out of there.
You got to turn it. You got to turn the bike into money because you got to pay your employees.
So that's what he's saying.
And
It
your rent.
didn't matter if you did a good job. You still got, the whole thing is fucked.
Right.
The whole thing because there's too many bikes just
And
floating
so
around.
Ronnie must talk about like the whole merger. You know,
Yeah.
what I'm calling.
Are we gonna? Is that in here? Did we? Or
No, that was last month, but we can talk about it because
Yeah.
I think it's during the Bonner podcast, I tried my best to be like the antagonist
Right.
and say like, hey, what about, from an IBD's perspective, why would they ever sell a Shadow product again?
what is IBD?
Like a independent bike dealer, like a bike shop.
Well, yeah, I think
because their
what-
money's going to Source now.
Yeah,
And it's like Source is, I like Source. I don't have any problem with Source. Obviously, they were a
Right.
huge supporter of us.
They
but
do
like,
amazing stuff
from
for
a bike
BMX.
dealer.
Oh yeah,
they're the
helping
devil.
with Swamp Fest. I mean,
They help
Yeah.
with so much shit. They
Yeah.
do the best event of the year. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But if you're a bike shop, you feel like they're constantly undercutting you.
yeah.
You're trying to sell, the Dennis Henderson frame for, $3.99 or whatever, and Source is selling it for $2.99.
Yeah.
and then people can just go online and get it the next day.
Yeah.
So
It's like the new Dan's Comp. It's like
Yeah.
shops hated Dan's Comp back in the day, and now they are hating on Source.
uh-huh.
But I mean, if you had a local bike shop, you could go to a local bike shop. Not everybody does, so they have to get it mail order.
Yeah.
that's
Why
the problem.
doesn't the
Yeah,
local bike shop just do mail order?
But like, I guess from the
that's the thing with me. I'd go to the local bike shop to pick something up and get it put together. Like with East County BMX as a kid.
Well,
in
we're
San
lucky
Diego.
to have,
Yeah.
To even if I was spending a little bit more.
Yep.
Actually, I guess I didn't even think about. You couldn't really just buy shit off the
Well,
internet.
there was a
back
guy
then.
at the spot
Yeah, you
tonight
could.
that had an
could,
S&M,
yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, it's the first S&M I've ever owned." And I go, "Where'd you get it?" And he said, "East County."
East County BMX.
Yeah.
That was a shot, man. Shout out to Henry, East County BMX.
Yeah.
That shot
Oh no,
was-
no, not East County. That was Henry.
SD Wheelworks.
SD Wheelworks.
Oh, okay.
An
Yeah.
S&M at SD Wheelworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he bought his first bike from SD
No, it's
Wheelworks.
first S&M.
Oh, okay, cool.
He went in there to get a fly, and then he ended up getting an S&M.
Victory.
Well, that's what's cool with shops though, because they'll be like, "Hey, this is probably better for you." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, he got it because it had a 14 mil axle slot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
Had a
they're
14
gonna
mil
like
wheel,
show
yeah.
you and be like, "This works better for your setup, and you're this tall, and
Right.
blah blah blah." Like that's
get
a
a
good
little-
thing.
But I-
With a good shop, though, it has to be a good shop.
With the Sabrosa, that's why I'm looking forward to seeing Ronnie's podcast,
Yeah.
because it is a pretty interesting thing.
Super interesting. That podcast
It
was
is good.
blowing my
Yeah.
mind
You
in
know?
a
And
sense.
so now you've got Source essentially calling a shop and trying to sell them these brands. And if the shop is really clued into what's going on, they would say, "Hey, aren't you Source? And I think we hate you."
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe they don't even care or know.
I mean, from your perspective, though, when you're a
Do they
brand
even care to
owner,
sell
because
in
it's like
shops?
you're.
That's what they bought. They
Well,
got
that's. I mean, I talked to
Sharpies.
one specific. Talked to one specific shop that I saw a comment on Instagram, so I reached out to them, and I'm not. I mean, I could say I don't really care. It was up in Richmond.
Oh, it's Powers.
Powers said something, so I reached out to Chad, and I was like, "Hey, tell me your perspective, why it's bad." And he didn't really have too much to say and many questions for me to ask, but he was just quick, and he was like, He's like, I don't fuck with Source, so why?
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut a check
It makes
to
sense.
Source.
Yeah, but Powers
Just on principle,
Powers is
you
such
know?
a unique shop. It's so badass. That Power shop
Yeah.
is so good.
I get his perspective. It makes sense.
There's only like a handful of those shops in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
If every shop was like Powers, you wouldn't even need mail order. But they're not.
Yeah.
That's the problem. A lot of shops, like the SD Wheelworks and East County,
And that's like you
those
gotta-
shops are amazing. But then there's so many that they don't give a fuck. They might as well just be like whatever Walmart, because they're just in there like I don't even know.
Yeah.
S&M or Kink, same thing. It's just they don't even know.
They don't even
but like
know.
SD Wheelworks and Henry's, they're gonna be like, this is gonna fit your fucking
They
axles.
wouldn't know unless people were coming in there like trying to hand them money.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they know.
Yeah,
And then they want your stuff. But in the meantime, places
But they don't
like
know the
Source keep a lot of people in business.
Well, that was going to be my question. Is Source has to be one of your larger accounts?
Definitely.
So as you can't whatever shoot the hand that feeds you or slap the
No.
head. So, but at the same time, it's like, do you think it is a bad thing for you that the brand that Source effectively is merged with one of your competitors?
Yeah.
I mean, that's for you to say. I have no
Yeah.
idea. Like, do you think they're gonna like be like, oh, you want an S&M, but what about this Sabrosa?
No. Right.
So I don't know. Like that's
Well,
that's
I mean, it could happen, but I mean, in my mind, it's like we just need to make our products better and better and better all the time.
And you make marketing that is better, better and better.
And it just motivates you. It motivates you to make a better product, to promote it better.
Yeah.
It just keeps everybody on their toes. I mean, competition's good.
Yeah.
No.
I
would love to hear that they tried to sell the Sabrosa and the person was like, no, I want the S&M.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's
So then maybe they would go, oh, well, geez. Well, then they'd probably start trying to emulate what we were doing.
yeah. At least in the sense of like what I said before
And then
was
we'd have to kind of be quick on our toes.
yeah. It clone stew.
It's just like being a rider
And do
Same
something
thing.
else.
It's like when you're doing good, everyone starts trying to get your shit, or
Right.
doing like the next guy's trying to do your shit, and you gotta you always
If
stay
they're,
ahead.
I mean, if they're not
Try
trying
to.
to copy you, you're doing something wrong.
Exactly. It's like everybody always thinks they're catching Garrett, but they don't know he's like 3.5 years ahead of you.
He's already on to something
and then he
else.
drops his part, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, we're not even close."
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
that is true.
Exactly.
It's just like what
So
brands have to
everybody
do.
you
Same thing
wanna
as
be,
riders have to do.
hopefully you want to be like the Garrett of companies, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think in the sense of like obviously Source being online, you're seeing what they're doing for the most part.
Yeah.
What they're cutting and what the price is and what the deal is. It's just the idea.
I could see having some like ill will towards them or some like negative sentiment if
Yeah.
they didn't do so much for the scene.
Exactly.
Like they
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
you guys, they
Yeah.
help riders, they help events.
Yeah.
So they do kind of put their money where their mouth is. Maybe they are like discounting a little bit, but man, maybe sometimes you got to discount. Come on, shops.
Yeah.
Sometimes that thing's sitting on your wall. You've seen that bike sitting in there getting dusty.
Or
Let's
throw a
mark
jam
it
in your
down.
parking lot.
Throw a jam in your parking lot.
Give
put
some
it-
shit away.
Put it out front
and get
put it
people
on
there.
sale.
Do some cool shit. That's what I think. Like with East County BMX and SD Wheelworks, they're always doing cool stuff. So you
Right,
want to
yeah.
support them and be involved. But if
Right.
it was like, there's other random shops all over San Diego that's like, who fucking cares about them? Because they're not doing
Yeah, they're not
anything. No one even knows
So
they
pillars.
exist.
this merger, the Sourskis, I call it. You got the Source and Sparkies, Sourskis. This merger, I mean, I was just listening to something on the news radio the other day that Honda cars and Nissan cars were
yeah.
going to merge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So if Honda and Nissan are trying to merge to stay afloat, or to be more efficient or be more profitable, maybe some mergers aren't a bad idea.
Have you seen the like AI map of the year 20,050? Like,
No.
it's just like so many countries are supposed to merge too.
Oh, really?
Like the whole economy, instead of like little everywhere, it's all just going to be like bigger America style things.
Right.
Not as big as
Oh,
America,
yeah.
but that's like what AI actually believes, and they like. It's pretty interesting, and that was right after the Ron Bonner podcast. I'm like, it is a time of merger, like everyone should work together a little more, and not everyone, but
Right.
it made sense. All these countries I saw that merged, I was like, what the fuck? Like that's crazy. AI truly believes this.
Yeah.
What
It's
was
trippy
your,
to see
I
that.
mean, I guess what was your take on the 10,000 versus what was it? 1,000 versus $100,000? What was the Joey?
Oh, Joey.
What?
Yeah, when he was on here talking about how
I didn't
much
hear that,
revenue.
but someone actually brought that up to me.
It was on a
news
thing that he
podcast
did
or
with
something?
Brant.
It's just. It's
Joey's-
not.
oh,
it's-
yeah, we talked about that
It's
when we were
not
talking.
insane. I mean, I watched that. That was a what the hell happened.
No,
episode,
that was
wasn't it?
It was a
a-
Brant Moore live thing.
No, he did it. He talked about it on your show first.
Oh yeah, because we
Did
talked
he?
about the employee. We talked
Yep.
about it was a news one that
he
you
brought
were
up the
gone.
same numbers up with you guys first
Oh, did
before
he?
he went and did that thing
Oh
with
yeah.
Brant. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I just didn't.
It's
make
when
an
he was
Instagram
here with
video.
DeMarcus. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was you weren't.
Maybe I
Dennis,
wasn't here
you
then.
weren't here.
Yeah, some of those I'm not here.
So I think it was a what the hell happened in October.
Yeah, but Brant put it on Instagram where people, with the
Right.
with the soapboxes.
I mean, I don't think he's far off on the numbers, but I mean, come on. Like there are no
Here for the people that aren't.
you
That means,
you can't. There's no way you
should be
can
bringing in
track
roughly
this.
Hold on, he could-
$120,000 of sales to that company per year. If you want $1,000 a month, that means
Okay.
you should.
So that's it. $1,000 a month for.
It's impossible to track that. And he's not wrong. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of what he says, I don't know him, but I feel like I agree with a lot of what he says.
Joey, he's a man. He's pretty smart.
He seems really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he seems to know what he's talking about. But
And that's sales too. People don't understand what sales means compared to profit.
right. It's just gross revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just sales. It's like you sell the bike for $500. $500.
Like my company made $100,000 in sales last year. It's like who the
No,
fuck
it brought
cares?
in. It brought in $100,000.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's impossible to track. And at our level, I mean, you want to keep your riders around for a long time, hopefully. You just have to go on gut instinct. You can't, there's no way you can say like, oh, this guy brought in this amount of money, but you know who's making the phone ring. You know who's.
That's
you know,
it, yeah.
And it's not all the normal like stuff that you can track either. Like a Mike Hoder, yeah, he doesn't have the Instagram followers. He's not doing the posts. He's not all over social media, but the vibe, what he's bringing to S&M, it's huge.
Yeah.
Clint
Yeah.
Reynolds,
Yeah.
same kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you
Someone like
are
you
in,
knows.
if you're in this,
Yes.
who's making
but some
it
dumbass makes a
work.
frame that nobody really likes the geometry of with somebody's name on, and they're like, you don't sell stuff. That
Right.
sucks. And then somebody who's not that dope gets the perfect fucking frame with the sickest graphics, and it's like,
Right.
oh, you're our star rider.
Right.
That's-
And then what are you going to do? You're going to just be cutting people like
Because of that.
abruptly because you did not bring in 100. Even if you give someone a discount code and you try and track it that way, which we've tried to do, and we learned that from Etnies when they did that with their skate team.
Yeah.
That only works for like a little bit of time. And then that discount code gets out there in all those bots and it gets just shared and regurgitated and everybody's just using that discount code over and they have no idea who that person even is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'd have to redo that discount
Every
code like
month.
every
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
or every week.
Yeah.
There's almost no way of tracking this other than having a gut instinct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
What
know
about-
who's influential and who's not.
So I did
I think.
I just
I
did a
agree.
podcast with Tyson Penny from Backbone,
Mm-hmm.
and he asked me kind of the same thing, and I was kind of in the same deal. It was like it's in the wind, like
Right.
you can't track that stuff because
Yeah.
people may get brought in via Hoder, but
Right.
then they end up buying a different frame because they like the color better, it fits them better or something. But he brought up like the Aussie Rules DVD or video, and he's like, look, Moeller brought this crew to Australia and they tore it all around. And then, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, does he see a return on that? Like, do you actually see a return? And that trip cost you, it's not cheap. I don't know, 20, 30 grand. Maybe more. I have no idea. But like, how do you ever see sales go up in Australia afterwards? Do you see, like, how long does it take for that thing to have an effect? Or is it just in the fucking wind?
Well, it's out there forever.
You're like, oh, I smell the sales
Right.
in Australia warming up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, exchange rate is a big
Yeah.
factor. Your
Yeah.
distributor over there, like the shipping to get stuff over there.
S&M products have to be so expensive there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then somebody like Tyson has to buy it from our distributor who buys it from us. The distributor marks it up, ships it over, sells it to Tyson. He marks it up and sells it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
How expensive that frame or whatever it is
Yeah.
ends up being. Yeah, it's not ideal. The whole scenario is not ideal. Does that trip pay for itself? No, but maybe over the course of 30 years, we're talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
Yeah.
The guys met a lot of the riders that we've been sponsoring for the first time on that trip. Maybe
That's
they
cool.
make relationships that last for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
Yeah.
You can't just
Butterfly effect status or
You
something
can't
like
if you
that.
start trying
Yeah.
to, this rider, this amount of money, they cost this much. I mean,
There's so much to it.
You're going to drive yourself bananas. You kind of have to get good guys, get a good crew, feel good about it. It's got to be fun. And then you got.
Hold on, that thing ran out of juice.
Well, I'm full of juice.
And the kid in fucking Germany that watched the Aussie Rules video and bought an S&M. It's like, how do you track that? So you can't. That's why that number, it's like, yeah, that number, but how do you understand that number? I was just saying, it's like, you pay your rider $1,000. This number is crazy, and it scares people because...
Scares me.
Well, but look, if you pay your rider $1,000 and you're making $2,000 a month off them gross, or what is it, net? Like your actual, like that's sweet. You're doubling up because of that rider. Like it's 120. Like what does that mean? That's like, because Haro has a $35,000 overhead in their building a month. Like...
This is such a tough topic. I mean, it really is hard.
Well, I mean, Joey is coming from Haro, and Haro does have a
crazy overhead,
crazy staff and overhead, and all that stuff. Where
listening to him and DeMarcus argue that one day when they were in here, I was just like, it was crazy to watch.
Yeah.
They're both right on some points, in my opinion. But DeMarcus has that attitude about, the warehouse worker, that argument. I hate that argument because the warehouse worker is absolutely essential. You cannot ship the boxes out without the warehouse guy. 100%. And the warehouse guy has one gig. He's the warehouse guy. That's it.
Yeah.
If you're a good pro rider, you have like 6 employers.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're the warehouse worker, you have one employer. So you make 40 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is.
And you're working from the beginning when the sun comes up to when the sun goes down, pretty much.
Every day, Monday
True.
through
That's
Friday.
A great point. Great
9
point.
to 5. You don't get to go to Australia. You don't get to sleep in once in a while. You don't get the perks a rider does.
True.
It's a really weird argument, but then
no, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to think about it.
But then, as a rider, you're out there taking these big risks, and you feel like you're just killing it, and you're not making very much money, and that's not easy either.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, man. But you just can't come up with these numbers. How are you going to figure out which rider is bringing in the 120,000 in sales?
Yeah, and the warehouse worker versus the pro rider is a flawed question.
Yeah,
it's not an apples to apples comparison. It's not a possible thing.
I had this argument I had what turned into an argument years ago with Garrett at Hastings. We were at the bar, and it was like 2 a.m. I know I was just hammered. I don't know. Does he get hammered? He might have been hammered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It was like 2 a.m.
If he was there at 2 a.m, he was hammered.
And it got a little heated. It got a little heated. And he was telling me that I kind of didn't know what I was doing, and that I needed to do a better job of taking care of our team riders, because if we didn't have any team riders, we wouldn't have a company. Huh? And I was saying, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like, for me, Fiend has got Garrett.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need any team riders.
Yeah. It's a unique scenario for sure.
If he really, really had to make a living with Fiend only, and he didn't have enough extra money floating around to sponsor riders, he'd be fine.
No. In
my opinion.
I think that
he could
model,
carry the weight. He could carry the weight himself.
Yeah.
And I try and promote as much as I can, even as a 54-year-old dude. So you sponsor these riders because it's good for business, but you also sponsor them because you enjoy it, and they're good dudes. And they promote the same, lifestyle that you're trying to promote. Mm-hmm. Like they're just a good representative of your brand. You can't just start going at it from these numbers. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's very true. And what you said about if Garrett did just want to make Fiend his own thing and like put his own stuff out, constantly just be doing that, he probably could do it because he's Garrett Reynolds. He could do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. But he likes hooking dudes up.
And it's like he has all these guys that he's bringing up with him, like now Lewis Mills, and there's some in Matt Kloss and Johnny Reikis, like the crew's insane.
I know. It's great.
But it's not like 5 Garrett Reynolds together. You know what I mean? Like that name, that all the gold medals, the fucking who he is in BMX, like that, then that would be like a...
I just feel like when this argument was taking place, he hadn't been in it as long as he's been in it now. And probably 5-10 years from now, he might have a slightly different opinion about it all than he did.
I bet he would, because he had, he had the tie. Ty and him aren't, I don't like, I don't think they had the same relationship that they do today versus they did back then. And so I think maybe it's become a little bit more real, where it isn't all I'm with my buddies and doing business with my friends and get to pay my friends, where
I bet
business happened a little bit, you know,
business
like
happened,
it's not
but at the same time he's doing the same thing, and it's like
100%.
It's him and Tony and his people he fucks with that are, like, I'm saying they're not Garrett Reynolds, but they are Lewis Mills.
Yeah,
and they are
but
these
I mean,
other
this is
people
like,
that it's
I mean,
like it is Fiend is something, just not. It's
I
not
think this
just
is
Garrett.
this is pre-COVID that this conversation, because you haven't been to Hastings since.
It was the year I came over to do the Norca.
Yeah, so I was just confirming. It was like, this is like 6-7 years ago. I'm just saying his perspective on things may have like evolved as a company owner since then. But it may. I mean,
I
I could also be wrong.
He still pays people he loves, and he makes videos with Tony
100%.
and does
Yeah.
what he wants, makes that brand his image. So I don't know. It seems
Yeah.
like he's still doing the same recipe.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Couple different people.
I just, when you had the two
Or a whole
guys
different
and they
group of
both
people.
were talking about this,
Yeah.
I feel like the real, it's in the middle somewhere. You know, for
Yeah.
most
Yeah,
of us,
100%.
it's kind of in the middle somewhere.
Exactly, because I see what you're saying, but I also see what Garrett's doing, and it's like they're both cool.
Yeah. No.
I think it's a lot cooler what Garrett's doing than if it was just Fiend is me, and you know, like that's not him either.
No,
He-
I
No.
know,
I
I'm
was
just
saying, he was
saying
saying the statement was that his brand is the team. His brand are the riders. You know, like more, and he's not wrong. And I don't think Mueller disagrees. But just the fact that it's like it evolves. It's like a moving target. You know, over time, where your brand is the riders in so many different ways, but it's also the products. It's also the imagery you put out. It's also everything else. You know, like
Right.
and I'm just saying, like, maybe at that point. And alcohol and being involved too always.
Yeah,
shit,
we were both
so,
twisted for
yeah,
sure. But
so.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you're, take a brand like Patagonia, right? They never paid athletes.
Yeah.
They just have these ambassadors. And
Isn't that paying athletes though?
well,
Because they're like rock climbers and stuff.
well, I'll give you I'll give you another example then, like Fat Tire Beer, right? I got hooked up with Fat Tire Beer through Nathan Fletcher, which is Grayson's uncle.
Okay.
And he told me, he was like, hey, you're in Colorado, you should hit up these guys there in Colorado. They'd probably want to sponsor your event. So he was telling me this. So I hit them up. Sure enough, they loved the idea. And the one guy even wrote a T1 and was like really into everything we were doing. The way they handle their athletes is they get surfers, skaters, snowboarders, I don't know, maybe BMXers. I think they have Chris Fox.
That's Dale's.
That's Dale's, yeah. So anyway, what Fat Tire does is they just get people together and put them on trips. They get like surfers and send them snowboarding, but they're not long-term deals. They're just, hey, Dennis, we want you to go snowboarding on, Fat Tire. We'll pay for the whole trip, and then you blog about it, whatever, you talk about it, and that's the deal. It's just one trip. It's one thing.
I always
They
use
don't get locked
Haro's
down.
done that with people too. They've
don't
done
get
like
locked
Haro's
down
done
for
trips where they pay
years.
everyone like $1,000 a day or something, and
Yeah.
they're like snowboarders, skaters, skiers to ride these weird bikes that we're all like,
I
nah.
saw that. Yeah.
And they've done shit
Oh,
like that.
they're doing the exact same
They
thing.
do, yeah, like
See, I think
ambassador
that's a
stuff.
really good idea.
It's smart to have that too.
I just think it's the difference between, we had Levi's.
Long-term's cool
We had
too,
a
though.
Levi's program, and so you had a team Levi's, and then they were all involved, and they did this video, and
they had Dak and-
they entered
Right.
entered the industry, and then
Mike
they
Forney, wasn't Forney like in charge of that or something?
Kathy, who passed away, Kathy McGrath.
R.I.P. She was rad.
So she was the one that was in control of that, but it was like they brought in this like influx of dollars because they injected all these dollars, and they brought up an AM squad, and they had an ad campaign across all of Ride and Vital
I
and
remember.
Dig. It was everywhere,
Right.
And then now you get all right, we're gonna do a campaign with one rider. I feel like I've seen like Daniel Sandoval do a couple of sponsored posts, and it's like they're just interjecting this a couple of dollars one spot, and it's like the burden of entry is not there, and the industry as a whole isn't like benefiting. It's not producing all this, all these cool trips and all this content and all these teams and hiring filmers and photographers and everything else. It's literally just a sponsored post, and then that's it.
Right.
And then they're out. And it's like, you get GT coming back with no team, still trying to sell BMX bikes in a year.
Right.
It gets fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like it.
that's the scary part with the influencer type, micro marketing and shit. Macro marketing, micro marketing, whatever the term
Yeah,
is.
if you start trying to break it down to this, like Joey's talking about the 120.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah,
gotta,
because they put in $1,000
to get $1,000 a month, you're going to have to bring in 10 grand a month. Like, how are you going to qualify like how much that guy? I mean, you can't do that.
Yeah. So it is crazy in like a long-term sense, like where it really, because that's where we don't have these like non-endemic brands bringing in all these dollars where, you know, you're getting fucking Meat Stick or whatever, you know, you're getting Meat Stick and Mercedes or whatever it was.
Yeah, those are like quick, like little ambassador.
But the Meat Stick thing was longer. But what was it?
The Meat Stick was longer.
Meat Stick was long.
Shout out to @bmx.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna get you for that one. But those are all like influencer things before that was even like a thing.
Yeah, I guess the Porsche thing definitely was, but
and the Mercedes thing.
The Meat Stick thing was longer term.
Yeah, that was
what the fuck was it? Jack Links?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's been a number of different meat sticks.
Yeah, there has.
Slim Jim and Jack Links. I think Mirror had Slim Jim.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man.
We talked about we did talk about the
tons of different types of
podcast,
sponsorship.
and I think I brought it up again afterwards because I was brought up with the Joey and the DeMarcus thing.
Right.
So I think a sponsorship podcast is needed one of these months, but we'll just have to figure out.
What's Joey doing now?
Chilling down the road.
Yeah, he's chilling.
But isn't he involved in that?
Low numbers. He's doing low numbers.
Low numbers,
That's like
which is a video contest.
It's pretty much just like a production company in a sense.
Okay.
Like they did the Game of Bike with me, and now the thing in New York with Billy Perry. So he's just kind of running with doing cool events and different projects. He made a magazine that he has subscribers for his Patreon. So it's just kind of.
And he was the Haro on the team.
He was a TM manager for at least 5 years.
Work at Volume before that.
He was Demolition Volume team manager before that. Yeah, he's always, and he was
his dad, one of the Duke boys.
Yep,
is that him?
One of the main characters in that show. Yeah, and then
he knows what he's talking about.
He does,
and he was a dig
smart
photographer forever. Mm-hmm. Like Joey's a fucking lifer. He's gonna be a lifer too. That's why.
I love that DeMarcus thing. At one point, he was like, I think I'm offended. Like, I think I'm starting to become offended.
DeMarcus said that?
No.
Or Joey said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because DeMarcus was kind of coming at him, but DeMarcus would come at him and then like bump him. Like he was like getting him like kind of heated and he'd bring him down. DeMarcus would heat him up and then cool him down and then heat him up, right? And then cool him down. It was pretty good.
Arguing with DeMarcus is
so every time Joey
be very present.
Every time it looked like Joey was getting worked up, then DeMarcus would like
calm him down, throw some water on the fire.
Yeah, but at one point Joey was. It's like he didn't even know if he should. He was like,
I love Joey, man.
You need to watch it because
I need to watch that.
At one point, I'm literally standing. I'm like this.
You were just dumbfounded.
And I literally.
You were dumbfounded.
And I'm just watching
because they're close. They do low numbers together.
Yeah.
Like, so they're like, they're like, because me and Joey are like that too. When you know Joey, he's so fun to fuck around with because he's crazy. He's wild like that. You can get him going.
Yeah.
And DeMarcus knows that. Like
DeMarcus is pushing his buttons for sure.
No, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was entertaining for sure. And Joey's not wrong about a lot of that stuff, but it's just not that. It's just not that cut and dry. It's not that easy.
A little too analytical. It's not really like that.
Yeah, it's not a computer program. It's not, it's not software. There's not there's not an algorithm,
Yeah.
And that's full circle on the Source thing. I think that's a lot of people's complaint about Source is that Rich and Mark run that thing almost like an algorithm.
Yeah.
At some point, that's the vibe you get. Like it's a computer program almost. Those guys are all about computers.
Yeah.
And software.
Yeah.
And things that spike or whatever. Where people like me, I'm just like, I love that guy.
Well, that's a
you
problem.
run with intuition and see like your Hoder does this for our team. Arya is a new guy.
Right.
This guy's this guy.
But if you were like the computer guy and you came in and you took a look at somebody like Hoder or Clint Reynolds.
Like his followers aren't spiking on Mondays like others are.
They don't appear to be, spiking the algorithm or whatever. It's like, but it's fucking Hoder.
Yeah. Should see him at Shop Stops, motherfucker. That didn't know his Instagram.
You just see him on the
trip. Yeah, like he's
in
the
the
man.
Bond Festival. He doesn't have to ride. I think he was hurt. He hurt his ankle.
I mean, Kareem's also. You got like he's like a host too. Like he's so great.
He's a hype man.
Yeah.
You didn't even. There was like no street riding in that whole video, but he was fucking had more clips than anyone just because he's like the star of. He's telling you what's going on.
Right.
And it's funny as hell.
Right. But
and funny and entertaining.
But you kind of have to be like in the know to to feel that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So I don't know.
You're watching a fucking hour-long bike video. You're probably pretty in the know.
No, he's
What's
talking
going on.
about like
Oh,
to have that
team manager
cast.
kinda guy.
Yeah,
the
well,
cast
look
of-
at GT. You
I'm
know,
full up with Dales.
when Ben Ward came on to GT, he changed the vibe of the team.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
dramatically, right? Like before that, it was Bestwick and
Yeah,
you know,
Volker
they were
and-
doing
yeah.
that. It was like either you were down for life GT or you were like winning contests or something.
Exactly,
You know, like
yeah.
Dave Dilward and all these like good guys, but. And then Ben comes in and changes it up with like Conway and you know
Jeff Ludwig and
anybody
stuff like that.
with glasses, basically anyone with
yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
Jeff with glasses, or you know
Dan with glasses.
Dan with glasses. Yeah, just anyone with glasses.
Bethany with glasses. Who
Ben
else
Ward
had
with glasses.
Ben
Yeah.
Ward.
Everyone with glasses. But at least they had a vibe.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't just all gold medals.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And he had to cut a lot of those people too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So when you let the corporate people take over, everyone's either going to be winning medals or everyone's going to be unemployed. Those are like the two options.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
I think anytime a company gets bought by another company is in my experience, it is very, very rarely good. I feel like
Right.
some people come in just like how you were saying, like GT is we're doing direct marketing and then we're doing IBDs. That's somebody else coming in and then they're like, oh, we need to flip the script. And somebody comes in and they're like, I'm going to switch it up. We're doing it wrong. And so my way is the best way.
Yeah.
And then it just...
And I hate this end of the year contract thing. Like, when are people going to stop making these athlete contracts expiring? Quit making them expire on
Yeah,
December 31st.
yeah.
Because now you're talking about letting people go either at Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
Why can't these contracts just end in March?
Yeah, just do it. Yeah.
Just like all rider
13 months,
contracts
14
end
months,
and,
yeah.
and like, I don't even bother with contracts, you know?
No.
It's pointless at this anyway.
Yeah.
But if you are going to do contracts, make them end March 31st.
Yeah.
That way you're not letting people go on Christmas. At least let the riders go home and have everyone be stoked.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, like, you know, Dennis is, you know, doing this. It's great. It's awesome. And your grandparents and everybody's loving it. And then 3 months later you get dropped. But nobody.
I actually have a March 31st contract.
You do?
I do.
I like that better.
Yeah.
You know, but then somebody told me a story once about how I dropped him on like New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. But back in the day, I didn't even know what it was. I was just working so hard and so hammered. I didn't have kids. I didn't have a wife. I didn't know I didn't even care. It was
Didn't have
Christmas
feelings.
Eve.
Yeah.
No, I really didn't. I really didn't.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure.
Christmas Eve. I didn't give a shit. I didn't
Yeah.
even know.
That's awesome. And I mean, not for that guy, but that's crazy how
No,
hard
but-
you're working and like in the zone.
So many Christmas
You're
Eves, it
gone.
would just be like, you know, you got to get to the bar before 2. And now you're at the
2.
bar and you're like having beanie weenies out of the crock pot at the bar at 1:30 on Christmas Eve. That was my Christmas Eve. So anyway, I let someone go on Christmas Eve.
I don't know what a beanie weenie is, but
Beanie weenies. You know, like you go to the bar
Oh,
and they
mini
have like,
hot dogs.
Yeah, you have like the little, you know, Vienna sausages in the
Okay.
crock pot.
All right.
You
I've
guys
never been
don't
to a
hang
bar
out
on
at
Christmas
bars.
Eve. Not on Christmas
On
Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
No, I never
No, this
have.
is like a bar that has the crock pot with the beanie weenies, and then right next to it, like the radar, the cop radio. And
Okay.
they've got like a map showing you where the DUI checkpoints are.
and
God.
the golf game
People
that
at
has
a
the
bar,
ball, and you,
right.
you swipe that thing up.
Right.
That's the one
That's
video
a
game
different
in the
level
bar.
of bar. Like you don't hang
That's
out
a
at that
different
bar.
type of bar. That's
You know,
what I'm
you've
saying.
got like a ham radio, and then you've
I
got.
want to
crock
say it,
pot.
but that bar sounds super depressing. Christmas
Well,
Eve.
it's usually connected to a trailer park. And I'm there on Christmas Eve. But anyway,
dude, that bar-
Firing people,
I don't like that bar. It's scaring
making
me.
the call.
yeah, you're like, you're having like a Dewar's scotch, you know, and then you're like looking out for the corner of Beach and Warner. They're like, do not go to Beach and Warner. And you're having some beanie weenies.
The police
Yeah.
scanner arson over on
Yeah.
6th
Yeah,
and
totally.
Huntington or something. Yeah.
Beach and Warner. Anyway, I'm calling dudes up on Christmas Eve and saying like, you know, cutting them back in the day. I wouldn't do that now.
No.
Like I would now. I'd be like, it's Christmas Eve,
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
but I have kids in a tree and presents, and I'm trying to like hide the elves and run around. and
Christmas
do all
Eve
the
now
stuff.
matter. If you realize that it's,
Right.
it's a pretty nice night. You
Right.
don't want to get cut from one of your sponsors on Christmas
Oh,
Eve. That's
God.
not chill. That's sad.
No, because then you go home and everyone's like, "How's the bike riding going? You're so good. You're a pro." And you're like,
I shouldn't have bought these gifts. None of them.
I feel like we should get back to this.
Yeah, let's do it.
videos, apparently.
We're on videos.
All right, we're gonna go quick. We're gonna go quick. This is too funny though. We can just keep talking about what we're talking.
You know, GT. Come on.
Oh,
Let's
you know,
let everybody go in December.
I honestly feel bad
know.
because we
Just wait till
talked about
January.
GT, and then for some reason it wasn't on the list that GT or
God, Tom Justice is so good.
Tom Justice got picked up by Colony right after.
You know, the dreadlocks
So-
are back, aren't they? Like the dreadlocks, I feel like the dreadlocks are back.
I think-
his dreadlocks never went away.
Yeah.
Good for him, though, man. Yeah, he deserves to have, like, that's the next day, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Because he was probably pretty locked into GT, I would assume. Like, he's
Yeah,
probably one of their
yeah.
main riders, if not their main rider.
The most recent, like, big dude that they had on there, too. It's a pretty recent addition. So it was sick to see, like, Colony just snag him up. So,
Good for Clint.
yeah.
And who
God.
let all these guys go? How did they find out?
Poor Jeff.
Jeff had to do it?
call him.
Yeah.
Did he call him?
And he got
I
fired,
think
too.
so, yeah. I mean, at least in that sense, it's like, it's not Jeff.
I don't think he
it's
got
not Jeff
fired.
making the call.
No one got fired. Like as employees, when I talked to Clive about this, a
Yeah,
message
yeah,
with
yeah.
Clive about this today. Everyone got let
Severance,
go.
yeah.
So they
You get a
got
little
severance. You know, they get benefits.
But in Jeff's instance, it's like that's
Unemployment.
That wasn't that much, you know. Like,
But he'll
it
get
would've been there.
60-70% of his salary for
Unemployment,
2
yeah.
years.
Yeah,
Or a
that's
year
true.
and a half or
That's
something,
true.
right?
Yeah,
It's longer than it used to be.
I don't know.
It is. My dad was on it a few years ago, and he said it lasted like a year and a half or something.
Crazy.
So he'll get a decent salary for a year and a half.
Oh, that's cool. So,
Year and a half.
Something like that.
That's sick.
yeah, I didn't.
Through unemployment. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they're taking that out of your check every 2 weeks.
I guess so. Yeah, yeah. I didn't think about that.
SUI, state unemployment insurance. It's
So
a
the
big
longer you
chunk
work
out of
for
your
a
check.
big company like that, the more
The longer you work for any company, it all goes into your account. You could go through 10 different employers. It's all going into your unemployment account. You
Yeah,
have
but
an
this is
account.
state unemployment, not like
State.
a severance thing.
Yeah,
so like
this is
for when
through
I
the
got
state of
like a
California.
ride, it was like they gave me severance from the company. So
As well as then you went and got unemployment
no,
too.
we had ourbmx by the time
So
it worked.
shit, some of these
I
long-term
was
sponsors
chilling.
I got, I'm going
Not
to
chilling,
be severance for
You're
a while.
1099.
Yeah,
No,
you
just
get
kidding.
nothing.
Yeah.
I get nothing.
No, when
Done,
when
baby.
get
March
cut, when that-
31st.
yeah, that's a done deal.
New Year's Eve. Fuck.
Yeah, you become the warehouse guy.
Hey, it's a good job. Like what we're saying.
All right. So
I mean, actually, it's not a good job. You should get paid more for it. Because you're fucking doing it every day.
Well,
I mean, you don't know what he gets paid.
you get what you get.
The warehouse guy?
Yeah.
You
Why
don't?
am I-
Depends on what warehouse.
Yeah.
Probably all pretty similar.
Not Amazon. You're not doing well there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why am I not getting internet? Redirecting you. Is internet? Yub tubs.
Some warehouses are probably dope. The Dale's warehouse, you just drink beer the whole time.
Yeah, that's the reality. Street Vacation, 3-day weekend, Alex Duleba. Fantastic use of pegs and weirdness, as always with Alex. Let's see. Like that. Just a whole lot of like I don't know. I enjoy it. So
I
that's
do.
it. That's it. It's a
You don't
full.
gotta
It's a
explain it
full.
to us.
Yeah,
This shit's sick.
full video. So
That's crazy.
Alex always kills it, and then
Yeah,
I don't
those
know
dudes,
who
man.
else has a full part, but Rollin, Chris Zidek, John G. Scott Marceau, Dustin Steer. So a bunch of footage in there. 30 minutes long. Almost looks like it's a dog pissing on a fire hydrant on the front. Fast and Loose video. This was shot.
This wasn't a Fast and Loose video.
Yeah, it was shot a long time ago. It's not a Fast and Loose video, but
Just like Corey was on the trip, I'm sure he was stacking footy because he
Yeah.
barely has any footage in it. But it's rad. It's filmed really well. They go to a bunch of crazy spots all over. Very artsy,
yeah,
but cool spots. And
you can't hear the music at all, Chris. But I guess it doesn't really.
Is that Boyd too?
nope.
No, who's it?
Another blonde dread. I'm saying you're right. The dreads are back.
Yeah, you're right. John Glassett, Cody, but I mean,
Visually visually nice. It's like that. What there's something else you just showed that was like all about spots. It was kind of like that.
Yeah,
but
the
this is like
yeah.
filmed really professionally.
dude, yeah,
Nothing
filmer
got
Seth. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they write some really cool stuff, and it gets me excited because I know Corey's on this trip and he barely has any footage in this.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
know he's doing crazy shit at
Oh,
these
you
spots.
think he's saving it?
Of course.
Yeah.
He's pretty savvy
Could
like
probably
that.
like open loop that thing.
Probably. Yeah,
sounds
Aiden
great.
Aiden Rice is a filmer, so I guess he does.
He always has a camera with him, his own camera. So
True,
Corey's
yeah.
always working on his own project.
Aiden does a bunch of stuff outside of BMX, and but obviously he's a rider and stuff like that. So it was cool to see his touch. It's like 16 minutes long or something. Super cool.
It's a nice watch.
I do not know why my internet.
That's a lot of videos in December.
A
Yeah.
lot, dude.
So this is Animal Let Me Out, full length.
Has there ever been a rider where you're like, we're probably gonna drop him at the end of the month, but then like that month they put out a video that you're like, holy fuck,
Gotta hold on.
let's keep this guy. He was working on something.
Let me get through this though real quick, because this is the last footage of the rider Rosie who passed away. So he has like pretty
This
much
guy passed away?
Yeah, this is the guy Rosie who passed away in Philly. I'm not going to say exactly where he's from. I can't remember, but so this is the last footage of him, and so he has nearly a full part. And
What
then,
happened to him?
I think life. I think just one of those things. And then Jeff Coxix has a sick ass part in it and all that. So another long one, 30 minutes long. So
What do you mean life?
like
So he took his own life?
yeah, I don't. I mean, honestly, I don't know. But
don't
like a hard life, like some shit wasn't like he like was doing well. I think so. That's something like
Wasn't
that. So yeah, I don't.
Sickness or something?
No, I don't really know.
Dang.
So, but go ahead. What were you saying before I click the next one?
Yeah, it was stupid.
Oh, it doesn't. Not stupid.
Yeah, actually, maybe, I just wondered if it ever happened, but you've been doing this for so long, you probably don't remember. But
Like a
you're-
rider that was
someone
kind of
you're
on the
kinda-
chopping block,
you're like,
and then all of a
"Man,
sudden you're
is
like,
he doing anything? You're like, probably at the end of the month, we got to let him know. And then they just drop something, and you're like, he's been doing shit. Or where you let him go, and then they dropped it like 2 months later, and you're like, fuck.
I've definitely seen that one. A lot of times, well, people will get, if they have a bunch of stuff in the can with somebody else for some other project, their self-confidence is kind of peaks out a little bit. Mm-hmm. So they might get a little testy in that situation, and start trying to play hardball. And then if it doesn't work out, then they might bail out because they know they're sitting on this thing. This happens sometimes,
That's
like if somebody's sitting on a part and they've been making it for years
And they know it's about to be
you've been
sick.
like funding a lot of it
Yeah,
in some way.
It's so crazy.
Then all of a sudden it's like the tables are kind of turned a little bit.
They have the like upper hand with their contract or whatever they're
Right.
negotiating, which would be the contract.
And the longer these things take,
You're like,
sometimes
bud,
it
I've been
gets-
funding you for a while. Stop trying to squeeze me right now at the last second.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're kind of working in conjunction with the filmer, then it can get, I've seen this happen,
It's almost like hostage of a video part.
It's not
It
almost
is.
like
It
it.
is. It is. It is. Yeah.
It's like
that's
ransom.
crazy. Yeah. You let me
It's
go.
ransom.
This footage is going away too.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Damn.
Unless you stay on top of it from the get go. What's that vibe like?
Yeah.
What do you mean,
Dump
stay on top
the
of it?
footage.
Well, you're getting it all.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're putting it on this drive.
It's too much to deal with.
It's too
when
much
you're
that you
doing-
shouldn't even have to
No,
play
you
those
shouldn't.
games.
Yeah.
If these are like, are we on the same team or not?
Yeah.
Like if we're on the same team, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
With Stu, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen. But there's only one Stu.
And you got him.
But what if something happens to Stu?
It won't.
Protect this man.
You don't have to play these games.
He needs like security.
Yeah. No, the video games are the worst, man. They're the worst.
Video games?
Like the video game, videographer
people
games.
making videos or
Yeah.
play sometimes are the worst. Because,
I
if
never
you're
even think of that because
No.
I'm the writer. And
right.
It's always
Well, you wouldn't do it.
you don't deal with that.
You wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
But some people do. But
Yeah, I've
if-
never been in that situation where it's like
think
being
about
a filmer. and
if
it's
you're like, so if you're a trail guy, you just love going on trips and riding trails,
Uh-huh.
right? You don't even care if you're filming.
yeah,
You just want to go ride trails.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a contest guy, you just want to go to the contest and get the results.
Uh-huh.
Right? Make the money, get the medal. But a lot of like some forms of riding, like street riders, all they really want to do is go film all the time. Right? So it's all documented and all that's going into some kind of a project, and it could take years. So sometimes it
Good ones,
appears
too.
as if somebody's not doing anything, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
you've got this part. So that's a hard person to sponsor unless you all work together and create little things along the way. Like, you got to create little things along the way. And then that works for everybody. Like that's why a guy like Stu's so good, because even if he is working with, like right now he's working with, you know, Nordstrom on a good part, he's working with Max Miller on a good part, but along the way he's getting a bike check and he's doing like a little side piece, you know, like the fit, you know, he calls them look back. He does the little look backs.
Yeah.
And then he takes the opportunity, like he's out filming in Austin with Nordstrom, and he's got REA there, and he's doing stuff with REA at the same time. And then they go over to Hawk's place, and they do a look back with Hawk about his days on Fit. He's constantly doing little,
that's cool.
little pieces.
Yeah.
You know, and that helps keep the wheels turning the whole way.
Yeah.
The street video project is, if you're a company, that's a hard one. You want to make it, but it's a really hard one to make because it's your
trophy. It's your trophy piece, but it's scary and it's an investment. And it's like,
but I mean, you got to sell stuff. You got to promote and sell stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's a hard video to make.
Yeah. Understandable. I mean, you know, the market. Like you guys did it. I mean, it was organic, but at a point, it was a lot of time and money that you invested. It didn't feel like it.
We made a video what were we doing?
Yeah, but you did the same thing. Like that's what I mean. Like you did the weekly video and stuff like that.
Were we doing weekly videos?
Something like that. Like
hard.
something. Yeah.
It was something like that though. It's that model. Yeah.
But
I know how it fucking works.
But you had
that's what I mean. Yeah.
You had consistent, you know, footage coming out.
Yeah, they weren't just dark.
Content, like consistent.
We did
content.
an edit. I don't think it was weekly.
No, it wasn't weekly, but it was like once a month or something.
But this is
like
what
that.
all writers need. This is what all writers need to do. And I know it's not everybody loves doing this stuff, but you got to do it. You got to have some kind of regular. You got to be out there.
Yeah.
You got to have some kind of regular content all the time.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking every single time. Sometimes it's got to be something.
A little something for your sponsors, especially if they're paying you.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of something for sponsors, BSD Steez frame out.
It's awesome.
Joe Foley.
This guy had a great year, and to get a signature frame, so well deserved.
Just we'll play the whole thing, but just a minute long promo for his frame.
I feel like we don't put BSD like we're saying all the other frames, but man, BSD is just a company that
I think
is just killing it.
I think they're the sleeper company. I feel like they do a whole bunch. They do really well. A lot of people resonate with the brand and support them. And I think especially in Europe.
But the thing is in America, because Grant goes through full factory.
Yeah.
They don't have that direct to consumer website sales, you know, like a cult.
Oh, okay.
Like a cult does, you know?
A little appreciation for how just a couple of like 3-4 wild ass clips, you know?
This dude's awesome.
Yeah. But so they don't have
BSD,
the same representation here.
It's like BSD and Federal just rip it up in Europe, but
not
as big over here.
Yeah, and I think that's because they're based there. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, Grant's in Scotland now, or he's in Scotland. Like he grew up there, and then Stu and Federal are in Hastings.
Sowerby with the art direction there with the graffiti, like.
But I mean, their products. You know, BSD, the cranks are good, the frames are good. These are all
team's good. The image is good.
Yeah, I mean, Grant knows what he's doing. It's cool.
What does BSD stand for?
You know, I don't know what it stands for.
Yeah.
I'm sure does it stand for something?
I don't. I think big swinging dicks. I don't know.
I've known Grant for so long.
All right, we're on the Tina's 3 weeks in London.
Yeah,
and just
I didn't watch
shout
this
out
whole
to
video.
Tina's YouTube channel because he's been getting real and vulnerable.
Oh, has he?
And I love it. You know, like to see someone going through like it's a chapter change in his life where he's. I think he says he's not getting paid for riding anymore. This is a dude on Red Bull, Levi's, just going all over the world. But he's also showing this is a fucking epic video of just him riding for 3 weeks in London. But like the next one, he goes to his dad's house and shows his dad's house in Alabama, like where he's from, and it's like you get to see where Corey's from. It's like, damn, dude, like,
I've never,
you're from the fucking sticks.
Yeah, no,
you know. And he even says like, my dad's house is gnarly, but I'm gonna show you guys. So it's cool. I respect Corey's YouTube. He's living out of his Prius and.
He sold the van. He finally
sold the van, and he was in you got to watch the YouTube, but he's been in Nashville for 2 weeks. He's over it, and now he's just going to slowly head to Austin. It's like, why the fuck weren't you in Austin the whole time?
Crazy.
So I'm getting invested. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm watching his show, and I love it. That's the next one. Over It, Life Update. Like,
okay. Cool.
He does a good job of it because he's
Do you
obviously
think he's making money on that YouTube?
no, fuck no.
No.
But hopefully one day it takes off or does something
Yeah,
for him.
a couple
I
videos
wa-
did pretty good. But
I watched a thing with Nathan Florence,
Nah, those aren't making any
John
money.
Florence's brother, the surfer, and he talked about his YouTube, and he did it for a year, didn't really make any money, but he kept at it, and then now he's like doing really good with
That's
it.
what you got to do. And eventually, like if I was a sponsor and I saw Corey, I'd be like I'm saying, I'm his friend, but I'm invested right now, and I would
Yeah.
have no clue
I
what
didn't
Corey
even
was.
know about it,
I would
but
have
I'm gonna
no
check it
clue
out
what
now.
Corey was doing
Yeah.
and I'm his friend and I wouldn't know. But now I'm like hanging out. He's eating lunch in Costa Rica, and I was eating my lunch with him.
Who,
You know what I mean? I was like,
is Animal putting out like
I guess
a bunch of
his
stuff?
Animal Month. Yeah, it is. It is funny because it's
Animal
the
always
gym-
putting out stuff
They are
still.
putting out a lot of stuff, and
Always.
obviously we have Pat on the squad, and he's a huge fan of a lot of the animal stuff.
who makes these videos? Is it all different guys?
I mean, Pasha's in Russia.
wow, is this
so-
the Ariel Pink song?
oh, this
That's
kid's
Cuddy.
Russian.
That's
Yeah.
fucking some
He's got that
Cuddy psychedelic rock
Yo.
band. I can't believe they use this.
He's got that Stu Dawkins afro from back in the day.
What? So, I think anybody like kind of familiar with Pasha, know what they're gonna get there, but always kills it. Afro looking good too.
Animal, jeez.
And then the Vish,
That wasn't the band I thought it was.
the
remember
Vish,
the name of it.
the Vish edit is amazing. Did you see this?
Is actually Vish riding?
Yep.
Nice.
Look at him. He's gonna hit these rails.
It's gonna be Walnut, dude.
I didn't know he was a rail slayer, huh? Sheesh, Richard.
I don't have anything for this actually. Maybe we have like a short ledge or something.
It's too low.
You can't hear it. He's like, yeah, I don't really got anything.
So
for
who
this.
films his edit?
I think it was like 4 years.
Oh, okay.
So
Sick. I haven't seen this yet.
Oh, you haven't seen
Ah.
it? It's all pegless. It's sick.
He's
So-
doing those rails pegless?
No,
Nah,
he didn't
he's
do
not
those
hitting those
rails.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
just
It's a
joking.
joke. He's at the top and he goes, I don't really got anything
Yeah,
for this.
he's always doing funny stuff like that.
Yeah, you didn't have the headphones in, so you couldn't hear it. But yeah, I mean, he said it's like 4 years.
I thought he was really doing those rails. So he was like, nah, it's too small.
But
Nice. Pegless.
kind
I
of
like that.
kind of clicked through. It's sick to see Vish to put something out. So
Other side of the camera.
yeah, jump on this status.
Nice.
So big mix of stuff and spots and time periods. Honestly, you can kind of if you know Vish and pay attention, you can kind of see all that stuff. Honorable mentions: we got Glasgow to California from Monocule. Joe Foley, Michael Mogajan, Guy Scroggy, Dan Kruk, Alex Donachie. I'm gonna run through these quite quickly. Stosh X Serotonin. This was part of the Moda Bunka Festival. I haven't watched this month, but I watched it a couple months ago. But he does like a couple of like really wild things in here. I think we maybe seen this on Instagram.
Yeah, there were some really good edits in that Moto Bunka
Yeah,
Yeah.
festival.
but there's like I don't know. There's some like flip video and clip in this, but that's okay. We'll keep moving. So as always, the idea is that these are the videos that this month came out. You should watch if you have not already. So High Desert promo for a colorway that they got going through Colt, but High Desert kills it the whole time through. Gets to see some drift action in there as well. Jib Tape 5. Sorry, moving
Like
over.
his name is High Desert.
High Desert, yeah.
Yeah.
Cody Nemeth.
I think he has a huge High Desert tattoo on his stomach.
Yeah. Jib Tape 5, Pios Barbier, cold cuts from the King video with that massive nollie bar. Maybe we'll give that a little click. And then we got Vish in there twice just because we like him. And then the dudes did fill out Instagram, but we'll try and make it quick, and then we can just get back to our random bullshit or cut it.
You
Did I miss something?
oh yeah, you got to get Girlhood in there.
Oh,
It's like the
shit,
best
yeah.
girl video ever.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Santee.
So just the raw from 30, obviously.
Yeah, they came out with Nathan's today too.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's obviously the same thing, just Nathan's 30 part, like 25 minutes of it or something, just the whole raw everything.
So this little turbo off the curb. So, pretty wild. And then, sorry, Girlhood. Yeah, blowing it. I had
Girlhood.
that.
Alex Valentino made the whole thing, and it's all these. It's like, it's so good. It's definitely the most like groundbreaking chick video.
Damn, I blew this. Is there a part maybe, or
I don't know. This is Teresa riding trails. It's cool because it's like Alex did a good job with him. It wasn't like, I'll just do a trip and try and ride spots you don't like. It was like, Teresa's gonna hit the trails. We're gonna take you guys to the streets. And Alex just films and edits the hell out of it.
yeah, Alex has like such like a cool vibe with everything, you know.
Yeah.
That one, what's the young girl that was riding for GT from
Bethany.
Yeah, I guess she got
Pittsburgh or from
you guys
Ohio
sponsor. Did you guys sponsor her? I heard you got a sponsor pretty quick.
No, we haven't sponsored anybody.
Okay, my bad. Damn, Teresa.
Teresa kills it.
Dang.
And then there's, if you want to fast forward, just since it's a long, just people should watch this video.
I did meet her recently though.
Especially the females out there
she's
trying to
awesome.
get motivated. Look at this.
Oh,
clip,
I don't want to
dude.
see. Am I going to see her full?
No, I think it cuts, but fuck.
I don't want to see him out.
Everybody's worst nightmare.
I saw it on Instagram on my phone, like really far away. That's all I needed. So,
just really progressive.
Yeah.
Female riding, filmed really good.
Yeah, the girls are they're getting better and better.
So
that girl's so good. I watched this video and I was like, wow, this is the best.
What's her name?
shit I've seen from girls.
Black? What's her?
I'm not sure.
I know it. I'm so bad at recalling names these days. So Pova randomly sent me a PDF today from some like WSGN, like trending internet company type thing that does some report, and it had like a thing on BMX, and I wasn't even going to bring it up, but except for the one thing that was in there that made sense was that it said that BMX was up. It was like going to be up. Like it was like predicting BMX is doing well. Obviously,
What
e-bikes.
do they mean by that?
E-bikes were in there as well, and all
like
that
sales
stuff.
of
Yeah,
bicycles?
sales and bicycles and all that. But it talked about how women's BMX was like searched insanely more than typical in the past.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
via X Games and
Do you
Olympics
follow
and
that?
stuff.
Do you follow Raina at all? The girl that she rides for Fit out of Japan, dresses like Barbie, sponsored by Mattel.
She's sponsored by Mattel.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, I did not know that.
Girl's unreal.
Yeah.
14
She's
years
incredible.
old.
Yeah,
well,
she's
that's what
incredible.
happens with industries. You market to half the people, and now that females are getting into it, there's the other half the people.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's amazing. That's why this video, I was like, whoa, an actual girl video that was like, in Paris's Vans part was like the only thing that was like high production kind of. Like Bethany's part was sick, but like Paris got brought on trips, and these girls got brought on trips. Like that's not happening. Besides, now it is though.
Well, this Raina.
Well, Bethany did too, but not at this high.
Yeah,
level,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Raina flew from Japan to Richmond to do the Rumble, and then they flew to Denver, got a rental car, drove down to Pagosa to just ride on my birthday for one day. She showed up at the trails, put her bike together, and went through the jumps. 14.
Yeah.
No girl's ever gone through these jumps, and she showed up and went through them. And
The
she's
big line?
14. Well, not the big line, but the old big
other
line.
ones, yeah.
Still, no girl's ever gone.
No, that
through
girl's
them.
rad.
She showed up
I
and
met
went
her at
through them.
Richmond.
She's 14. Then she took her bike apart, put it in the bag, and they drove to California to hang out with Hucker for a day and ride with Hucker, and then they flew back to Japan.
They thought America's as big as Japan. They're like, we'll go to the middle and then go to the other side. I've heard that story from
I
foreigners.
think you're right,
Shit
actually,
like
and I
that.
think they were like shocked.
They were driving.
I'm just saying, for a 14-year-old girl,
Yeah. That's
I
it.
mean,
That's so
she's
sick.
unreal.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, she's and the next generation of riders like Kier, like she kills it. Obviously,
Yeah.
like there's so
Serlin.
many. Yeah,
And like even Paris has only been like riding professionally for like a couple years.
Yeah.
Like there's just it's so new. Like
But
Paris,
she
Paris
just
is
got
like an
dropped
OG.
from Haro, I think.
No, she didn't.
She didn't?
No, she's got resigned.
She's on. Everything's good.
Yep.
oh, okay.
Because she used to ride for Fit.
Yep.
so
Jeez.
Well, yeah. Well, we weren't like super thrilled. That was Joey, right? Wasn't that
Joey
was it?
took her.
No, but he had nothing to do with it. I don't know. In the end, I don't think.
No, she was on Colt when Haro swooped. but she wasn't even getting.
Oh,
Kier Serlin.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Kier.
Paris. Sorry.
Oh,
No, I was talking
Oh.
about Kier.
Oh, so Kira's dropped from Haro. She wasn't
thought.
even. She doesn't. She just gets like little travel budget and stuff. So I
Oh,
don't
okay.
really think.
Yeah, I
really-
think that might be. Haro must be going through some kind of budget cuts too.
Oh yeah, it's a giant company that's doing the same.
No,
thing.
I'm not talking about Paris. Paris was on Cult. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant Paris. No,
No.
Paris is all good. Kara's like definitely on the team and stuff, but I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what her program is. I think it's like travel budget and bikes and.
Anyway,
whatnot.
she's good. She's a
With
good
Haro.
rider.
Oh yeah, she's sick.
Yeah.
But I don't know about her Haro.
There's
future.
so many good girls, though. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many girls, and you know, they get a lot of good publicity too. You know, like it's really interesting.
It's
sort of
growing.
like a drag racing thing. Look at drag racing. How many women, you know, do really well in drag racing because they can
Cars?
drag race. Yeah, they can drag race really good.
Dude, I
and
got
then
the
they get
perfect-
so much more publicity than the dudes do.
Women's
Yeah.
skateboarding made because I feel like skateboarding was
Yeah.
kind of and then well, I mean it's always sick, but
Right.
and then girls got into it and went pop.
Yeah,
Letitia grind down Hollywood High and
Speaking-
like
speaking
yoga
of
pants,
drag
I went,
racing-
whoa.
she's the Brazilian. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just help. I mean all the girls, but like
but I mean, she's like marketing gold.
You may need to put on the headphones for this because there's no subtitles.
there's a Colt frame promo. It was like
Okay.
the last thing that we didn't touch on that I saw that was good.
Wasn't that a high desert?
There was he had his own, but then there was like this another one like the couple days before that was like all the guys
When I
killing
read
it.
in the paper that they were going to have
Everyone
one
who
at the
has a frame
shopping
promo
center.
or frame
At the
cover.
time, we were just
How
racing
ironic
in
that
the
you
street, so I
mentioned
figured
drag
I had a
racing.
pretty good chance, and
Yeah.
it was better than just racing in the street because they had a full Christmas tree and everything.
I just
So I went out
I've never
there to
seen
my
this.
first run, and I crashed and broke my handlebars, and everybody was laughing at
that's
me.
the best BMX
So I got
bike back
mad and
then?
went home and got a new
Yeah,
pair of
that's a
handlebars and
Stingray.
came back and set
That's the
low
original
ET.
BMX bike.
And they weren't laughing too
Been
much
about to sponsor
anymore.
that, dude.
At that race, I ended up getting second
glasses.
place. The guy beat me up by just about a foot. They had a special light system where you could cut the light, and he knew about it, and I didn't. So he left on me, and
Damn,
he ran
he
his
rips.
best time at 6:66. And
It's
I just
funny.
couldn't catch him. After that, I got figured out how to do it and
I feel like
started winning
everybody from
more
the
races.
70s sounded the same too.
Well, my concern about my kids now is that they
They all
become
sound super stoned.
responsible
Well,
adults
smoking weed at
and
4.
enjoy their life.
Stopping the clock with a 7:22.
Where did you get this?
Somebody sent me this.
Coming up here.
I think Sean from Monster actually sent me this, and I was like, "This is amazing."
This is the first BMX contest ever. Nah, the 70s.
That guy's forks came pre-snapped.
Now we've got a special exhibition run by Frank Dado on his specially dismantled bicycle. The front wheel has been taken off and down he goes.
Just got into bike
That's
racing
it.
when I read in the
Fallbrook. So that
paper
was
they were
That's
gonna
down
have-
here.
30 miles from here. 40.
Nice.
So pretty fucking hilarious. And then in the keeping with the theme, bikes in 2050. This dude, you don't need the headphones anymore, but this dude's had this set up for a long time. It's like a crazy high rise stem with mountain
Oh,
bike
I've
bars.
seen this. I've seen this. This is so gross. The T-bar.
Yeah,
That's the T-bar.
yeah,
That's gross.
Well, you can still do turn
It's out of the way.
yeah.
I mean, it might work really good, like for turn down. What's the advantage of this?
Not style.
I don't know.
That's
But-
not good for. That's not good for the sport.
Yeah, that's what sucks sometimes, man. There's some people and things
Yeah,
like
there it
that
is.
where you're like, fuck,
there-
that makes
what
BMX
is-
look
so
so
what is the-
shitty.
No.
Some people make BMX look so cool, and then
No,
that
he's got
doesn't.
S&M forks. Look, S&M race forks on that thing.
Uh,
Okay, it looks all right.
let's
You're-
see. Does
you're
he
all
say?
right.
Yeah, you're good.
You're all right,
good.
Max.
Yeah.
Max Newberry.
Is he combining BMX and scooter, or is that BMX
Right.
and mountain
Oh,
bike?
yeah. It's
It does have a scooter
I
vibe
think it's
for
BMX
sure.
scooter.
He's got the disc brake on there.
Maybe it's a little bit of everything.
We
Scooter,
don't
mountain bike.
We don't need a disc brake.
Yeah,
on a
let's just get
BMX
this thing
bike.
off
Come
the
on.
screen. I think
Come on.
it looks like it has a.
I always joke about like what bikes will look like in 2050
Yeah.
because of the dirt jumper thing and all that stuff, and it's like a
Right.
mesh together of like that South Park episode where all the people come back from the future and they're all like gray and they're like, and it's like no,
They all
so
blended
the
in.
The
They all
bikes are gonna
blended
be all
into the
gray and weird,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't know. So That's
that's the thing. It's like
I've been riding for so long. My bike looks exactly like the first bike I got.
Yeah, that's
Well,
like
my
the
BMX
beauty
bike.
and the curse of BMX. Like we've talked about it. I talk about it all the
It's just
time.
way
It's
nice.
like
It's just lighter
like-
and more solid, and you only have to have a 17 and a 6, so it has
Yeah.
got better.
right, and it still looks good though.
It looks
Yeah.
But that's the thing
exactly
when
the
you start
same.
when you start making changes to the bike based purely on just performance without caring about like the look of it at all, then you end up with like the current race bike.
I was just gonna say, look what happened with racing.
I
Look
mean,
what happened with racing.
I can't get into it. I can't get into the bike.
Look what happened with pretty much everybody besides Rim at those that Shimano contest,
Right.
One in Dubai or wherever in the Middle East. Like
Yeah,
the
they all
bikes are
got
fucked, man.
tiny,
Like I'm
tiny,
sorry,
yeah.
like those things are
Yeah, but they
gross.
still look better than race bikes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Wait till those guys are riding carbon.
They do. Some of them have carbon wheels.
Carbon
carbon
wheels,
frames and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it seems so scary
It's apparently 6 times stronger.
until it gets a little damage.
Then it snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but that was
6
that
times
was
stronger, 20 times more expensive.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Instagram clips, last section. Martin Ochoa.
But a BMX
shift
bike,
life.
though, that was sick.
I like the way bikes are looking right now. Like
I like that too.
I like
That's
the seats.
sick.
The seats have come up a little bit,
Yeah.
which I think is cool. It makes the bike a whole lot easier to ride to the next spot. You know,
Your boy.
Matt Nordstrom. Wizard.
he really is a
What was I gonna say? Doesn't matter, probably. Damn.
The Nordstrom podcast. Oh, is there more to it? Shit. Oh no. All right. The Nordstrom podcast was like, I never talked with him, and when he came in and he was just like boisterous and confident, and I was like, holy shit.
He's
Like,
Texas boy.
yeah, like literally caught me off guard how like well spoken and
Yeah.
articulate and smart he was. Like, you know, as far as not seeing anything before, it really caught me off guard. His podcast was super good. So
His mom did a good job.
Mom did a good job.
Raised well.
Few more TJ.
And it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah,
That was sick.
little magic.
Jesus
Is that even
Christ.
real, or is that just? Is that
Yeah, that
in
one's hard
reverse?
to. Yeah. I was
Yeah, it is
What's going
bizarre.
on there?
TJ
Jesus,
Henderson,
That was crazy.
underappreciated. I feel like one of those things. You got a couple on there.
Yeah, where's he from?
I don't know, Ohio probably with that shit.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Sasha Gambon. Casual. Michael Woodby knows.
Didn't Michael Woodby come out with an edit?
No, it's coming. I think
Okay.
he's working on it. Yeah.
I thought I saw something.
Yeah, this
And
famous.
then I went back on the website and tried to look for it. And I was like,
No,
where is it?
yeah, I think it was like on the way.
And I'll just gotta be honest, man. Those frames and those bars, like, god damn it. Like, that company's so sick and they do such cool shit. But if we're talking about that stuff, like, fuck.
Hey, we
gotta say it.
We just made those bars.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, they make the bars.
Oh, but you send them to them. That's not S&M bars.
No, they're
No, they
nowhere
put them-
bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love that guy.
I love
Carl's
that guy.
amazing.
And that company.
Carl's amazing.
Michael Woodby's sick. The riders are
Yeah.
sick. It's just like, and that's just my opinion.
And you know what?
I shouldn't-
Carl doesn't care.
That's what's
He
cool
knows,
too. And
yeah.
people
Like,
run it and
he
people
doesn't
like it.
care. Like he wants them,
And they
he's
must
getting
feel
them.
good because all the riders who ride it like seem like they get better when they got the stuff. Like
Yeah.
they can just do more tricks
Yeah.
and they're crazier.
He said that like the double triangle thing like actually is pretty strong.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, because I had a conversation
On the
with him
frame.
recently. Yeah, on the frame, yeah.
We don't make the frame.
Yeah, you don't make the frame. But
And that's what's cool. Like we were looking at that bike and we're like, ew, disgusting, that scooter BMX hybrid bike. But if it makes a guy have more fun.
I had a
Yeah.
good conversation with him on the phone recently because we made his bars a long time ago, and then he's making them himself, and then now we're making them again. And I had a long conversation with him about some changes he wanted to make to the bar, and man, that guy doesn't give two shits about what people think.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
He's doing his own thing.
He just
and
wants
you
to
know
be
what?
strong and to feel good.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
a respect.
And
man.
I you know what? I was like, man, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
glad I said it then because now like it enforces why he's doing it and like why his riders are repping it.
Well,
It's
when I
fucking-
talked to him on the phone, I almost said, I was like, "Hey, you should do your frame," but I was like, I don't know if I actually said it or I was like thinking about saying it, but I was like, maybe you should just do like a second normal frame, so then you can have the people that really do want to support what you do, but they can't get over the frame. And then so they'll buy that, you know, and you can still have the nowhere frame and you can tout it as being strong and whatever else.
Yeah.
And it can still be like your, you know, because it's like the anti-establishment, like the establishment is the double triangle.
Should do that. He should do that, but he should just call it the normal frame.
He should. Yeah. The nowhere normal frame.
The nowhere normal frame.
Exactly. Like, and just
or
because
even go further with it, just call it the normal boring frame.
The boring frame, yeah.
Boring old frame.
Exactly. Yeah.
That could be his new frame. The normal boring old frame.
Yeah.
Is our new frame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I feel bad for talking shit, but I mean, it's conversation that the dude is just doing his own thing. He doesn't give a fuck.
But that's exactly what I was just saying. Is that it's the beautiful and the most like cursed part about BMX is you cannot disrupt what is a BMX frame. Right. You can't shake up the double diamond. Like you just can't do it. And
it is weird. Yeah. It's like why am I saying that's ugly? It's just a little bit different, but there's something about that perfect frame that we all love.
Yeah, but like some of the most popular frames in the history of our sport have been frames that mixed it up a tiny bit.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the GT Pro Performer, they bent the down tube into the S and it's like the most popular frame.
Yeah.
Or like the original Haro Torker twin top tube.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's like before it got established. He just can't do it anymore, you know?
Or can you?
Or can you? What if it was like a modern one?
We need somebody to do it. You know? Somebody.
Carl's doing it.
Carl is doing it.
Yeah. Carl's doing it.
Shout out to Carl. I mean, we talk about Carl all the time, but it literally is like it's.
And Michael Woodby, that nose bar was crazy.
Yeah, going there and like seeing how much good he creates and how much like
with the jam.
Yeah, dude, it was very, very cool to go and experience, and that's why I really wanted to go because I wanted to see.
And he's
it
a good rider.
Yeah, Crazy Carl from Aspire too.
Yeah,
I remember him. Right. I remember him like from watching the video in the front room at the ride office.
I like anybody named Crazy Carl. Yeah, if your name's Carl, you have to be Crazy Carl. What else can you be?
Keg stand Carl. You're real crazy.
Keg stand Carl.
Keg stand Carl's a little crazier.
That's good. Yeah.
I like how quick you came up with that.
I never even met him.
I was like, all right, we had made an imaginary guy, and it was like the craziest guy we knew, but it was imaginary. Keg stand
11-year-old. I mean, talk about females ripping the little kids.
Oh yeah,
little kids who. Ripping. That's so I fucking
Japan.
Who'd you say said BMX was on the up? AI.
It was like this was some. I can show the PDF after this.
11, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little fist of glory. Fuck yeah, dude. It is. I mean, dude. I talk about it all the time. I see clips of a fucking 6-year-old or 7-year-old, and I look at my kid sitting right next to me, and I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way could you do that.
No. You're like, get a job.
I think the first time I smoked weed, I was 11.
You're going to the warehouse.
Oh. He's a warehouse worker for sure.
This
Dan
what
Kruk.
is going on here?
He's dope.
Pegs Har 5. We didn't talk about
his podcast come out yet?
No, we haven't dropped any podcasts. We got
backlogs now.
A lot of podcasts. So
good for us.
Good for us. Bad for other
You guys
people.
have a lot of podcasts in the can.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah, we've been fucking up. Shout out to
but
Ken
at the
Tensio.
same time, they've been coming out like almost every week.
Yeah, we're fine. So it's not. I say
good.
I say 3 to 4 a month. Like four, we're killing it. 3 is about the expected.
3's
You
average.
do 3 podcasts a month?
Generally, yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
4.
generally 4. Generally 4. We've been really good this year. But so the Bonner podcast, because this is going to come out if anybody's 3 hours into this, Bonner podcast is probably going to drop within a couple of days. I'll give it room from the news podcast because the news podcast drops on basically Wednesday or something. So I'm not sure what to do.
It drops when the ball drops in New York.
True. And then Bonner podcast got held up because we did it remote and the sound issues. So the editor struggled with the syncing the sound and all stuff. I guess
that
it's been
one is
driving me
awesome.
crazy. Castillo podcast is done.
How'd that go?
Rooftop was the co-host. And so I think it was good. It was like 3 hours. I think it literally, I have to cut that out. It was the one thing that I need to make a note.
Castillo was the first person to sponsor me, and I'm his
Demolition.
friend. Yeah, Volume and Demolition. And then there's a Castillo podcast. I'm not invited to.
So
the hell?
Yeah, Dennis is a little offended that he wasn't part of it, but
that's an old school podcast. I should be.
It wouldn't have happened without Rooftop. So it's one of those things where
For sure.
Brian was only comfortable
Rooftop does
sitting
the
down.
old school podcast.
Yeah. So one of the ones that, and when Rooftop is psyched to bring somebody, he literally drove Castillo down. You know, like they just come in, they come in like little brothers, like where, you know, he's like, I knew I shouldn't have fucking drove with you. I'm tired of you already. You know, like they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They're like Dumb and Dumber,
Right,
you
like
know,
Odd
like
Couple.
Yeah. And so, I think it was really good. I think Brian, you know, isn't the best orator of like storyteller, you know. So I think Rooftop helped him, carried him along in a lot of ways. So maybe people won't get as much of Brian as they really wanted, but you get a lot of Brian for sure. So I think, you know, he discusses, since this is going to come out earlier, he's going to discuss a lot of stuff that he hasn't said publicly in any way. So, you know, so it's super cool that it happened. And then we also have Dan Crook, Peg's Hard Five. But then we almost dropped Dan's first, but then I think we talked about Bonner's podcast in Dan's. So I felt weird. I didn't want to break the order of how we filmed them. So
yeah, do that.
So
way.
we're good.
The Bonner one's really special.
Yeah, the Bonner one is amazing, and then Castillo one's great, and then Dan is, you know, normal in comparison, but it's a great podcast. So we're kicking the year off.
Well, what was Dan doing right here? What, you just blew right over that?
I mean, that's Peg's Hard Five.
We blew over a double flip on a hip too. We're just this turned
it.
into us just chatting.
Yeah, Peg's Hard Five at the end of the
low numbers video.
The low numbers, yeah.
So I've watched all those too, and we're in December now. That's another thing we could talk about. And it's as of now, Chad has won.
Chad won,
unless they're doing some sort of unofficial thing.
Renato,
I got some Instagram ones too. Is this the dude? He goes crazy.
So Chad gets the money, right? I'm
not sure because there's all these checklists, all this stuff going on, and Chad ended up getting the lowest time because it's like you have to do the checklist to get the time. What do you do?
Your face.
It's another one of these videos that I think is going backwards. You know what I mean? Look at this. Come on.
They're making the craziest plazas, and it looks like Australia. That guy's so crazy. That was fucking crazy.
Dude, insane.
Yeah. Jesus. So yeah, Chad had the lowest time, which means he wins. But then there's some sort of like.
Was that the last video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, sorry, Garrett's next. There's a Garrett one. There's Garrett too.
All right.
But Garrett ain't gonna give a fuck about going fast.
Yeah, he's gonna
film this crazy.
Well, you
shit
have
all
to
over New
get.
York.
So it was a time. You were in the spot for what, an hour?
Okay, no. So there's like you got to go all over New York, different boroughs, which is like different little towns or whatever.
This Nordstrom had one too, right?
He did. Yeah, he killed it in his. It was awesome. So
Nordstrom did the hardest shit so far.
You go, Felix too. I mean, they're all in their own ways.
It's a good concept.
It's a cool concept. So it's a rally where they go all over New York to different boroughs, like different cities.
Right.
So they got to take the train, the ferry, all this shit, and check off things along the way.
They go to Brooklyn. They go to Harlem.
And you have to go to this spot, and you have to go to this spot, get a trick here. But you can just do a bar spin or whatever, like an easy 180. But some guys like try a hard trick, but it like doesn't fucking matter.
But you can't take too long because you got to get all 5 of them.
Exactly. Like Chad, he just went boom, boom, boom. Like he's like, fucking 180 this thing real quick. And he even talks about it. He's like, I don't know, my ankles hurt. Like I'm gonna like, why would I try a hard trick? And even his chill shit's hard. But then there's guys that like get caught up doing stuff, and you're like, what are you doing? That's where they should have added the rule in. And I don't know if there is any bonus or anything, but it should have been every spot they had to go to. You get a bunch of time taken off for if you got best trick, right?
Right.
Or like, why the fuck I would have just raced around as fast as I could and just been like, one-hander, check. Who cares? Like, because they're making thousands of dollars if you win. Like, fucking, let's go. Like, fucking
next spot.
Keep up with me. We're moving. And that's kind of, Chad did that though. He was smart. And he got like way in front.
And he's got that race background too.
Yeah, but you don't even have to do that. It's just more like, all right, connect the spot, do a trick on this wedge and one on this wedge. And people were trying like hard shit and getting caught up. And he's just like, all right.
Did you see that event we did in Richmond when those guys all came? Like Garrett came, Chad came. This was a few months ago. Powers Bike
I saw
Shop
that
turned 20, and then so we did a rail jam and connected like 12 slide bikes together down this hill. It was down a hill.
I saw that.
Right? And
Chad did the grind to bar.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, not a grind. I did do a grind to bar. Yeah. But anyway, people were riding this thing for hours, and nobody could get to the end of it. And we wanted to call it, but we were like, oh, the whole van, like the whatever cinema van, has got Chad in it. It's got Garrett in it. Nathan was in it. So we were like, oh, we can't call this thing until that van shows up. And once the van showed up, we thought, oh man, Garrett, Nathan, one of these guys is definitely, but Chad did it. And not only did he do the whole rail, I mean, he got to the end of that rail. He's going so fast. It was down a steep hill, 13 8-foot pipes.
Damn.
Yeah, and he got the whole thing.
Sick.
And then when he came off the end, he threw the bars.
He's the fucking...
Didn't have to.
But he can.
Didn't have to.
But
He won the money. Like, he won the money just getting to the end. But he did it anyway.
Did Garrett try?
Oh, Garrett wrote it. They wrote it for a long time.
So Chad really did it before. Garrett has like the best ride balance ever.
Yeah, Garrett is usually when we did the 100.
Chad won. And it was
I know Chad did it. But I didn't
epic.
know no one else did it. That's fucking sick.
We did the 100. We had the 100-foot rail at Ride. Like Transworld Skate had it, and then and Garrett was the one that was like
that Johnny
had the best balance on it.
Johnny got to the end of it. The kid from Albuquerque.
Yeah,
Johnny Ice used to ride for Haro.
Johnny Ice.
Is it Johnny Ice? Did he?
Oh yeah.
He was there with
Atencio.
He was there with Stevie, little Stevie.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Stevie drove up with him from Albuquerque, and he got it to the end of it. But he kind of came off like right at the end, and then we were still waiting for the van, and then Chad showed up, and Chad did the whole thing, then threw the bars, and then it was over.
Yeah, and
you want to do some more Instagrams before we go?
Yeah,
well, it's just Chad. So it's so
John
good.
Quintero 666.
JOHN.
Yep, Quintero 666. I can't remember what it was.
Real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a fit rider here.
Go down a little bit. Down.
See, it happens 107K?
Maybe. What was it? Like, damn it. I wrote.
No, it's all good. Oh, this is the welcome to fit.
Yeah, maybe it's on here or something.
See, this wasn't in the news.
Oh,
that.
This is old, though. But
he's sick. Whatever. I just
see, we missed stuff, dude. I sent the link to Stu. And not that it's Stu's responsibility to update our news thing.
Regardless,
but
shout out to this dude. He's sick.
Yeah, John Quintero.
I was just watching some of his stuff. He's on fit.
Yeah, I mean he, he works with Ian 4 Down.
Okay. Is he's Barcelona?
Yeah. Well,
there you go. So you commented on this one, so maybe this is it.
That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. That's what I went to write cab 180 down whip. I wrote can on accident.
That's all
yes. That was like the best fucking cab 180 down whip ever.
Wow.
Boom.
That left leg just went fucking wild.
So good. And then JOONSZEE.
Straight to pedals too. Like,
yeah.
No.
Jonesy. Who's that?
Let me see it again.
Jonesy.
I've seen him. We do not follow
this dude. Yeah, it's fucking just his trail stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just looking his.
Look
at this clip. Look at this next.
Oh, this is the 50. These are the 50 footers, right? This is the.
No, but I couldn't
look at the length of that.
On this guy's Instagram, the shit he does. Boom, dude.
Where is this? Is he in Australia?
Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
Look at Mean Horse. When Mean Horse is commenting, it's good.
This dude's rad. No helmet, 50 footers.
Look at all these. Look at the guys commenting.
People seeing this.
They're all the shit dudes. Oh, there's Raina.
There she is. We'll give her a Mattel. I'll switch to it afterwards.
Her and her brother.
Jay Hamilton. Shout out to Jay Ham, Chillin' Lewis. Yeah, you got a squad in the comments.
Yeah, because this dude's a man.
God.
Boyd.
Bobcat. Another one.
That looks like Caddy. I think that is Caddy. Jake Rutke.
Oh, okay. Jake Rutkowitz, yeah.
15-year-old beast.
So you're just seeing these in your feed?
Yeah.
Or are these people you've been following for a while?
Or I just see stuff and I try and write it down, like just cool stuff I see throughout the month.
Yeah, he sends me a little block of text that I try and bring in. I think
this one was awesome because, like you said, these trail guys are hard to see ride, and that's why I love. It's hard to see good trail riding. That's why
Wow,
Dirt
look at
Rules
that
is so
spot.
good and videos like that. And like when we did the demolition dirt trip, like people love that because when you type in BMX trails, there's not much of it.
I
Or
feel
it's
like
filmed
they
terrible.
don't even care. Like I don't know.
They
I
don't care.
sometimes I feel like they don't care, and then sometimes I feel like maybe they're just reluctant to.
This is art. Like
I know.
just even if it's not always the best riding.
I will say that the
just
trail
so
the trail
beautiful.
Nora Cup like list is like the most like
It's difficult.
It's the most dedicated,
Yeah.
passionate like
Oh,
group
yeah.
out of all of them. You know,
I
Like,
know,
they're
but you're
like-
trying to find that balance between like the level of riding and the commitment to the
Yeah.
spot, and
Yeah.
it's a tough one. But yeah, look at these two. So this is a brother and sister. Brother rides for S&M, and
Okay.
then she rides for Fit.
Where
they
do they live? Japan?
Japan, yeah, and they actually ride the course that was the Olympic course.
Oh, okay,
Like they
yeah,
left it there.
Yeah, they left
So
it.
now they're like
They're gonna get crazy.
they're ready for the next Olympics, basically. She's 14.
Wow, she's
Oh,
Yeah, but she'll get it.
Yeah.
And she's got all these
She's
sponsors. She's
marketable.
got like bathing suit sponsors, Mattel. It's just, and her mom
just
is
candy bars.
yeah, Barbie Japan
her
official.
mom is super
Whoa,
cool.
She's good.
Oh, I've been to that park.
Yeah, me too. They always do little demos there.
Yeah. Didn't have those little ramps on there though.
Yeah,
That's sick, dude.
we're gonna be
Do you-
seeing a lot of her.
Do you see markets like foreign markets like growing? You know, for sales, or is it?
You would think we're having a hard time like reaching these. Like we've got so many good riders and so much cool stuff going on in Japan right now.
Yeah.
But we're having a very hard time like having that translate to sales because we don't really have anybody bringing anything in.
Pushing it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's super frustrating. I mean, we're just stoked to have these riders,
Yeah.
but it would be nice if we could also then sell some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did a limited run of these pink frames, these Fit. She's on the shortcut.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing another batch right now. But she's like she's creating like a lot of like energy,
Yeah.
for Fit.
Matches the coping.
Yeah, no, she's cool.
Yeah, it's so crazy because like when I went to China, it was like you could see all these young kids, but then they were on these like NKs,
Right.
you know, where it's
Right.
like a Chinese knockoff brand.
Right.
Or, you know, I'm not saying knockoff because maybe they are doing their own thing, but their logo is half a kink logo.
I
It's
know.
like
there's so much of that.
Yeah,
And who knows? The frames honestly
Even
might have
South
come.
America, man, it's like the biggest BMX market in the world, but you don't really see them on that much legit bikes.
Right.
Like that's always something I'm like, how come people can't tap into that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their money doesn't.
It's just a market.
translate
Yeah,
to
it's hard to-
American money, and it's hard for them to get the shit.
So many factors, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least you got people
She
out there
kills it.
riding, like younger kids.
Oh, dude, it's
you got
huge.
females. There's a lot of good stuff going on. like-
In the end, I always think when we go back and forth about this stuff is like we're so ingrained in the industry and we talk about the nuance of the bullshit. Is like reality is more people riding bikes and like there's more BMX out in the world than ever. You know, like in the world for sure.
Jake
Maybe not
Rutkitt.
in America.
Look how
my
good
bad.
this 15-year-old kid is.
This is Jake Rutkowitz, right? We've talked about him.
But probably.
He was off of Sub Rosa and on Rickson, I believe.
Oh, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, he was on the Woodward show a bunch too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah, he kills
50.
it.
It's crazy because Marcus is so young
Cool,
too. And he's like
what?
another just like powerhouse 15-year-old kid.
He's going over that beam.
Yeah. That's
Yikes.
Yeah, this kid's sick.
Giochi in there. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the stuff.
That's not Rays, is it?
Yep,
Yeah, it is a
Oh, it
raise,
is
yeah.
Rays. It says right there, Rays.
That first little error over that. Yeah, he was at Swamp Fest last year, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
15. That's that.
Woo!
When a kid can ride like this at 15.
Yeah, and apparently it was him and K. Rob Jr. were there, and I just like couldn't tell the difference between them. I thought they were one dude,
Look at that.
but they were just like two little kids that were just powerhouses.
We're doing a Fit and S&M dealer night at Rays next month. I'm like,
Do a lot of crazy.
I haven't been there in a long time. I'm looking forward to going.
Oh.
Like that
Nice,
big
yeah.
curved wall looks super fun.
That place is.
It didn't look like this last time I went there. Is this
That-
still Rays?
No, that
That's
was Woodward.
Woodward.
That was Woodward.
Oh,
They
I
got
was gonna
switched.
say, what
yeah.
the hell?
No, that curve wall thing is there.
That's Rays.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Rays,
yeah.
yeah. So I think Ray's is more local to him.
Do,
but you got another one? Look at you.
Freedom Mag post from I think today, 28th.
Dang,
Freedom always kills it. Where's the 28th?
Not pin. These pin posts always fuck me up.
And this is German?
Yeah, this is
Freedom's
this
German.
Is Wilkie. Oh, that's old.
Not that.
This one?
It's been tagged. Oh yeah, this kid. So good.
Oh, I did see this. I didn't watch the whole thing though. This is a recap.
Yeah, this is
Long Beach.
Crazy. Jacob WRB. I don't know what that says, but this kid shreds.
Oh no, let's get him out of Long Beach before something goes wrong.
The best clips of the year.
Oh, okay, it was just like this highlight reel, and then
Yeah.
posted it.
Nice.
It's so funny when it's like at the end. I'm like, I feel all
Moto Bunka post too. That was like the last thing I had.
Okay.
Chris James. Moto Bunka's too. It's like, you know.
Yeah, they're in the hub of that.
That curve wall ride. Look how crazy that is. That's not even. That's just poles.
Yep. That was my.
That is those dudes.
I'm 90%.
Japanese scene.
No, he's Korean. That's
okay. That Moto Bunka was all Japanese, or is it?
Jihoon. Yeah, that was Jihoon.
Moto Bunka is Japanese, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I think anyone.
It's Asia. They opened up the film festival to like all of Asia this year, so it wasn't just Japan. And then Jihoon is the dude that showed us around on the Vans trip in Korea, and he's fucking hilarious in general, and then obviously incredible rider. This was my vote for trick of the year because I judged the film festival this year.
This Moto Bunka thing.
Yeah, this is because I was like, you don't see that and go.
No.
You go like, oh, what if you could do a curve wall ride around
that?
So
like you
BMX,
would joke,
man.
you would joke about it.
Like grind it.
Yeah.
At first, I just thought it was a fence. I was like, "Oh, that was cool." Then I looked, and I'm like, "Dude, those are like rails spaced out." Like
that was my vote.
Yeah,
like there was a bunch of crazy shit in there this year, and it was kind of hard to decide. But I'm like, dude, as far as like shit you would talk about and then never do,
yeah,
I was like, this wins. So shout out to Jihoon. He is a G, Jihoon, but yeah, he incredible clip.
Love
and
it.
then the whole little section was sick too. So
switch quadruple tail whip.
I love
the
the likes. It's like BK. What's he been up to?
Who?
He lives here
Kaczynski.
in San
lives
Diego.
here. We just saw him the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
His ankle's all fucked up.
Yeah.
But he's like amazing dad and just trying to get his ankle fixed up. Just really fucked his ankle up good. So it's hard for him to ride right now. Yeah.
And what, he had something to do with the Olympics?
He's judging all the UCI things.
He's a man.
Yeah.
He actually next month we should do a podcast with him since he's done with the Olympic stuff now.
Yeah.
And he lives here.
So yeah, he's out here in San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Doing the thing. This is the first riding clip he's like posted recently. It was really cool to see this because I mean, I was in there with just the yes. But he, like Dennis said, his ankle was pretty bad, and it was like, I'm sure it's from BMX, but it wasn't like a single injury. Like it just got progressively worse, and
killing him.
Yeah, and so it became a thing for him that he had to chill. So. But he's obviously getting better, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel for it for sure. So, doing the UCI thing and that stuff, and then his wife is a doctor, and she got out here on whatever the regency or whatever the proper word is for it, a residency, maybe that's the proper word. So, they wanted to come out here. So, very cool, and we wanted to get him on for like a judge thing, like I think that was the original idea.
Yeah, but we could we should just do one with him in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was December, and there's a million more things we missed on.
Yeah, that was a long one.
I'm glad you're here because
we're
getting sleepy. It's 10 o'clock at night.
It is 10 o'clock at night,
which is not that late, but you guys aren't. He's not drinking. Yeah. You're just sipping. I'm on my 19th one from the day. I'm getting tired.
I had two. No, this is the third one.
All right.
Yeah. So
I'm concerned about your guys'.
He's judging us now. I knew he'd be like that.
I'm concerned about your intake.
2 weeks, 2 months off.
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months so far.
I like the Twisted Tea version of Moeller better.
That stuff's poison, man.
That stuff is gnarly.
Sugar and just weirdness. Yeah.
Weirdness.
No good.
No,
I wish we did a whole end of the year recap, but we can't do that. We got to do monthly ones.
I tried.
Yeah, that was December. We can't do
I
all
tried to get myself
2024.
motivated, and I was like, I can't.
No, we just do every month. We're killing it on that.
But
rest in peace, Fids.
Yes.
yeah, rest in peace, Fids. That is
Man,
the
dude, best energy.
Fuck, GT, fuck off. Who cares? Like, Fids is a such an incredible human that I'm glad I got to meet him. Glad I got to hang out with him. Glad I got to play a role and giving him a little bit of respect.
He's in everyone now.
Yeah, so it's
spread through BMX.
Yeah, so
and everyone.
Dude,
and the
I'm unbelievably hyped on this. So
I'm so glad. I didn't think I was going to be able to find one of those, and then I found one. Actually, that was my personal board,
right there.
And I didn't even know that I had it. I only built it up for a minute, and we did a few things on it when we first launched the board, and then I took it apart and stashed it, and didn't even realize I had it, and was digging through my crap the other day, and boom, I found it.
Well, if you ever want it back, I will have it, of course.
Here,
Like,
hopefully it gets signed by everybody that Fids had an impact on.
I'll put it somewhere prominent so we can have people sign it. I didn't all your stuff. I don't know if you noticed. Probably have no podcast come out, but I made a new door. I made a door, so then I need to put the stuff back up there. But so
I wanted to find a photo of Fids and get it framed, and I was working with Will to try and find something that we could do something like this.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And it was crazy. He actually didn't have anything that was really good.
Oh yeah, that one that was on the thumbnail of the thing, I was like, this is perfect. Like you could see the middle fingers, but then YouTube hates middle fingers, so I like just backed it out just enough where you could see that it was middle fingers, but it wasn't. And so yeah, that one is like perfect. So
well, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
dudes.
thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for coming,
I appreciate
man.
it. And then
Made that awesome.
We'll do a Moeller, 3.0 one of these days.
Well, I mean, now we'll be a sponsor, an ourbmx
now
sponsor.
I'm required contractually.
Yeah, hopefully we can make some cool stuff. Like, I don't know.
And help us with guests too, because we love when people like help with guests.
Yeah.
'Cause me and Fudgy are two people who are kind of not lazy, but we just sometimes like whoever comes, it works out cool.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, we got one of our fitter S&M boys in town, like we fucking love that.
Of course, yeah.
That helps so much.
Lining up the Nordstrom one is like one that would
Well,
never
the one
happen.
that comes to mind is Max Miller. Like we talked about it before.
You love Max
but
Miller.
it was
I
like
love that dude.
it wasn't quite time yet.
Wait for it right around his part.
We
Let's
want
do it.
the edit to come out.
Yeah, yeah,
Then have them come.
Let us line that. Make sure that's all lined up.
Yeah.
Boom.
yeah. That's perfect.
He's got a couple things he wants to get. He was supposed to go to Austin last week to film with Stu. He wasn't feeling very good, so he skipped it. But
Premiere it and have the podcast come out like that week. That shit
Yeah.
is sick. When you like have something like even more layers to something.
yeah.
And then even if it lines up, we can do the raw thing afterwards too, and all that.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
he's
like
going to
there's
go
all-
finish it up. I mean, next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah,
He'll go to Austin and
that'd be cool. So
should be good.
Yeah, anything,
Yeah, line
any of
that
that
up,
stuff, and
100%.
even if it's not Fit Boys, but just dudes from back in the day. I mean, you were the co-host for the Magoo one. Unfortunately, it got limited by YouTube.
I think
It's
that one would have
too-
blown up if I wouldn't have jumped right into the whole
shit on the back.
Yeah, I should have waited
3
on
hours.
that. I
yeah.
jumped the gun on that.
Yeah.
I really jumped the gun on that. We should have built up to a
I'm waiting
crescendo.
for like a long overseas
should've-
flight for that one.
We should have built up to a crescendo.
Yeah. People still talk about it though. People talk about it. So people hear it. It's just not being delivered. So that's one of the things. But it is. If anybody hasn't heard the Magoo podcast, it is 6 hours of amazing.
Magoo.
Yeah. I told my wife beforehand, I was like, I'm going to take a nap afterwards. And I came back and I was like, I am so fucking tired.
Yeah.
Like he is.
That's so long.
Yeah. It's insane. It was like 4 hours and 30 minutes in, and I was like trying to wrap it up, and Moeller, he literally looked at me and he was like, "Are you trying to end this?" And I was like, "I guess not."
Yeah.
He goes for like another hour and a half.
Oh my
afterwards.
god.
Well, I mean, with Fudger,
Yeah, the moon.
once the moon,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
once
Oh yeah.
the planets start to,
Yeah.
The Hoder.
Once they start to go.
That was so funny.
once the planets
Classic
start
move.
to fall out of.
Me and Hoder were just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And Hoder's so nice too. He's just like,
No, that was the Moeller podcast.
No,
that was with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Hoder.
No,
you did something funny with
It
Hoder.
was about Hoder.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Fudger was under the influence of like the vaccine.
Yeah, I think so.
okay.
Yeah.
And he was still.
I thought that was the Hoder one.
Yeah, it was
You
the
had
vaccine.
COVID.
Okay,
Oh,
was
no, I had COVID
it was
or
the
something.
vaccine,
Yeah.
and he started talking about Hoder and
Yo,
the
that
planets
was-
orbiting Hoder.
I forgot I got the vaccine and I was all fucked up that day.
Yeah. And then the Hoder one is when
That's
we
what I was
just
talking
got the
about,
Dale sponsorship and I
Right.
knocked the beer all over the laptop. That was the Hoder one.
That was a good little chapter of podcast. It was like Hoder, you, Aiken.
Yeah.
Like there was some bangers. Like
Yeah, pretty funny.
2 months back to back. Morgan Wade. Like,
Yeah.
not that they're all bangers, but
They're all
like,
good,
I
but-
was just sitting here like, fuck, dude. There's
Yeah,
some
that's
legends
good.
rolling over.
I was geeking with Castillo here. Like I mean, he was one of my favorite bike riders. Growing up, and it was so cool to just like.
I think
have him
S&M
sitting there.
was his first sponsor.
Yeah, he talks about it quite a bit, and I'll send you when I have an unlisted link with none of the stuff that Rooftop wants to add to it.
Yeah.
I'll send it over to you just so you have it. So
I gotta go. I'm
Yeah,
airing out.
we're gonna go. We're gonna
Much
go
love.
now.
Let's
Sorry.
hit
That was
All right.
December. Chris
Yep.
Moeller, you're the man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you.
Thank you, Source.
Shout out to BMX in general, 2024, 2025, etc. Put the headphones on. You got to touch them at the very end. Say
Love you
goodbye.
guys.
I was trying to take them off.
Yeah.
We'll go step outside.